Woo, mics are on. Yeah, headphones good. Everybody's good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
We
Well,
good.
welcome everybody to the Faction After Hours podcast. Dude, I haven't done that intro in so long because usually we'll say something dumb beforehand and I'll
What?
be giggling.
Because-
The intro.
Because Tom was here, just fucking.
Yeah, man,
joking
that one
around
was
and
kind of
stuff.
wild. But today we have another guest. We have Hector Correa of Club Loose, of the Bloodmasters and all that. 8-6 Master OG, my father that I like to think of. But I'm not calling him daddy. Thank you for joining us on the podcast.
But you did compliment his eyes earlier.
I did. Am I wrong? Put the camera to Hector. Look at him. I said,
Hector's a good looking dude.
I said, for those of you listening who don't know Hector, he's at Club Loose. Like every Club Loose event, I just know you from Club Loose. And
That's
you
pretty
always
much it.
have these sunglasses on, dude.
Yeah.
I never seen your eyes.
Well, that's because I work nights, man. So the sun, I'm like a vampire. I gotta hide that shit. I gotta block the sun out.
But thank you really though for taking the time and coming on here. Are you from this area? Are you from Jersey?
Yeah. I'm from Newark originally. I don't know, like last couple of years been living in Bloomfield.
Oh, you're right up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
10
okay.
minutes.
He's a faction regular.
Yeah, I usually
Yeah.
just stroll in here just to buy like one little part. Be like, yo, here's
Yeah.
a $12 part. I need.
Quietly.
Yes.
I'm not sure who shows up more often now, him or my dad. Just hang out.
It's usually like a 1 hour ordeal.
Yeah. And we always just talk some shit and then.
Look,
That's it.
again, this is just like, to me, I never would have thought that you would have gotten on the pod. So this is great.
Yeah, I mean, I skated it for a long time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I would just
Let me
push
see
Gabe
if
on.
He was
He was
Fuck
making
push
deals.
Gabe on.
You were making deals with us.
But
Yeah.
once Gabe came on, I couldn't say no anymore. So I was like, all right, I guess I gotta suit up and go.
That's
Yeah.
right, and we did have your son Gabe on here.
Yeah.
For those of you listening who didn't put two and two together, that was Hector's son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we got to remember that there are people listening from all over the
The dude.
world, which is crazy.
Dude,
Yeah,
there
it
was
is
a
crazy.
comment in here the other day. It said like, what the fuck did it say? Cheers from the UK, or somebody messaged me like love from the UK or some shit.
Yeah, in
and
Australia.
that was awesome. I was
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, it's
I-
pretty crazy. I don't even understand what's
That
going
shit's
on.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean the internet, man, connects everybody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm still old school, so I'm not like attached to everything. But Instagram and Facebook is the only thing I use. I use nothing else.
That's funny that you mentioned that because on the way here I was listening to a podcast where they were like, people don't really enjoy the moment nowadays.
No.
Oh yeah,
You agree with that?
I
fully?
agree with that 100%.
yeah.
So if you see anything like a lot of younger guys, girls, they'll be someplace and what they see them doing, recording the shit with their phone. Like, yo, you had a concert.
Yeah.
You want to watch the guy you paid to see?
Dude,
Why are
I-
you recording it?
It's like,
we-
especially when you see a video, that person who's recording a video posted online, right? And they'll pan around.
Yeah.
And everybody, you just see a bunch of
A bunch of
squares.
phones, yeah, a bunch
on
of
the-
phones lit
Dude,
up.
I got lucky. I grew up in that era of like the phone, like when videos were all of a sudden really good on your phone.
Yeah.
So at every concert, instead of everyone just going in the mosh pit or something, it was like the phones are out now and they're all just staring.
Yeah,
and like,
they're just staring.
Thank God I caught myself and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I never do that.
Well, the
when
other
go to
day I
concerts.
got mad we went hiking, remember? And I forgot my wallet. I got mad. I was literally like, dude, I'm kind of mad at myself because you know how you got like Apple Wallet and shit like that?
Oh, yeah.
I rely on that so much recently because I don't have to carry my wallet anymore. And then guess what? Now I don't have my license because I don't have
Yeah.
a digital license.
Yeah, they
So,
got to perfect that.
Though I just got Apple Pay like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, damn. Gabe.
Yeah.
Gabe.
Gabe had to hook it up. Yo, and then I go to the ATM and I'm like, fuck, I left my wallet. He's like, but it's on your phone. Just tap the phone. I'm like, what? How does this even work?
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. But I figured once I got this phone, I was like, oh shit, you can actually like.
It's so
That's
convenient.
the shit
though.
we're teaching Frankie, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
or I feel like Malcolm, you probably.
I don't like to
You guys
adapt to new things.
Nah, and for the longest, I was always a cash person. Like,
Damn, you're hood as fuck.
Yeah, I was like, yo, if I meet somebody for parts, I pay cash. I was
Yeah.
always cash. And then like, you know, even when I used to go to Club Loose, like when I was just a driver, like I would pay for the events cash. Like I wasn't paying online.
A lot of places don't even take cash
I was like,
anymore.
no, yeah, there's a lot of places don't take it. I don't know why. That's dumb
Dude,
as hell.
I
but-
mean, even here, we were talking about it the other day. We are like, so how much do we have to make before we get a cash register? Like,
Yeah.
we're like, how serious does this business have to get before we get one of those?
What are you
'Cause, like,
talking about?
We
Like a
never
cash
even.
box?
I never even had a cash register. Like, I never had
have a cash
change.
box.
I never have any of that.
I think I
'Cause
paid here a
people-
couple of times with cash, and you guys are like scrambling.
Yeah, we're
I'm
like,
yo, I just forget
Malcolm's
it.
like, Chris, you got
Get a
20?
coffee.
You
Get a
got
coffee.
Yeah, dude, it's
Don't worry
weird.
about it. But yeah, like it's a the digital age definitely is way beyond me. Like I feel like it's just gonna get. I don't want to say worse, right? Because I'm just gonna get older. But
But I mean,
Shit's gonna get
props
weirder.
to you
Yeah.
though, okay? Because a lot of people, I don't know how old.
I was gonna say-
I don't even know really how old you are. It's hard.
take a
okay,
guess. Take a guess.
don't do
I
this to
hate
me.
that.
You get one guess.
I
Okay,
hate
so
that.
One
Gabe,
guess.
I'm guessing Gabe's age.
Gabe is 19.
Okay,
Jay's
you,
11.
you gotta be like 40.
Hmm.
You think so?
What you got? Over and under, Frankie.
Higher,
49.
bro.
Frankie didn't want no part of that when I said
I was
over,
gonna
under.
say I was
That's-
gonna say 50, but
Dude,
yeah,
you look great.
49.
he does, right?
Thank you, thank you.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And
Yeah,
you,
man.
you've been going to the gym recently, right?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
started. So I do this crazy thing, right, where I let myself get out of shape. Then my back hurts. Then I try to get back into shape, and I do it like it's like a cycle, right? It's like
Yeah.
Oh.
every couple of years. So I'm on the cycle now of like trying to get back into a little bit of some
Yeah.
type of shape,
Yeah.
other than the round one.
But
I mean, props
But,
to you because my dad will just do that, but every like decade.
Yeah.
He'll just get
Nah, I
like
don't- I
mad
don't-
skin.
yeah.
Decade is a
At least your
long
dad does it.
interval.
Yeah.
Long interval.
my dad's just like,
Yeah.
Your
dude.
dad's not that.
stop.
He-
He saw him.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, we older guys, man. We get a belly.
Yeah,
It
like
happens,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my dad's like, how old is he, Malcolm? 70?
Your dad looked tough as hell at the at
67?
East Coast Bash
Yeah.
because everyone was hiding in the shade.
My dad-
Your
the
dad's
thing-
sitting in the sun.
the
I'm
thing-
like, Mr.
yeah,
Bovino,
dude.
you're not hot.
My dad's got that.
I'm right here.
My dad's got that leather skin, you know. Looks
I'm
like
getting there. I'm getting there.
Nah,
Yeah.
dude. You,
No, dude.
Nah, dude.
My dad
Well,
looks like.
he's got 20 years on me. I got to catch up a little bit.
Here's the thing. He lived on a fucking boat. That was his
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
like
yeah,
every
yeah,
summer,
yeah.
he'd just go on a boat and
Yeah.
Fire.
and he'd be like,
Just burn up.
sunblock. What's sunblock?
Yeah.
Like yeah,
I don't use sunblock.
yeah.
I
We
don't
die like
either.
men around
yeah,
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I don't like.
well, my dad's supposed to be white. Like that's his ethnicity.
He's
You
really
wouldn't
tan.
know.
Oh, I thought he was
Super
Sicilian.
tan.
yeah,
yeah,
South side.
he looks.
he is. You would think.
South side. yeah.
Yeah.
Sicilian, big Sicilian
We
guy.
got some Italian in us, but he's a little too dark.
What is your nationality?
I'm like 75% Irish and then 25% Italian.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's more like that.
That last name, I can't really.
It's Bovino. I mean, it's Italian. Bovino's
Yeah.
Italian, but
But the
my,
Irish part
Bovino.
getting tanned is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Frankie gets like a little olive. That's
I'll
like,
get
that's what you
tan
call
as
that.
fuck, but
Yeah.
like if I'm not in the
Stop,
sun,
stop,
I'm
stop.
so white. Like my legs right now will blind you.
That's tan.
Okay, but you're Filipino, dude.
Yeah.
I'm white.
But
Come
you
on
don't,
now.
don't say the word tan. You get olive. I'm giving you olive.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. I'm olive. In this room, I'm fucking olive at best.
Yo.
Fuck.
Hector, have you seen Frankie's legs?
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm good though.
Blinding.
Nah,
good.
you don't have to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
I'll
have
show
to.
you in private. You know.
No, I don't want to see him in private neither. I'm good on that part.
You mentioned that you were paying, because one of the things that I want to know about was like when you first started drifting,
Yeah.
because like everyone wants to know, right? Like you're like the role not you're like the role model when you're at Club Loose, okay? People go
Damn,
to
that's
you
a
for
fucked up role model.
isn't it? But come on, people go to you for direction.
Yes.
People go to you for guidance.
Yeah.
It's a role model.
Yeah. No,
You
it
know?
is. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, so I feel like people would want to know like where.
I mean,
what
I
the
want to know
person
the
is
whole
behind.
origin story.
So I'll give you the whole story.
Oh yeah, like all right, you want to get into like how'd you got into cars and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that.
Yeah.
We want to do Club Loose first?
No, I want to do your whole like.
So-
So where were you born?
I was born in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Uh,
God damn, this is about to be a
Yeah, it could be a long story.
biography.
74. And in 1980, my mom's moved to Jersey.
Okay.
Moved to Newark, and
Why'd she move here?
job opportunities.
Wanted a better life.
I don't
parents
fucking
did the
know. I
sa-
was
my
7
parents did
years
the
old.
same shit. They wanted.
I was 7 years old. I don't fucking know. She just said, "Pack your shit, let's go." I jumped on a plane, and next thing I know, I was signed up to go to school over here.
Do you remember
Yeah.
what that feeling was like? Was it probably weird? Was it culture
nah.
shock for you?
You know what? Coming over here when we came, it wasn't a culture shock. We had some family friends. The culture shock was when I went to school. So when I went to school back in 1980, the schools, they didn't have any like ESL programs or anything. You just you went to school.
Damn, they put you in
and
English.
They just
Right
put
there.
you in a classroom.
Language
They
arts.
found the closest person at the time was a Portuguese girl that I don't know if you guys remember like them double desks, like
Yeah,
two
yeah.
students sit at the
Oh,
desk.
hell yeah.
So they sat me with a Portuguese girl. I ain't fucking Portuguese. But apparently, you know, when your teachers don't know, they just assume you're all the same shit.
Yeah, you two sound similar.
Yeah, that shit is, and that's why I kind of like understand a little bit of you know, like Portuguese, Brazilian. If they speak slow, I can understand them easier because for my first couple of years in school, I sat with this Portuguese girl next to me, and she had to translate everything. So
okay.
it kind of like kicked in a little bit.
So they just throw you to the wolves like that? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
man,
you don't
it's
know
1980,
English?
bro.
Good luck.
Frankie, I was about to say, like,
1980,
you're
man.
mentioning school and stuff, and I'm just picturing, like, you know
Listen.
the movie Dazed and Confused? A
Yeah.
little newer than that, though.
Yeah, it was so you
Like,
know,
you know?
It was all right though. But you know, I got through. In '83, they actually brought ESL.
Okay.
Okay.
So in '83, they, you know, you would go to a Spanish class for like 45 minutes that teach you English,
Okay.
right? The other fucking 7 hours, you were in an English class not knowing what the hell was going on.
So it was like me in Spanish for all 4 years of
yeah,
high
yeah,
school.
yeah. That would be the
never
equivalent,
knew what
right?
was
That would
going
be
on.
the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
If you're an American kid and you just taking a Spanish class
And the
for
teacher
one
just
period,
refuses to use English.
yeah, like you're not gonna learn it. You
And what's crazy now is, like, you got to, to our listeners, too, you got to remember, like, the internet didn't fucking thrive like
didn't
it
even-
does
there was
now.
no internet in 1980,
Yeah.
bro. What the fuck
There-
you
there-
talking
Yeah,
about?
it
they
didn't
had,
even
like, you
exist.
There
know,
was no internet in
the
1980.
non-colored computers and shit.
Bro, there was no computers
When
in
was the
1980.
internet? When was that? When did that shit happen?
I don't know, like
90s?
fucking in the 90s.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or late 80s.
There was no computers. I
Like,
went
like
all
the
the-
real internet, like late 90s.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
I
late
feel
90s,
like
bro. Yeah,
the
the
real
internet wasn't
internet-
around.
God damn. Fuck. I didn't mean to age you like that. But, like,
Nah, listen,
fuck.
I aged myself. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
God damn.
But yeah, no, so yeah, you know, 83 I took ESL classes, you know, went through grammar school, got along, then I went to trade school, and when I went to trade school, believe it or not, cars were not my first pick. My first pick was drafting, specifically CAD engineering.
I love that.
And I had even won like some state contests, right? I drew like a motorcycle, a space shuttle, and some other shit. And then my teacher decided he wanted to fuck a 16-year-old.
Oh, fuck.
So he got arrested.
Shit.
You know, class got canceled, and
Oh.
they made us pick a different class. So I was like, fuck, what do I do now? It's like, I don't know, shit. So the only other thing I knew was from back in the day when hanging out with my cousins and stuff was cars.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to take automotive tech. You know, if I can't draw cars, I work on cars. That was my theory.
Okay.
And I just wanted to do it through high school. So I went through automotive tech, 3.5 years of automotive tech. And I graduated from that. And that kind of kicked off my car stuff going on there. After the high school, I went to the military. I bought like a Nissan pickup truck like in 92.
Like a hard body?
Yeah, hard
That-
body,
that-
yeah.
yeah.
Slammed it.
Wait, you were
know.
in the, so you were in the military?
Yeah, I was in the military, yeah.
Yeah, we got to
Damn.
hear about this.
I
a
did
little
not
bit.
know that either.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, 92 to 95 in the Army, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. A lot of 40 ounces got drank. And,
Did they brought you to the desert at one point, right?
yeah, so we did. So we used to train. The unit I was in, for whatever reason, always wanted to go to the California desert to train. Like, they never wanted to go anywhere. I
Is
don't
that
wanna
a
say
thing
cool.
you could like pick?
I couldn't pick. Apparently, they could pick where they sent us. And so
Yeah.
we always went to Death Valley and trained in Death Valley for Irwin,
Don't
you know. So it's
No, because
I'm trying to hike there this weekend.
Frankie's literally like Death Valley. Oh my God, I'm gonna hike there.
Josh Elise is getting married this weekend in California, so I said that's a good time to figure
Yeah.
out somewhere to hike over there. But I know it's fucking hot right now.
yeah,
so.
it gets hot.
Yeah.
It gets hot.
So then, yeah,
So you
sorry.
trained in Death Valley.
Yeah. We would
That's
go out
fucked
there
up.
for 30 days at a clip. So it was
You're
like
soft, Frankie.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
yeah, there's no, and it was training. There was no showers. There was
Yeah.
no, you shitting in a box, rattlesnakes all over the place.
Jesus.
So it was, and it's a live fire event. So like there's no, everybody there is live firing. Tanks, helicopters, planes.
You're just hearing.
Like I was in an artillery unit, so it's howitzers. Everything is live.
Yeah.
All your rounds are live. Everything is live. So yeah, some couple of times people, shit happens. A couple of people, don't come home, get hurt or whatever the case is. But it would happen if you went to war. So you got to train for it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much it. Then '95, I came back home, and I started working for Ford.
Okay.
Then I worked for Ford Diesel, and it was all right. Then I started working for Honda. Now, in 2006 is when I first saw Club Loose, and I wasn't there drifting.
You were just.
I was there actually with a buddy of mine in his drag car waiting in line. Because I don't know if you guys remember, like they would keep the gate closed until 5.
Yeah.
Right, so you had to wait in line. So we would always go there early to beat the traffic, and then we're waiting in line, and I see these guys like just drifting their cars. At the time, I didn't know what the fuck they was doing. And to be honest, I was like, look at these fucking idiots. These guys are dumb as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, where are you seeing this? Like
in
on
the
the
parking
car
lot.
track or in
on
the
the park? No, not this. So when I first started, we didn't use the car track that much. We used the other side, like the side that we parked the cars on when we used the car track, and there would just be cones everywhere.
What?
Yeah. There's actually like an old school picture like of like Gabe when he's like 5 years old standing next to me, and we're like looking at the cones, and it's like it's you remember,
Yeah,
right?
I remember, dude. This.
Yeah, it was the other side of the kart track.
Yeah. Where is it? Is it IAA? Is it that now? That
Not
lot?
No,
maybe
not
like
that far
not
down.
as far. Maybe
Like-
like in between the cart track and that.
And that, like, when we open the car track where you guys normally pit, that's where we drifted, where you would pit. So
yeah,
if you,
like the first
so
event.
and if you think like the car track is rough on tires,
oh yeah,
that shit over there was,
and there was
crazy.
like craters and
Yeah,
shit.
craters. Yeah, and then you had you have them on the car track too, but the light poles with the big cement
Yeah.
square bottom things,
Yeah.
like they were just like,
I will say though that first turn was fast too.
yeah.
It was fun.
So I
watching
seen
it.
those guys drifting, and I was like, these guys are idiots. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell are they doing? So they open up the track, and at the time, Petty still was driving his Corolla, and it was there, and I was like, I walked over, I was like, I want to see. So my boy runs a time, and he gets kicked out, like he's no safety equipment or whatever.
Yeah, sub 10
which
or
was
whatever.
normal, which was normal for us.
No
None
big
of
deal.
us-
You guys just running sub 10s right now.
And we didn't care because we were all just trying to see what the car would do so we could race them on the street.
Yeah.
So we didn't care about like the track.
Allegedly.
We just want to do like 1 or 2 passes and then
So
be a done deal. Yeah. So then I walk over and I walk over to the Corolla and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I got one of these. Then I met Petty, and at the time, so Petty's been through, dude's like a butterfly, right? It's been through like a couple of stages. So at the time, that was hippie Petty. Remember
Okay.
hippie Petty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, tight pants,
Yeah,
low rider
I do
pants, long
remember
hair.
that.
Right. So, and I was like, I got one of these. And he's like, it's like, we kind of exchange our information or whatever. He was like, I work at a shop, I get parts. And I was like, I'm actually putting it together right now. And I called him up one day and I was like, yo, I'm going to like pick up an exhaust from you and some other parts for my car. And then he was like, yo, you should come out. You should bring it out
To the track.
to the track. Like, come out drifting. I was like, all right, cool. That'll work. Dude, I showed up with like a car that was just literally painted, brand new black interior.
Oh no.
Just how you guys saw it on that picture, you had it, but it still had the back.
That's the one. So that's the one?
That same car. I've had that same car the whole time.
That's amazing. And wait,
And,
what year?
it's an 87 Corolla.
Okay.
Yeah, GTS.
That's the last of the.
the last year of the rear-wheel drive Corollas.
Oh.
And you
Okay.
bought that not knowing anything with drifting.
That's what I
I
was
didn't
about
know
to
shit
ask
about
too.
drifting.
You just said happened to.
I'm
just,
Puerto Rican, man. I like Corollas. It
Yeah.
goes hand in hand.
yeah.
So
You just happened to snuck in there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got one of these, and I was like, whoa.
yeah.
Whoa.
So it was like I showed up, and even when I showed up, Petty was like, "Yo, you drifting this? Like, nah, this just too nice." I was like, "But this is the only Corolla I have. This is what I've been telling you. I've been building this whole time." Like, and he's like, "All right, cool." So I was like, "Go ahead." And like a lot of the dents and scratches that it has, like that car's never been repainted. So like a lot of the dents and scratches it has is from hitting those big cones that they used. Remember they had like
remember the big
they were like
cones.
really big cones. They weren't like little Home Depot cones. They were like like somebody stole them off the highway.
Like
I'm
that,
pretty sure. Like,
that's
it
what I was
wasn't
about to say. Like the ones that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit one of those. It sounds
Yeah,
like you
it-
hit like a kid or
Yeah,
something.
it puts a
Like,
dent in
whoa.
your car. Like like there's literally a dent on the door from hitting one of those cones.
Yeah.
And I've been drifting the same car ever since. I took a little break. Everybody knows I built the G35 that I'm gonna plug it because it's for sale if you want to buy it with an LS in it. But I drove it. It's a fast car. It's so nice, so easy to drift. But
The
it's
G?
so fucking boring.
Yeah.
It has a. You said it has a LS swap.
Yeah, it's got an aluminum 5.3 in it. Got a couple of other things in it. Done
It
to
looks.
to drift.
To me, it looks so. It looks almost like a sleeper, dude.
Yeah, no, it does.
Actually, all your cars are sleepers,
That's
dude.
probably what he's used to.
I'm not a
yeah.
big spoiler kit guy. Like I know a lot of guys, do all the spoilers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm not that big kind of guy. I've always been like even the Corolla. Like when I bought the Corolla, when I put the Corolla together, you could still buy Japanese parts at the dealer,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
So like at any Toyota dealer, you would just go there with a part number and be like, I want to order this part. They couldn't look it up, but if you had the part number, you just went to any dealer and
like
be
a door panel.
That's
Yeah. So
that-
like the big thing was the bumpers, right? Everybody wanted the Japanese bumpers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you would just go there with like people from California back in the what do you call those things? Not the forum days.
Yeah.
They would just post up all the part numbers, like these are the brackets, these are the lights, these are the bumpers, and then you just would print it and go to the dealer and be like, I need these parts.
Give me all of these.
Yeah,
people-
and they would just order for you.
Those people are sent by God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, back then, that's
Yeah, like
that's
they
a-
would just order for you, and then your nearest Toyota dealer could get them. Like it wasn't a big thing. Like, and all my cars have always been like that, like stock body.
That sounds so fucking fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you want it, you had to go through. Not, I wouldn't necessarily call that a hoop, but like you had to kind of do some work.
But I'm saying like those guys that posted the part numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some
Yeah.
dude who was working at
Because
Toyota
they
that
could have
saw
been,
an
they
old
could have been
FSM.
total scumbags and been
Yeah.
like, if you want to buy this, you got to hit me up.
Gatekeeping
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
they-
what would happen today.
Dude, that reminds me of
Today, easy.
That's
That
why
reminds me of certain websites today. Like when me and Malcolm got to find something or we got to get a part, sometimes you go to another website. 'Cause
Yeah.
You'll search on Google. And then they'll have the part and they won't put the part number.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, we have all of our part numbers on our website. Like if someone wants to go to our website, take the part number, and go find it somewhere else,
Yeah.
they could do that.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
I'm not gonna, I can't do anything about
They
it.
can. Yeah.
But like some websites are like, no, I'm gonna make it hard, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, if I want to do that, I'm gonna figure out a way. Your website's not stopping me.
Yeah, it doesn't like listen. But then again, that's the gatekeeping, right? That's
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a big thing now.
and
you
that
know?
happens a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, I could see why people do it. I feel like people feel a little more
I can't
entitled.
see why people do it.
I get what you're saying.
I gotta see it. Like I gotta see it from another side before I like go. I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe they work
There's no
hard
other
to
side
get
to
that
look at
information.
it, though.
They want to
There's
make
no
a
other side
buck
to
off
look
of
at
it.
it.
Like
to
you
me,
know?
it's just like we could block our part numbers if we wanted to, but like to me, it's just like
But like it's like if a friend asked you like, "Yo, what'd you do for this?" You personally
yeah,
would be, you do this, and this. but you're gonna help them. But
Yeah.
it's like because you worked so hard, you figure it out yourself. That like you're like,
But
but
that's
you're gonna
the-
help them anyway.
See,
Yeah.
but that's the thing though. Like, and that's that goes to one of the things I like about Club Loose, right? So like, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what to buy, you just ask.
Yeah.
And contrary to what the internet says, that we're like these big jerk off guys.
yeah, scary.
Like, unless you're a total idiot, like we will tell you. But like, we have clinics and we give guys a total shopping list of what to do to
Yeah.
get their cars running.
yeah,
And it's like, who else does that? Like, nobody does that.
But then you got people who are gonna take it as like,
And that's fine. Listen.
oh, they're
so
telling
that-
me my car's a piece of shit. It
Yeah,
probably
we don't
is.
say it's a piece of shit. We say it's a bag of dicks, and it probably 100% is. Nobody's
That's what I'm
car is a
saying.
piece of shit.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
It is what it is. And we tell guys all the time. I tell guys all the time. I'll be like, listen, you could be such a much better driver if your car wasn't a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're holding yourself back.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
you,
know what I'm
don't
saying?
gotta tell us because we see it in here.
Well, I experienced it, dude, because I had a car the first time I went to Club Loose. It did not pass tech. You remember that? I found an ad for it the other day. I sent it in the group. You saw that? That car, you just said bag of dicks. That was a bag of 80 dicks in one bag. That car was so
That's a
bad.
sack.
And to me, us having this conversation now, I'm like, damn, good thing they did not fucking let me on track with that thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
They had like no coolant overflow, like so much shit was missing from it. Like I thought I was just gonna show up and drift this thing.
yeah,
Nah.
yeah.
And a lot of people think that though.
And
a lot of people think that.
I didn't know. And then now it taught me honestly some stuff. I'm like, okay, a battery tie down. That's
Yeah.
so fucking
Important.
Kind of important.
important.
Yeah, like nobody wants an acid battery blowing up in your car.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you moved it to where it's not supposed to be at.
I remember
Yeah.
Wags talking to us about his car because we just finished his car after fucking how many years, and he's like so happy. I'm so thankful that everything worked out.
He drove the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, and he was telling me the story. He's like, "Yeah, man, it's crazy. I wasn't used to like drifting, and now here my battery flying around in the trunk." he said he remembers going out the first night he got the car, and he's like, "What is that?" Oh, he's like drifting, and his lights keep flickering and
Yeah.
shit.
It's
Like,
just
what's
showing out
going
the
on?
battery, yeah.
And then he opens the trunk, and the battery's like across the other side, and
Yeah.
like the cables are all pulled. Like,
But
dude.
no, it's there for a reason, and I feel like people do take it as like haste, and there's rules.
well,
You enforce the
unfortunately,
rules.
like those people,
Listen,
they're just entitled people that don't.
I've been
understand.
doing tech for so long.
Yeah.
And every event, there's people that roll up with the simplest things wrong.
what like
Right.
give me an example, like a tie
I'll
down.
give you a perfect example, dude. East Coast Bash. I had
Okay.
3 guys with broken windshields. Like, you
I
can
saw them,
literally
that-
read
It's
in the
on
rule book
Frankie, pull it out.
that says no broken windshields. And it says, like, if it's a 1-inch or a 2-inch, you get a pass if it's not on the driver's side. I'm talking about one guy had a full-blown spider crack windshield. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you literally...
I think it's one of the first like couple rules.
And the
He
big
probably
thing
said,
is,
"Wait, there's a rule book."
And the big thing is, I'm like, listen, so you roll up to the tech. You rolled up with your buddies. None of you guys read the rules?
None of them warned you.
Nobody told you, like, yo, I don't think that's going to pass. Like, you know, like, that's not one of the things they're going to let slide. We let some things slide. If it's something small, we'd be like, listen, just fix it for the next event. But certain things, you know, and at every event, it's always those guys that come up and what do, right? So first thing they do is they argue. Like, what is the argument for, bro? Like, that's not going to help you none.
Right.
You know, like you arguing with me or even worse. Listen, if you want to argue with me, I'm just gonna blow you off first of all. But if you arguing with one of the other guys and I hear it in the background and the guys will tell you, like, I walk over and be like, "What's going on?"
Why are they? What do they want you to do?
Because they always say, "Oh, why drift here?" And that's no problem. Go drift there.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
is not there.
Yeah.
This is here,
Right.
where we've had the same rules
And it's
basically for like 20 years.
and it's
Yeah.
a really, like, it's a good rule book. Like, it's so
It's
thorough.
in text. It's right
honestly
there.
not that strict.
No,
But I'm saying is like it's thorough. Like there's like he said,
It's just
the
shit that
windshield
makes
part is a
sense to me.
paragraph.
Yeah.
Like it tells you no cracks can extend past 2 inches from the edge of the windshield. No cracks can be longer than 4 inches. It goes into more detail than that too. Like
No, it's just we did a video
yeah,
on
you saw the
tech,
video.
Yeah.
and you guys teched my car, remember? And it failed. And then I went home and I assessed every single one of the
Yeah,
wrongs
yeah,
in the
yeah.
video.
Yeah.
And now to me, I just know I'm never gonna have to worry about that shit ever again.
Yeah.
And it's basic stuff. It's not. We don't ask guys. Like, I would love for the guys that complain about our rules to go do like a SECA event
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
where they
no.
literally jack your car up, crawl
yeah.
under it,
They-
shake everything,
Yep.
and any little play, your shit's canceled.
Yep.
And guess what? You don't get to come back another. You don't get a credit. Your money's lost.
Gone.
It's your
$400.
fault that your shit is not ready.
You're gone.
It's not the organization's problem. So
dude.
So even I want to even back then, like, you know, because there wasn't a way to share. In fact, in case you were wondering, the rule book it's on the website, right?
Yes.
It's on the Club Loose website.
Yeah.
Club Loose website.
You can find the rule book on there. If you plan on attending a Club Loose event, go check out the website and get this rule book.
And if you do end up having to fix things, guess what? You just made your car better.
Yep, there you go.
You know, it's funny though. Those guys with the broken windshields, they were literally at the gate,
Yeah.
both getting
Yeah,
windshields replaced. I was like, no way.
What?
Somebody had both windshields in stock.
Yeah,
Stop.
And it
stop.
was
Yes,
there
they
within
found
an
somebody.
hour.
They
Wait,
found
wait.
somebody to
This
put
is-
the windshields in the car.
I remember
This
seeing that
that's
too.
Club Loose?
Yeah,
Yeah,
East
at
Coast
East
Bash.
Coast Bash.
East Coast Bash. The guy drove up to the gate because he didn't. I guess he didn't pay for the entry, right? Like the
Yeah.
glass guy didn't pay for the entry.
Yeah.
So he drove up to the gate, and then the guys drove out there, and they got the windshields put on. And listen, we checked everything else on the car, and I told them, I said, listen, you guys get the windshields fixed. You just got to come back and tell me the windshields are fixed. I'll mark it, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like you know, but.
That's pretty cool though. They were able to drive.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that's a rare.
Yeah, I don't know who they called and how they got the glass, but yeah, they found somebody to come and do it at
That's
the track.
Let alone two.
Yeah, let alone 2 windshields. Yeah,
These are two. Do you remember the car?
Nah, I don't.
S
It was
chassis?
a E36, right?
BMWs. Yeah.
Yeah, some
Okay,
kind of BMW.
I could believe.
Yeah, it's a more common.
Maybe a
car.
S chassis. Maybe you're not getting glass. that
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but an E36 though.
Two
Two of them.
And two
Yeah, I'll
of them
take
on a
two.
Saturday.
and a side of
On a
side
Saturday
of,
though. On a Saturday.
side of fries.
Hey,
You
they
get
probably
somebody-
paid a pretty
and
penny.
mobile.
Yeah.
A mobile
To
install.
come to you, yeah. To come
That's
to you and do it.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool though that they got it fixed.
Yeah.
But we always get that. You know,
Yeah.
that was, you know, we always get helmets, you know, helmet issues.
That was one of the things I failed for.
Yeah,
My
that
dad
was-
had
that
an
was me
open
and-
face helmet he would
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
And
my
I was like,
problem
oh,
with
it's a car helmet. Bringing that.
Nah, that, you know, like,
Well,
Dumb.
you used to be able to do that shit at
yeah.
Club Loose.
I used to have an open face helmet when I started.
Yeah, I remember
For
that.
years.
That was
Yeah. You look like a chipmunk when you put it on.
yeah.
You know,
All the
crazy.
photos, you look so lame.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, because I was
Yeah.
using that helmet. I used that helmet when I would go to like Pennsylvania
Yeah,
events.
you look like Speed Racer.
And I looked so fucking lame.
I like
I
those
got like the
helmets.
glasses on and shit, and it had like a visor.
You definitely didn't sweat as much in them.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, you didn't sweat as much.
But
in
you
them.
probably got a lot of tire on your face.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
tanned them in, that shit had to be murder.
Yeah.
Like, you
I
just
didn't
eat
notice
everything.
that until
First-
recently. But like I had
Yeah.
to. I think I was.
First thing
like,
you do, turn
driving.
one, right when you enter.
Push the. Yeah,
No,
that's what
I would
did.
always do it on turn 2 because that was when you're next to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
car,
yeah.
and then I would
On
always
your side, yeah, it's on
slam
your
it.
side.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's always, listen, like you said, like the stuff is out there, and when you get these new places that drift, right? If you ever notice when they first start, they're real relaxed with the rules.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like
Someone flips.
they start clamping down on the rules. Right?
Somebody fucks it up for
because
everyone or
what they
something.
don't, it's not that they,
take
fucked
advantage.
it up, it's they don't realize that these places holding these events have insurance.
Yeah.
Nobody
too.
wants to pay. Nobody
Right.
wants their insurance to get jacked up because some idiot, hurt himself because he has some shady ass shit on their car.
Yeah.
Like or hurt somebody else.
You ever see like those events in like, actually they're everywhere, but New Jersey I feel like where they're wearing like a helmet that almost looks like a horseback riding helmet.
I've seen that.
You know what I'm
Oh, in
talking about?
California,
They
I've
use
seen
that
that.
It looks like
Yeah.
a Yoshi shell.
Yeah, it's a Japanese thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Japanese motorcycle helmet.
That to
Yeah, yeah,
me
yeah.
is a huge liability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, the
I
helmet's
feel like I could hit you over the head with my
It's-
hand
it's-
and that
it's a
would hurt.
regular buckle. Too.
Yeah.
It's not like a through strap.
It's like a German
buckle.
cap. Is it like a German
Yeah,
cap? Like
kinda.
like we would wear over here. Like,
Yeah.
But like they paint it too, the master
Yeah.
car. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
but
It's
definitely
cool,
not safe.
but it's not safe.
definitely not safe.
I don't know. I don't even think it's cool. You gotta sign me out of that one.
Yeah.
I'll take the 3/4 helmet though. That shit's pretty sick.
What's it?
But you haven't been driving for a while.
Yeah.
Go touch the foam. Go touch the foam on that helmet. I guarantee it's falling apart.
Dude,
It's
that
brittle,
helmet
probably.
is destroyed.
yeah,
Ew.
yeah, and you're not even wearing it. That's what I'm saying.
Destroyed.
It's just a thing. Like, why would you want to keep a helmet for that
Yeah.
long?
You gotta
Like, it's
get a new
crazy.
one.
Like,
I've put in like multiple inquiries about helmets, and then I stop and I'm like, my car ain't running yet. I'm
Nah,
not
wait
buying
till
a
your car's
fucking
running.
helmet.
What do you mean inquiries?
Like, cause
They got that shit for sale.
That shit's
you go to
expensive,
Amazon.
man.
You go anywhere.
it's
Yeah.
me, Carl. You know I'm getting some crazy helmets.
yeah, but what? But what? But I wouldn't buy one, right? Because they change them every couple of years.
Yeah, and then
right?
you
So
gotta-
let's say you buy a nice one now, pay $700 for it, then all of a sudden they're like some new. Like now we're on SA 2020s. Let's say all of a sudden now it's SA 2025, and here you got this $700 helmet that's useless.
Yeah, that's why
So
I was
just
like,
wait.
you know what? Let me hold off on that.
Yeah, wait till your car's ready and then
Yeah.
get a helmet.
The thing that always pissed me off about Club Loose, cages. Let's talk about it.
I don't tan them.
Damn,
so
you're
I
about to say this shit?
I don't tan them, so I don't know shit about cages.
Everyone knows that.
So cages is a and so the I believe I should probably read up on it before I say this, but I believe even some of our Club Loose places don't add cages to everything. Like I think in Pennsylvania, I think they have like a
Oh yeah, it's
or
probably,
was it Texas maybe? They had like
probably
a
Texas.
like a rule for like if you had like a 350Z or a G35, you didn't need a cage.
Oh really? Like certain cars.
Yeah, certain cars. Yeah, because the
The structure's just better.
yeah, like you ever close a G35 door, they're like 150 pounds. You're
Yeah,
like,
and they're like 17 feet tall.
yeah.
Was it because of the state of New Jersey or is this a
Yeah,
different
state of New Jersey is the one that comes out with all the. Excuse me, guys, I gotta get an adult beverage here. State of New Jersey is the ones that come out with all the safety stuff, and it's just SCCA stuff, right? So like our cage stuff, damn, the power did go out.
No, dead ass?
podcast too? Yeah, it probably did.
No, it's just the cameras.
It's just the
We're
cameras.
still on. We're still
All
on.
right.
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah, see, so for anybody who doesn't know, we were joking about that before the podcast started.
Wait, whoa, that's never happened here.
It's because of AC.
Did you pay the bill?
Yeah, yeah. It's the AC.
But yeah, the SCCA rules are what mandate the cage. So
Okay.
I mean, other than like what problem do you have? That you need a cage to tandem?
Yeah, that was always.
Have
that.
you ever
'Cause,
seen a car flip or
That- that's
somebody
what-
get T-boned?
That's what my thing is. Is like
Club
if-
loose, that does happen occasionally.
if you're going
yeah.
fast like that,
Yeah.
that front course, you're going kind of fast.
Yeah,
like
listen, I seen a couple of people flip. Couple of people take bad hits, and nobody ever complain about a cage when that shit happens.
yeah,
They're very happy they got it.
that's
So
exactly
it's one of those things, and it's not mandated for the other groups.
the
It's not mandated for any of the other groups. It's just if you want to be an A group.
Yeah.
That's why my personal cars don't have cages, because I really don't care about tandeming. When I drive, I just want to have some fun, and that's it.
the
I gotta use the webcam for now.
we're alive. We're here. We're here.
Yeah, we're still here, guys. We're still here.
But no, the safety part is the part, and I don't know who I was talking to about this recently, but I was like, yeah, and your car will be safer.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you get the tandem, but
Oh,
yeah,
I mean-
so it was
your
hot.
car will also be
Yeah.
safer.
So the one downside to it is, like, if you street drive your car, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you street drive your car, then you really don't want a cage in it. And if you don't have a cage, then you can't tandem. So you got to kind of pick and choose your battle there.
At that point, though, like if your intention is to be an A group, I feel like you kind of have to
It can't be your street
accept
car.
the fact
It's
that
not gonna be a
it
street
is
car.
no longer. And if you are driving it on the street, nobody's stopping you.
Yeah, nobody's stopping you.
I mean, maybe the New Jersey government will.
I would trust a welding cage on the street over a bolted.
Oh, I
welding
would
cage.
definitely. I would only do a welding cage.
I also don't. I also like that you guys the Bolton cage that doesn't fly, right?
No.
Okay. And because I see that sometimes, and I'm like, that's borderline looks like a style bar. Like that metal is thin. You ever pick up one of those a Cusco cage?
Cusco cage is
Like the
bolted.
doors, the little door bars they have, and you pick it up.
They have an attachment.
It's like super light, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is that supposed to save me?
Nah, it will if in a rollover type way. But if
Really?
you get a T-bone,
It's not an intrusion
that shit's
bar.
gonna
Well,
snap.
with
Yeah.
tandems and stuff, that's
Yeah.
my concern. Is
Yeah.
like if we're moving fast,
Yeah. And
You
I mean,
can-
listen, this isn't, like guys are doing like 100 plus miles an hour in
Yeah.
that first entry. Like, it's, this is not like it was 10 years ago where like 50 miles an hour was fast.
that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know what
we
I'm
haven't
saying?
even talked about that. Like
Yeah. Like the speeds that these guys are carrying now is like ridiculous.
the level of performance I get. Well, it's like, dude, it's with the accessibility.
yeah.
You can order shit online. If you had a credit card just open, you could build a car like in a
That's
week.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Why? Because okay, not in your time.
Do some other shit with your money.
in your in when you were growing up and stuff.
Mhm.
That
credit cards
probably was
existed.
not
Credit
cards
cards.
existed.
Credit
Yeah.
cards existed, but I feel like the accessibility. What were you like cataloging it for aftermarket
Oh,
stuff,
yeah,
or did you
No,
have like
no,
a
we had
guy
speed shops.
you
We had
went
speed
to?
shops. We had speed shops.
Were you on Route 46 a lot?
No, I was actually. So we had a speed shop in Harrison that we used to get a lot of parts from. Mothers was on 46.
That little
Right.
strip right there. My
Well, that
mom used
Mothers
to work there.
Mothers was way before like the rim shops.
That-
Like it's way
That's
closer to like Clifton and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Rayco.
Yeah, Rayco's like way farther down. Mothers was more closer to this side of 46.
Mothers.
Then
That's
it
still
was,
around, right? Mothers.
Mothers is like not the speed shop,
Okay.
but like Mothers Wax is still around.
Oh, I thought the speed shop would. I guess maybe I heard you talking about it one
The
time.
only
Yeah.
speed shop I know is the one in Pep Boys in Patterson.
Jesus, Pet Boys. And then Bruce's, and I still go to Bruce's, which rest in peace, Bruce, because he passed away. His wife's Margaret
Oh shit!
still,
Really?
yeah, his wife Margaret's still running the shop.
I remember going to Bruce's because
Yeah.
Justin lived closer to there, so that's
Yeah.
where we would
Is
And-
that the one by me?
Yeah.
By Dover, yeah.
I was looking.
Is it Dover or Rockaway? I can't remember. What
One
I was
of
looking
those.
right
for
on 46.
I was looking for people who would fill up a nitrous bottle,
All right, Bruce will fill it up.
and I was doing my homework.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, Bruce sold nitrous. He will fill it up.
Yeah. And when I
and-
saw the reviews, there were people like been going here for years or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I've been going there for like ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
has
it-
to be easily.
T-bolt clamps. I think I called this place because I was like, I need a T-bolt clamp.
Yeah,
Well,
they
let
got
me tell you,
everything, man.
I've anytime I needed something and I went to Bruce's, they've always had it in stock.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about like SR20 parts. Of course, I come for faction for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about like if I need fittings and stuff or
Yeah.
like clamps, pieces of aluminum bends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody has them. Like we didn't have Amazon.
Damn,
and
that sucks
shit
to
like that.
hear.
Yeah.
I feel like I called there and it was maybe 3-4 years ago, when I
Yeah.
had to be when I had an SR. Damn,
Yeah.
that sucks to hear.
Yeah, man. So, everybody, listen, man. Everybody has a time to check out, right? I mean, it sounds fucked up, but
Nah, it's all right. Frankie said
Yeah.
way worse, dude. It's
Yeah.
all right.
No, it is true.
You have trained me.
yeah.
It does happen.
But listen, his wife Margaret's still doing it, and still got the shop running. They still got the big cat on the counter,
Yeah.
so you can go there.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I'm just glad places like that still exist.
yeah.
Do you think? Okay, here's.
Have you ever? Listen, have you been there recently?
I haven't been not, dude. It's probably been like fucking
Listen,
5 years.
if you wanna see
what everything was like,
what everything
Yeah.
was like, go to Bruce's.
Shit's just
Like,
random?
just walk in and just if you're not gonna buy nothing, just walk in and say, "Hey, I heard about this place. I just want to check it out." And just walk in and walk around the store. It's literally packed with shit.
The
like,
walls are full.
The walls are full. The walk paths are full. Like parts everywhere. Anything you can need. I don't know how Bruce knew where everything was. Like it literally looks like a teenager's room.
Yeah.
Like it's just stuff everywhere.
That's what I like, though.
But the old school guy you would go there and tell him you needed something. He ain't looking at a computer. He ain't even looking at a book. He
Yeah.
just got up off the chair and went and got it.
That's fucking crazy.
He's like, yo, how do you know where shit is?
Malcolm's turning into that right now. Actually,
Yeah, I just saw him do it earlier.
Yeah.
This thing says we don't have it, but I know it's on the shelf. I'm gonna
And
go
the
get
best part with Malcolm is he'll always look at me like, I don't fucking know what that is because he doesn't know cars that well.
Yeah.
But then I'll be like, and he just say one key word and he'll be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we got three. of those.
That's
I know where it is.
to me. That's whenever I go to a place like that. There's a parts store by me that I go to religiously for everything, just because they're. I don't know why, but they're just older gentlemen, and I'm like,
It's a
you
dying-
guys
it's a
did this
dying-
shit.
It's a dying business.
Yeah, I don't want to
Like,
go to. Sometimes I don't want to go to Advanced
for
Auto
years.
Parts and
For
fucking.
years, my hangout was an auto parts store.
Yeah.
Like it was a regular auto parts store in Newark that my best friend, his dad owned it,
Oh hell
and
yeah.
we literally hung out there. Like I would just spend hours just standing there bullshitting.
Yeah.
That's what I do here. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, there are some people that do that here.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
get
but
the
like,
conversations that you probably had at that
Oh,
place,
dude,
Yeah.
because
they're
you're
crazy.
You're just at that time. That's how you're getting engulfed in the in the
Yeah.
automotive culture, right?
And
You're
that's
right
what got
there.
me. So that's what got me. Listen, when I bought I said I bought a hard body in '92. When I bought the hard body, the first thing I did was put some lowering blocks and torque down the torsion bars. And I was like, I'm in Kentucky, right? Nobody's got a lowered truck. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is great. I love this place. And I come home, I meet some other guys with trucks, and then like now, we start seeing like how they and I hate to put California on the map because it's such a shithole, but listen, I don't give a fuck how the West Coast does it.
yeah.
The only thing they got good is Dre and Ice Cube. That's it. DJ Quick.
I fuck with both
If
of
you're a
those.
little bit older,
And their
Yeah.
cars though.
low riders, I give them that.
Okay.
I give them low riders.
Sick.
Did you?
You know what I'm saying?
Did
But
you buy the hard body because you knew about it?
I didn't know shit about
yeah,
it.
you
I
didn't
just,
know.
I just needed a car because I was in Kentucky, and I went. The nearest dealer was a Nissan dealer, so I bought like a 2-year-old hard body that somebody had traded in. And but when I came back, like the mini trucking scene was like crazy.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying.
1995, like the mini trucking scene was like. So then I did spindles, I did like lowering springs,
Ah.
all types of shit.
You
Like
did-
I had a pretty good handling truck.
You weren't distracted by the 240 on the lot.
No, dude, the 240 was a secretary's car.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
my
It was
dad
a
tells
women's
me.
car.
He's like,
That's what
nobody would
everyone
even
says.
bat
You
an
could-
eye
listen.
at that shit.
If you was a dude in the 80s and 90s, the only Nissan that excited you was a 300ZX. And forever, my top car, like, the top three, right? RX-7, Supra, and 300ZX.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, my top car forever was a 300ZX. Was like that last body style of
Yeah.
twin turbo 300ZX. to
Was
me.
it the form factor for you? Like to
It
me,
was
it's like
just-
just
it was
a
like a spaceship.
It looks like a
It was
sports
like a
car.
spaceship. It was like everything was right about it. Like
How
the
much? How
shape-
much was that car then?
Man, I want to say
The fuck,
16.
taxes included.
I
Too.
really want to know.
it had to
this.
be close to like 40.
That's what I thought.
It had to be
Okay.
close to 40.
40K.
Yeah,
Holy
40K.
fuck.
At that time, brand new.
Yeah, brand new. Had to
Wait,
be close.
okay,
Which
wait.
was still a lot of money, like
That
unless
is.
you were selling drugs or some shit. Yeah. Which it was the 90s. Who knows?
And the 240 was like half that or less.
Way less than
Way
that.
less
Way
than that.
less than
10,
It was like 16.
10 grand
16.
Yeah.
for the base. But you got to remember, like I keep forgetting just because of like I guess the resale value of its competitors today.
Oh yeah.
Like that 40K, an NSX I know had to been like 35 or something like that. Not as powerful as the 300ZX.
Yeah.
And these are brand new cars, so they don't know that it's a piece of shit like that, or that the injectors are gonna fail or like.
But the 300 was that was a car you got if you were a dude, right?
That was the one you got.
That's
Like,
the one
shit
you
looks
wanted.
sick,
Nothing.
dude.
Listen, you either got that or a Pathfinder. There was nothing else on the Nissan that mattered to you.
Damn, the Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder was the.
It was
shit.
hot?
Bro, let me tell you something.
That generation Pathfinder was the same. They looked the same as a 4Runner.
Yeah, it was the shit. The
Oh,
Pathfinder.
Oh, the boxy.
yeah, the boxy joints,
boxy
the
one.
wide body fenders
Yo,
on it.
that's so funny because
Second
like
gen.
there's just so many of them for sale.
Yeah.
And now it makes sense because so many people bought them.
Yeah, dude, they were like that's what you bought, right? If you had a family, you bought a Pathfinder, and
Not
if you
the
was a
NX?
single dude, you bought a 300ZX. The NSX came way later.
No, the NX.
Oh, the NX 2009. That was like a kid's car. That was like a kid's car.
No, well,
Yeah,
that's a
So funny
secretary's
story.
car.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
my very first car that my dad bought me.
Don't say NX because I won't feel really
was
bad.
a 200 SX, an S12. S12?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, not S12. The
Sentra?
older one. The
Looking
older
one?
one.
Older one.
The S11, I guess. Whatever was before the S12.
I don't even know.
Dude, the car was crazy. He used to talk and everything. It's like door just jar. Keys
What?
in the ignition.
Can you look this up,
Yeah.
Malcolm? Is there a way to do that?
It was a 200 SX
S11.
from
What
like
the fuck is that?
1983.
I don't even know
S
what
chassis.
this looks like.
Yeah, it was a crazy. It was a coupe. Look up a coupe, Malcolm. It was a crazy car.
Door
Just
ajar.
just
The S12?
accidentally.
What's up?
Before
had-
the S12?
Before the S12, because the S12 had flip up lights. It was the one before that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a 80. It was a full blown like late 70s, early 80s kind of mix.
Wait, it kind of looks like a Maxima.
You're
of
gonna
the
make
year.
people buy this car right now once they hear that it talks to them.
That should look like a torpedo. Was it a hatch?
It was
or
a coupe.
That
had a coupe.
A coupe.
But yeah, dude, it was like top of the line, power windows, everything. It would talk like you would.
It would talk.
It would tell you the door was open, your lights were on, your seatbelt wasn't on.
That looks pretty sick.
Yeah, the coupes. And you know what? Like I hated the car at the time, so I had it for like a couple of months, and then I traded it in. I didn't trade it in. I sold it, and I bought a Starlet, like my first Toyota Starlet.
Ooh.
And
I fucked like
and
a
that- and-
KP61.
Yeah, I had
Oh.
about a dozen of those things.
How many
Damn.
cars do you think you had?
Oh shit, man! You gotta ask my wife that, but it's probably gotta be close to 100.
Because
Really?
getting cars
Yeah.
back then was probably so easy, right?
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you something. I like when I was like you guys' age, right?
Oh,
You know,
we're like
20s,
close.
20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta remember, right? It was the 90s, right?
Uh-huh.
So like your money was good. Like
Yeah.
you know,
God
True.
damn
True.
it!
you
We don't know
I
what
had-
that's about.
I don't even know what
like,
that
I
would
had
be like.
quads, bikes, dirt bikes,
Maybe
uh,
fuck around, get a house.
3 or 4 cars, a house.
Yeah.
You're like I had
Fuck!
all that shit.
Bro, we can't do that. It's not,
Listen,
I'm
I
trying.
can't help you with that shit.
I'm trying.
You need that generational wealth.
Yeah.
That's what I hear anyway.
I'm trying.
Fuck, man.
God damn! If there's a woman out there who loves IS300, has a lot of money, let me know.
Hot damn. Man,
Fuck.
fishing boy. Woo.
God damn it!
He went from talking about my eyes to looking for a woman to
Look, man, this is we're in this is my house today.
It is
Okay.
crazy though, right? How different it is because
Yeah.
like, dude, did any of my friends have a house? I guess Josh has one.
A lot of my friends got houses right now, dude.
Okay, I'm surrounded by the
When
wrong
did they buy
company.
them?
Within the past
are they
year,
Filipino?
They're having no.
Oh, okay.
They're getting married, having kids. I'm trying to get a 1JZ.
Yeah, yeah. You know what it is? We have
Look, we
surround
have
ourselves
different
with
paths.
people.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. But
They're
that's the
different
thing, right?
paths.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so like when I was young and dumb, your money allowed you to do everything you wanted to do and still do the shit that you needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
right
I'm
now,
saying?
you kind of got to do one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
You either
Fuck.
have an expensive hobby or a family. You
Or-
choose.
You choose. You can't have both.
Ah.
You know, they'll both make you happy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to chase this career, man. I talked
So what
to
kind of
Gabe.
career?
I work in business right now, so I'm
That's
I'm
not a
an
fucking
analyst.
description.
I
work in business.
I'm a contract analyst right now. Within the business realm, in these list of processes to get something sold,
All right.
I'm somewhere in there.
Okay.
And I when we talked to Gabe, and he's studying engineering.
Yes.
And it's at a good school,
Yes.
and he's I believe almost done.
No, he
No?
just started.
2
He just
years?
finished his
3
first year.
Boy, if you talk to him, he
Oh wait,
sure
that's
wants
a
to be
5-year
done.
program, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but
But I talked to him about school,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude, you're set.
Well, I told him, I said one of the big things was always like we always told him like, yo, like you got a scholarship, bro. Like how many stories you hear about and a full scholarship.
Yeah.
Like how many stories you see on the news, right? You read it, you say, yeah, I gotta pay these payments. I can't afford it. I can't.
Man.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you got a leg up. So like as soon as you graduate, I'm gonna need that GT3.
I was about to say that because he says it.
He knows it.
Yeah, he brought it
night,
up.
he'll say it like,
Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah, I just got to get my dad that GT3.
Listen, he don't gotta buy it for me. I told Chris earlier, we just gotta split it. It's like, it's like having a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like you get it during the week, I get it on the weekends.
Yep.
That
It's
would
all
be
good.
sick. That is the car everyone fucking wants, man.
Ah, dude, it's a driver's car.
Is
man.
it cause
Yeah.
in the 80s? Because
No,
you
it
grew
ain't
up in that
'cause-
time.
Nah.
You didn't like the
drove-
older ones?
I drove. I was telling Chris a story. So I went. My wife for one of my birthdays bought me this thing, and we met at South Jersey. We drove a shitload of cars, and I drove a 911 Carrera S. It was like all-wheel drive, turbo, paddle shift, all this fancy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that owned the car was like really cool as shit. He was a car guy. He was like, this car has like, you can launch it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. Just stop right here. So we let all the other cars go, and he's like, now do this, and then stomp on the gas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like sitting there like, and then he's like, now let it go. And it was like, dude, that shit shot to 100 so fast. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, I need one of these. I don't know how I'm gonna get it. And then I realized Gabe was smart. I was like, that's how I'm gonna get it. This is how I'm gonna get it.
That's how I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, because I can't get it.
This dude's smart as hell.
Yeah,
That's
But,
funny.
yeah,
Thank God.
yeah, dude, that
You're a
shit
genius.
that car was like sick, bro. I was like, we drove that shit through like some farm roads down in South Jersey.
That's cool.
And the dude was like, yeah, just stomp on it. Just go. It's going to grip. I'm like,
Usually when you go to those things, they're so strict.
yeah,
with that shit.
that dude was cool as fuck. He was
Damn.
like, yo, you want to drive this? Because I guess he knew like I was a car guy, and we were talking.
And you're not a kid,
Yeah,
probably.
we were talking,
So, yeah.
and he was like, oh, this guy's a car guy. Like he wanted to drive this shit. Like,
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, just like stop. Let them go. And they was like, it's like, nah, do this. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Dude, people tell me those stories. They get those things. They go to like NASCAR tracks and drive whatever car they want or whatever. And they're like, the fucking guy in the passenger seat's like freaking out. Whoa, what are you doing? Whoa,
Nah,
slow down. It's like,
This guy,
bitch,
this
I'm
guy-
here to drive.
Yeah, this guy was cool as hell. Like this guy was like, he was, and this was like country roads. Like,
That's even sicker.
Yeah.
That's what you said that, and I was like, what is this, like a fancy test drive?
What's their insurance look like?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
have no
because
idea.
it's not on a track or anything. So.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, that had to be like some, to be honest, like, I never really met anybody else that done that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Yeah,
it's,
it doesn't sound
yeah,
common.
like every time I hear it, it's like that. It's like at a track.
This
or it's
wasn't
like
in the 90s, right? This is
Nah,
recent.
this was like in maybe 2000-ish.
Yeah.
2000-ish.
Because it had launch control. That shit had to be like a
Yeah.
997.
Yeah, I don't know what I call them all 911s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that-
are. So that's
Those
valid.
For me, Porsche is the top tier. I'm Filipino. Like to us, having a German car, you're fucking rich.
Yeah.
Like so. My
Then you
dad,
realize they're like garbage, right? And you
Yeah,
gotta,
my dad had a
Yeah.
911, an older one.
Yeah.
He had an 84
Like air-cooled
one, like
joint?
air-cooled
Yeah.
one.
Those
I
are
like
cool.
that because
love that.
I like that
Yeah.
because there's a part of me that still likes. I don't know. I feel like there's more of it now where people like getting their hands dirty and shit
Yeah.
and working on it now, and like I love that part. And that car, I feel like you could get away with it more.
But I always see,
You can
know
make
what?
your
like,
own shit.
I like those cars. Like,
They're not fast.
nah, but they're fun to drive. They're
You just
driver's
feel like
cars.
a
Yeah.
badass in there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially like if you get like one of the little wide body joints,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You're like, ooh.
that shit looks
yeah.
wide because
Yeah.
the cabin is
Get the
still
big
narrow.
whale tail on it. You know what I'm
Shit is
saying?
wide.
Yeah.
That's the car I learned how to drive stick on.
As you know, I just like simple things. So it's like, oh, there's no cooling system? Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Now, my dad, before they had the, before everybody puts them now, right? That like door handle with the rope.
Oh yeah.
He was like watching some videos, made that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. That's
Watching-
cool.
Watching some Magnus Walker.
just do
He's
this
like,
shit?
Fucking, I'm doing this in my garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that I know a little bit more, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of things he could have did better on that car.
But you know, it's also the time though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's also
No,
not
this
like-
was recent.
Oh, recent.
My
okay.
mom and him got
I
into
can't-
a
I can't
huge
defend
fight
them
about
then.
that.
Have you guys seen that company called Gunther Works?
No.
The
Go-
people that making the Porsches,
Bro.
they take a Porsche and they take that car that you drove and make that shit into a spaceship.
Dude, they basically have a manufacturing like warehouse.
Yeah.
They take a good donor car, strip that thing down to metal, redo everything. Like,
That's
dude,
crazy.
widen the whole car.
Yeah.
Like, I I think they use carbon fiber for almost all the panels.
Fuck.
They did one of them, and they're like booked up and shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, who the fuck is paying this money, dude?
Yeah.
There's so many people that want those cars.
Yeah.
But they did one that was all like unpainted, so that you could see the carbon.
All the carbon. Yeah.
And you could see the sections that weren't carbon. So it's like the A pillar, and then like part of the C pillar.
Yeah.
But like everything else on the car is carbon fiber.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a good video to watch. It's like an hour long or something.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. That's the shit I watch at work.
I don't know if I could
Oh, so
afford
it's
that.
a movie.
It's,
a
dude,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
anything that involves looking behind the scenes at one of these companies,
Yeah.
I'm for it. Like even F1.
Well, I feel like-
there's like none of that shit. You
Yeah.
can't see like behind the scenes F1 shit. I've never seen a video like
Well,
that.
Nah.
today I feel like there's just a shitload of money. Not in my pocket.
Yeah.
But there's just a shitload of
Yeah.
money around, and people are just doing crazy outlandish shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think also
like-
like people with money just want to outdo each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, you bought that? Check out this fucking thing I just got built, like 90% carbon fiber. You know what I'm saying?
I'm fucking
And I'm
glad-
not even painting it so you could see it.
I'm
Yeah.
poor and I do that. I'll be, yo, Frankie, check it out. And then Frank, that thing's a piece of shit, Carl.
I'm glad I don't have that because that sounds so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you could get something, and then you're over it, and you're like, I need something nicer.
Yeah.
And then
Every
you just
once in a
find-
while, though, I'll like be on Instagram and the person's clearly rich, and then I see like they're building a 240 like in a garage, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, you could be doing like a bunch of other shit,
Yeah.
but you're building a 240. That's kind of humbling.
I mean,
I'm like,
it's-
all right, yeah.
You know what, too? Like, I that's also kind of what jacked up the prices on all these cars, right? Like,
Yeah.
why you can't afford an S13 now, right?
Oh,
Because younger people who probably, like, when they were young, right?
Yeah.
They saw those cars and they fell in love with them, but they were too young, right? So they go through school, they get a job.
that's my
they
generation.
got some money.
right now.
Right? And now they want this car, right?
Now
wanna
they're
over-
spending 20 grand.
and they overpay for these things. So
Not
they
to-
fuck up the whole market.
Not to mention all the rich kids, but their parents
So-
are buying them, and they're fucking the market up too.
Yeah, like
The
you
broccoli
know,
heads.
Listen, I'll give you a perfect example. Like one day I walked in the container and I just made like a shit video. I was like, just video myself walking in the container and I was like, cash me out.
Yeah.
Right. The Corolla and the G35 were in there. Right. Dude offered me like 18 grand for the Corolla. I'm like, what the fuck?
18 grand?
I'm like,
Corollas are crazy.
you know,
right now,
yeah,
bro.
dude. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like,
The thing is, it's only gonna go up.
and I'm like, well, and I was like, yo, I had this car since 2006. Like, what? Like,
you can't
can
get
I
You
get
think
rid
you'd
of
ever?
it?
Nah,
you-
not
you-
for that
Like
price.
people actually know me as Hector with the blue Corolla.
Yeah.
yes.
Like it's like it goes like
or what you drove here. That's also what
The
I know
Malibu.
you for.
Yeah,
the
the
Malibu.
Malibu.
Yeah.
I
Murphy-
fuck
that's
with
Murphy,
that thing.
right?
what's up?
That's Murphy, right?
Yeah.
Murphy.
No,
Charlie
no,
Murphy.
that's Carmine. That's Charlie
Carmine.
Murphy's the G35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Darkness, bitches. It's all black. Everything black.
Dude, that was the best fucking show ever,
Yeah.
dude. Chappelle Show.
Could you imagine that shit now?
You can't.
Oh my
I had
God.
this conversation
can't.
with somebody recently. That shit will air. If that aired today,
Listen, I don't know how the
Never.
fuck Family Guys is still like.
Well,
going
people
on.
say that about South Park too. 'Cause
Yeah,
South Park is
yeah,
still
South Park
not
and
giving a
Family
fuck.
Guy. Like
South
I
Park
don't,
gets a little outlandish for me sometimes. I'm like,
I'm not like
yo.
a fan of it, but I know that
Yeah.
it's reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Family Guy too, and they're like fucking
Really?
crazy. Yeah,
Well-
and that's like on regular Channel 5.
What
At least, at least South Park, you gotta have cable to watch.
This is what's going on with that. They're first of all they're grandfathered in, but second of all, and most importantly, no one's fucking paying for cable anymore.
Yeah.
So if you take that shit off the TV,
Yeah, ain't nobody watching.
ain't no one watching that shit
Yeah.
anymore, dude. What? Like that's why. That's why they're leaving it. They're just fucking like closing their eyes. Like,
And
oh,
if cable said no, they'll just put that shit online anyways.
Yeah.
Shit'll be like on fucking Netflix.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Tubi or some shit.
yeah, they make way more money putting it on Netflix
Yeah.
or something probably.
You know what video I saw last night? Is someone recorded the time when we switched from analog to digital. I think it was in
Wait, what?
2009. TV. Analog TV, and this switched
Yeah.
to digital.
I'm too dumb for this
cable.
conversation.
Well, you guys are probably small. Like I remember when they was giving us free antennas.
That's
That
what
I don't remember.
I didn't.
Yeah, they was
I didn't
giving us
understand that for the
There was
longest time.
because that's when they switched. So like you needed this like antenna so your old TV would work
yes,
because everybody didn't have flat screens.
Yeah, I
So,
think
like,
that was like Dish TV.
Like if you
time.
no, it wasn't even. It was like just you would put it in your house. Like if you had an old school glass tube, right? You guys
Yeah.
remember those, right?
I had one of those.
If you had an old school glass tube TV when they did the switch, you wouldn't get any channels because they, however they changed the frequencies, however that shit worked. So
I didn't
they,
even know about this shit.
So they gave you free antennas so that you can continue to watch TV.
and then you found the antennas for sale at the dollar store.
Yeah.
In a few
well,
years.
well, what happened was like flat screen TVs were like $1,000, right? And then Walmart came around, they were like $99. So now
Wait,
everybody has
What
them.
year was this?
2009 is when they switched from analog to digital.
Because I remember my friend had a flat screen TV. That shit was the size of this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But
a
it wasn't
Sony
the
Wega.
screen.
No,
it was the rest
it
of
was-
it.
Yeah, Sony Wega.
But was it like a big box,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
So it was that wasn't a flat screen. That was a projector.
Okay.
That was a
Yes,
projector.
it was
There was like shit inside it that project.
Yeah.
It wasn't like what you buy now.
That was like going to the movie theater. Yo,
Yeah.
let's go to Steve's
I'm,
house. He's
I'm
got the
telling
movie
you,
theater in
I
his
had
basement.
one of those TVs. Okay, I went to college, and somebody was throwing away one of those TVs, but it was huge.
Not to mention that shit looked like ass.
No,
bro.
The
You
one,
turned the light on and you couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
Turn the light on. Turn the
That
light
shit was terrible.
dude. I had to buy a blackout curtain for
Yeah.
behind. I had it in front of my bed, and the sun would shine in from the back of my bed.
Yeah, and
so
all
I had
you
to
see
buy
is
a
the sun.
blackout.
Oh yeah,
curtain.
all you see was a white screen.
It was like a 70-inch TV though.
Right, that's a screen where like you could rub your fingernails on it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
and
the
it would
ridges.
like it would make
Yeah,
a
the
line.
ridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, it's big, but like
but the quality
shit's kind
though.
of whack.
The quality of that TV, that Sony Wega, dude. Oh my god.
I'm not familiar with this. All I remember is at the time of that big screen TV thing being like, wow, this is crazy. They also had small TVs that were like you were putting in the kitchen and shit.
Yeah.
And that screen was like
Yeah.
crazy.
They had TVs with radios and shit.
I had
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah.
the antenna, and you'd
Yeah.
have to like go like that.
But like it was a screen like this, you know, like it was smooth, and you were like, oh wow, this is interesting. Why can't they make this on a
Dude,
bigger
my
scale?
bedroom TV when I was a kid, I remember you'd have to like hit it,
Oh, mine too.
and it would
Yeah.
zoop,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
oh, there we go.
I still have that TV.
You were
too.
probably going to those fucking sketchy channels with.
Yeah.
Oh, you little.
He's
switch-
watching the script.
Yeah.
I think I saw a
you,
nipple.
You,
Yeah, yeah,
fucking, you watching channel 67 for sure.
So here's the thing. So in the basement we had a TV, but my dad got this, this what are those boxes? You get a box from someone. and
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
You get all the channels.
Chipped
in.
out. Yeah, chipped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
down
he-
there watching Penthouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
Frankie,
He
no.
didn't, unfortunately, they didn't have those channels, but you could see it barely with
Yeah.
the squiggle.
Yeah. Then he
Yeah.
sees a nipple.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the little squiggles.
Yeah. So like all your friends would come over and then you sit down.
Sit down for an hour watching some scrambled
I
shit.
saw a nipple. And you go back. Yeah.
You guys are out
crazy.
there staying up watching Girls Gone Wild
That's
commercials.
funny.
Jesus.
Lord.
Yeah, I remember those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
That was
I
a
actually
lot.
we rarely talk about that switch over from analog to digital.
I didn't even know there was a technical term for that. I didn't even.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I remember when they switched. I didn't know like the term. Like I would.
Me
I,
either.
I would never say like they went from analog to digital.
Bro,
Like-
I don't
That
even
you went
think.
from clear to
I don't even think I was
wait, clear.
So
no,
when
I
did-
think
when did
they
they
just needed more channels, right? That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
They needed more channels.
So is that like when they would give you like the box thing? Remember?
I don't remember, but the video was like literally the moment it switched from analog to digital, all the channels just shut off.
Yeah.
Any analog channel was just not working.
yeah, it was not working.
Just in the country, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they did the same thing with radio. Like if you guys, I don't know if you guys remember when they went with like the HD radio.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like because they needed more stations. So like
Yeah.
every station, like for example, Hot 97.
Yeah.
So Hot 97 had like 3 fucking stations, but they were all on HD. So it was like you had the regular Hot 97, then you had like 2 other.
Do you still listen to radio? Out of curiosity.
I only listen to radio.
You only listen
I
to
only
radio.
listen to radio.
I'll
Okay.
flick to the radio sometimes and it throws people off because an
Yeah.
ad like a commercial break will come on.
Yeah, I don't listen to shit on my phone.
I like
I mean-
Hot 97 in the morning.
I have so I've been on a 94.7 kick since they put
Yeah.
that station on. And when I walked in, they was playing old school, and I was like, "Oh, is this for me?" Like, oh, shit,
No, no, no.
I'm banging.
Chris
Th-
just
that's
loves
regular.
that music.
That's
but,
regular.
Yeah.
But to me, that's like that's not so much the music I grew up on, but it's the music I know. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't listen to mumble rappers.
Yeah.
Are you a
Can't
rock
listen.
and roll? Do you like rock and roll?
I listen
I'm
to
a
everything.
104.7 guy.
I
Sometimes.
listen to everything. I listen to you got to remember the time that I grew up in was like rock and roll hair bands were like
Hell
the
yeah.
norm.
Yeah, that's
you know what
my
I'm saying?
shit.
80s and 90s.
I pulled up here. What was I listening to on the way in here? ZZ Top.
Hair bands and cocaine.
Yeah. Oh, leather pants too.
Yeah. Couldn't tell who was
Hell
the girl,
yeah.
who was
Leather
the dude.
pants?
You would look like, oh, dude, you would look like I'm
Hell
pointing at
yeah.
you, Frankie, right now. That You
I
would
could
look
tease
like.
my hair a little. Fuck
Speaking
yeah.
of hair, Frankie got a haircut.
Yeah, yeah.
If you guys aren't seeing, put the is it on him?
Looks good.
yeah,
Look how short that is. You can see his shoulders and
It's
shit.
short. It's for
Yeah.
Josh's wedding.
What's
Why-
Frankie's new name with the short hair?
Stop.
What was his other one?
Oh, the ponytail? That's
Yeah,
Francois.
That's Francois.
Yeah.
You look like a Francis right now.
But that's his actual.
That's my actual name.
I thought it was Franklin.
No.
Oh man,
Every time I
didn't know
call
your
him,
name was
I
Francis.
thought it was Franklin.
Yeah, my name's Francis. I
would have just said Franklin.
to be honest,
I thought it was Franklin too.
I'm kind of. I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I'm glad my name's not Franklin.
No.
I hated my name forever, Francis, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I really.
I'm not gonna front. I would have picked on you in school.
Oh, everyone did. Everyone did. But they'd only do it for the first 2 days.
What would they call you, Franny?
Francis.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd have been like, Francis, what you got for lunch?
All
Bro?
right, I got a good story. With my
Oh my God! Here we go.
Yeah.
Flashback.
Said you just threw this out on the fucking internet. So I'm the third, right?
Okay.
So my dad's name is supposed to be Francis. My grandfather's name is supposed to be
Francis the Third. I would have
Okay.
definitely picked on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do
So-
you want, Francis the Third?
So as school went on, we'd go to my grandparents' house, hang out. We were big, family people. We'd have family parties and whatnot. And then my mom would, I would question it first. I'd be like, Dad, like, didn't they like make fun of you and shit, like in school for your
Yeah.
name being Francis and everything? And he's like, Nah, I don't remember any of that. And I'm like, okay. And like,
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
a
like,
yes.
I guess I'm just weird. Like, I guess I'm a pussy or something. And then like, I asked my grandpa, like, yeah, why would you, like, your name is Francis, that you got picked on in school when they called the name, like the roll call and everything? He's like, nah, no one. I was like, damn, I'm a fucking pussy or some shit. And then my mom did some deep diving into birth records.
Yeah.
And I remember they came down one day from like upstairs at my grandparents' house, and they go, Frank. He's like, what? He's like, your name's not Francis, it's Frank. and then so she found my dad's one first.
Yeah.
And then they went up in the attic, got my grandpa's shit.
And they were both Frank.
Both Frank.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I said,
that's-
oh, y'all fucked
Frank,
me.
Frank
Okay.
is a good name. Yeah, I wouldn't pick on Frank,
Yeah.
but Francis.
So, but
yeah.
but here's the thing: they all were called Francis by
Yeah.
the family members.
Yeah. So now was it a thing that they like? Did they fuck up their name when they got here?
They fucked
Is
up.
that what
no,
it was?
they fucked up the name when they did the birth certificates.
Yeah. All right.
Someone-
listen, that happens.
Yeah, someone thought. I don't even.
It didn't
know.
happen to me, but it happened to like my whole wife's family.
Yeah.
Like their names. She probably don't want me putting her shit out there. I already
You don't
said
have
it.
to. You don't
I
have
already
to.
said it. I already said it.
Yeah.
But like their names were all fucked up.
Yeah.
At the hospital here because my mother-in-law, when she would say their name, I guess the nurse was American and not knowing what she said, she would just write some random shit.
That's a common thing.
So like
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, like for example, like I'm gonna just say my wife. Like my wife, her name is Maribel. That's what her name was supposed to be,
Uh-huh.
right? But for whatever reason, they put Mary B.
Mary B.
Like B as in that's it.
Marble or something.
Imagine Marble.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how
Yeah.
does this happen? And it was just, it was just not.
That happened to me at the license place.
Dude, how mad
Because-
was I though? I was fucking livid, dude.
Man, my name is
I could have been Frank.
I was
could've
like,
been
my
Frank.
name's Frank. What the fuck?
how
I'm like,
strong Frank sounds?
every fucking class, bro. First day of school.
Well, on the phone, you
Here we
introduce
go
yourself.
again,
you
bro.
introduce yourself as Frank on the phone.
So here's how I roll at work. At work, I'm Frank.
But you always been Frankie to me.
But at the track and everything, I'm Frankie.
Yeah,
If
always-
I introduce
but-
my name to a friend, it's Frankie.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I had to guess what your name was, I would have said it was Franklin.
Yeah. Say Frank. Oh, fuck,
I
dude.
told you.
That
Frank
name
or
sucks.
Franklin or Frank.
I'm just
I
so
would
used-
never
I'm
thought
just-
Francis.
I'm so used to Francis now that I don't even think it's that bad anymore, which is crazy because I
Yeah.
hated that fucking name.
I hated my name, and I made me damn sure none of my kids was named
I'm-
after me. I
I'm-
was like,
I'm
fuck
telling you.
that.
I'm telling you, when I went to the license place, when I got my license,
Yeah.
I had to ask. Like, I thought my name was Carl Matthew Del Rosario.
Okay.
Right? And then I thought my middle name was Matthew.
Yeah.
So then when I went to the license place,
Oh my god, it's the same.
and
first
they're
name.
like, none of this is valid. You need to go bring me your actual birth certificate. This, whatever. And I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, what is my first name? And she's like, it's Carl Matthew. And I'm
Like
like,
one word?
One. It's
fuck?
two names in the
Oh,
beginning, like
man.
John Paul.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, that sounds so whack.
Wait,
Dude, at
wait,
least you
but
weren't
was
Francis,
there like split or was it like just one word?
It's a space,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
technically there's supposed to be a dash
A dash.
in some
That's what I'm
places.
saying. But was the dash there?
No.
So it's just one word.
So then when I
That's
went to the
crazy.
license place, the guy filled out.
That guy probably
my
looked at your
shit.
shit and was like, "This
And he's like,
illegal
this-
bastard."
This guy's name is Carl Myth because it doesn't fit. I'll pull out my license right now. It's Carl Myth. And I'm like, why?
I can see how that could get annoying.
I'm pissed. I show that shit. I show it at the bar.
What do you do when you're getting your plane tickets?
It says Carl Myth.
No, really?
His name is
I'm-
just
I
Car
shit you
Myth
not.
now.
Carl Myth, come to the gate. Carl Myth.
They will look at it and kind of sometimes they'll piece it together and
Yeah.
they'll be like, Carl
I would never piece that shit together.
Yeah, that's crazy that it doesn't have a hyphen.
Matthew.
Yeah.
And no, what's crazy is it doesn't fit on the line, so it just has to say Carl Myth.
Dude, but they can't
One
put
word.
32 spaces.
They couldn't give me 2 more fucking letters? Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, that's how my license is too. I'm missing the R.
So what's your shit say?
Mine says Christoph. Also, Hector, if
So
you
we
don't
got
know,
Christoph and Carl Myth.
So wait, you're Christopher?
my name is Christopher, but the way
Okay.
I spell it is Kristoffer.
Okay.
And in school, it was always Christopher
Yeah.
or Christopher.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, it's just Christopher.
Yeah, your name would be Topher.
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Topher a lot.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
my-
I don't have an R on my license. So it says Christoph.
That's crazy. I mean,
Christoph.
Christoph. That sounds Russian, though.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that'd be-
sounds.
My name's Christoph. You
I
don't
just,
fuck
dude,
with me.
I have a very clear memory of hating
Got this
every.
AK in the trunk.
I just hated every single first day of school. That was the worst day of my life.
That's
Look,
crazy.
man, I don't even want to.
Yeah, like, do you have a memory like that?
Nah.
Yeah, right? Like, the first day of school is supposed to be like,
Listen,
Fun?
I learned at a very early age when somebody wants to make fun of you, and kids, listen, if you're listening, I don't know if anybody's young here.
This is good. This is good
Right.
right here.
oh, they're young.
At
Trust
a
me.
very young age, I was told if somebody makes fun of you, punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Punch him in between the nose and the upper lip, and they will no longer make fun of you. I don't know if you want to do that now.
That
I
is-
don't know if you.
I don't think you
probably
could get
can't do
away with that.
Definitely can't do that
Nowadays.
I think
it's-
listen,
you're- the
you
same
get a
shit's-
phone call.
yeah, the
you get
same
a phone
shit's
call
gonna
from the
happen.
principal, and then you say, "Hey, listen, what do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Like, you have to keep my kid in school.
Well, if you're below 18,
yeah,
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 slap
yeah.
on the wrist.
yeah.
They
yeah.
talk
Like if you're in
shit.
school, they'll call your parents. Like I've been called,
Yeah.
mostly for Jay.
I want.
But
Yeah,
I've been
Jay,
called.
Jay's fucking crazy,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. He makes fun of me.
So he's for the guys that don't know, that's my youngest, right? So like
I was gonna say,
you guys
have I ever
met
met-
Gabe.
You've seen Jay.
You seen
I have.
Jay? Yeah, you
Dude,
probably
Jay
seen him.
working,
young.
Jay working tech is so
Yeah, he's a
funny.
little-
Bro, he's
Yeah,
got a
he's a-
clipboard the size of him.
He's total opposite of Gabe. He doesn't understand shit, so he just rambles shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he gets away with it, right? Because he's like a little kid, right? So like,
He knows what he's doing.
yeah. Oh, he definitely. knows what he's doing. Listen, if you got snacks, right? If your girl got snacks, that's gonna be his girl. That's just how it works. All right. There's no other way around it.
That's funny because to me, Gabe is a very he's in the perfect field.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
calculated guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does seem that way. Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
to
Jay's,
hear that
Jay's the
there's
wild
another
man.
spawn.
Yeah. Jay's the wild man.
That is.
Dude, he's so funny, dude. He'd be talking shit. What did he say that one day, Malcolm? Remember he said some crazy shit to me? He like walked in here and said some shit. He's like, yeah, but your shit don't run or something. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. That's he'll just ramble some shit off.
yeah,
that
like,
sounds
so I
some
was
shit
like,
to say.
whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, and he's just like, you're like, who said that? And you look down. It's just him with glasses on.
Yeah.
Dude,
He
now
shit
do you
don't
think
run.
Jay will be able to experience? Do you think Jay will be able to experience drifting like we're all experiencing it today? Isn't that crazy? That's a weird question for me to ask.
Yeah. I don't know.
hope so.
I mean, I think he's
How old is he now?
11.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got a couple years.
Couple of years to go. Would it be in its heyday like when Gabe experienced it? Maybe not. I don't think so. I think I as much as I like drifting, I kind of it's gotten away from like the total grassroots type shit that people just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and listen, people want to have fun. That's not what I'm trying to put it. They don't want to have
But
fun.
it definitely feels different.
But it definitely feels different. Like you see guys, everybody's building these crazy cars. Like nobody builds simple cars.
We haven't even talked about
Like,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Like I think, like you talk to Gabe, like he doesn't want a fancy car. He wants his SR20 on 10 pounds of boost with 15-inch tires.
Until you're not
he's-
here, and then he's like,
and then
yo,
he
so how
does
much
it.
for that HKS stroke?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's asked. Listen, we've talked about that because we got the blown up motor
Yeah,
at home.
yeah.
So, But like he's like, listen, I'm good. Like it's not. But like now, like guys want to build like 800 horsepower cars, supercharge this, turbo that.
Yeah.
But there are, I must say, I feel like I'm an example of one because there's a lot of me's out there
That's good.
where it's like
That's good.
they're building, our friend group, they're building cars to their caliber
Yeah.
for the most part.
And that's how it should
for the
be.
most
You
part.
should grow with your car, not
Yeah.
the other way around.
I feel like if I started off with like, I remember there was this guy on Grid with, actually there's a lot of guys on Grid with Corvettes.
Yeah.
And somebody posted recently on a Facebook group or something where it's like building cars or something. And he's like, I just picked up this Corvette trying to get into drifting.
Yeah.
I'm like, get into drifting? That thing is fast, And from what I've heard, Corvettes are nice to drift.
Yeah, they are. They're
Like,
very nice to drive.
and I'm like, damn.
And the thing is, right, they only need a couple of like
Little
suspension and
tweaks.
steering stuff, and you're good to go. You don't need power. It's there.
I would picture them having
my
no
God.
angle, but do they?
Dude, they have crazy angle.
So
Really?
funny.
They have crazy angle.
Stock.
No, not stock. You got to buy like,
It's not an angly car.
Yeah, like
out the box.
Out the box, I
It's
feel
a
like that
road
shit would
racing
barely be able
car.
to make
nah,
a
it's
turn.
a street car. It's not even a road racing car.
Yeah.
Corvettes forever were like just street cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they have all the stuff to make them drift. Like
Till the
you know,
newer ones. The newer ones apparently are really awesome on the
Yeah,
track.
the C8s are different. That's a whole different, you know,
Yeah.
thing. But like up to the C7, but yeah, there's a guy that brings a C7 to the track. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just got like some couple of bolt-ons.
That's a
and he
fast
has
fucking
fun.
car.
Yeah.
Out the box.
Shit's
a
definitely
C7.
changing, man. I remember it was just all 240s.
I know,
Loose.
right? You wouldn't think of it personally, like.
And if someone had a Z, it was like, whoa.
Again, like
Yeah.
I was brought up in a household where it's like traditional Filipino values. We love Toyota and shit, right? And then a Corvette to me that wasn't a drift car ever.
No.
That was like like
You're rich.
Yeah.
yeah, you're retired.
You got
Yeah.
some money. Yeah, you got some money. But
Like-
but not people. There's a lot of Corvettes. A
lot,
lot of Corvettes.
and I'm jealous. That shit probably.
And then I still see the Corvettes on the track. I go, you're rich.
I don't know. Sometimes you can
My
find them.
mentality still hasn't changed.
But that's the thing, right? Like I tell people always have that assumption, right? And then I say, well, listen, you can buy a Savage title vet
Yeah.
to drift, and it's probably gonna run you the same as a shitbox 240.
Yes,
Probably.
I was about to say that.
That you're gonna have to do a shitload more work to get drift wise.
crazy.
And I feel like right now a lot of people are faced with that decision now
Yeah.
because they're like, I can spend X amount of money for a 240 wherever you are or whatever chassis, a 350Z. Let me go explore some other shit.
Yeah.
Dude, there was a guy at East Coast Bash, and I don't know what the American car people out there. Was it a Thunderbird?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
What the
yeah, the
fuck was
Thunderbird with
that?
the supercharger.
Big as
He's been
fuck.
around forever.
I
yeah.
just
yeah,
remember
yeah.
I was
Yeah,
I was
he's been around
on
for a couple
Grid
years.
and he pulled up next to me and I was like,
Was
dude,
that the, was that
I
the
don't
car
know
with
what
the
that
twin,
is.
twin?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
That shit was crazy too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, Chris, wasn't I like, look, he's got 2 superchargers. What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah.
That
Well,
thing's
he
probably-
has the same front bumper as Wags. I thought it was Wags. So I was like, wait a minute. These are superchargers.
Wait a minute.
But no, that
Yeah, let me
that
take a
that
break. You guys keep talking.
yeah. That the Corvette thing. What do you think? What do you think that'd be? I feel like it would be snappy.
I don't know.
It just doesn't look like it would rotate like a
Because-
drift car I'd want to.
I mean, I just gotta believe everything that people are saying. So
That it's nice?
It's
The
probably
the thing is, the
fine.
Corvette, unfortunately, you need an angle kit.
We got Corvette people in the listening group audience right now that are like, those bastards. It's
don't know.
It's fantastic.
The best
I love doing
goddamn-
oil changes and spending $130 on oil.
That's the best goddamn car we ever got.
It was, but that was the stereotype, though. You know,
Low
it's
tie or
you're a
nothing.
retired person. You probably got a boat. The
Yeah.
interior is probably beige.
Yeah.
It's probably maroon with a beige top, and you wear a light blue shirt in there, like this,
Okay.
and you drive perfect 10 and 3.
And occasionally you hit the gas a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh, don't forget the Oakleys. You got Oakley sunglasses on.
nah, they're not Oakleys.
New Balance shoes.
They're Tommy Bahamas
Yeah. Occasionally just tap that gas a little.
or Maui Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once in a while you hit that gas a little too heavy, leaving the bar one night. Oof. That rear end. got a
And then you're
little
like, whoa,
swirly.
this thing's kind of
Yeah.
fast.
Whoa.
After like 4 years of ownership.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to open a rip.
Yeah.
Do the horse thing. Whoa.
Sometimes I'll get on the gas of the Sequoia, and it'll like downshift.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I'll literally, woo, rub the dash. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Sorry.
Like it's a horse.
Like it's a horse.
I don't know. For me, Corvettes, I don't know. They're not cool to me.
Really?
I just like Japanese cars, dude.
I know you do.
That's the problem.
you do.
Like I try to like. I'm,
Well, Hector was
I'll
around
take a
for when they
C6.
came out.
I'll
like
take a C6.
went from the
Yeah.
C4
Or
to the
C7.
C5.
I
That
like
was a-
Mustangs
that was a-
more than Corvettes.
That was
I'll
a
say
wild
that.
jump, though. You know, C4 to C5.
Yeah.
I just like the newer Mustangs. I think they look cool.
Yeah, new Mustangs. They're
They,
fucking,
they
they're
look
big,
more
though.
like a sport
It's a pony
compact
car. It's a pony car still, you know?
Yeah.
I just
Like,
can't.
A Vet is big. Like it looks big. It's
Yeah.
probably not even fucking big, but it just looks so
It's
big.
long.
It's
The
wide
front
as
is very
fuck.
long.
There's,
They just look it. They're not that. They're not
Yeah,
that
I
big.
feel like the wheelbase is probably short,
Yeah.
but
and
when
it's
I,
probably just wide as fuck.
when I think of like those that era of American car, an important thing to me is like the tactile shit, like touching shit, pressing
Yeah.
the buttons, touching the dash.
Does it
That's-
feel good to you?
No.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna
but
say.
that's every GM car. Me and
Horrible.
Chris had this conversation
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Like you can take any GM product, and I don't care what it is, and it's always gonna feel like a GM product on the inside.
Like you're in a Malibu, a new
Yeah.
new Malibu.
Yeah, it's gonna be like it's just not.
You ever been in a PT Cruiser?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect
Any-
example.
Any, of y'all?
Yes. Yes.
What about the convertible one?
No.
Stop.
Yes.
I didn't even know they made a.
I didn't know they made one.
Have
either.
you in the back seat of that thing? You could fall out of it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Really?
Is it
To
like that
me-
weird Nissan? What's that weird?
The
weird
Rogue
Nissan?
Murano.
Oh, the Murano.
The one- yeah.
You know they made me drive that shit when I worked at Nissan.
Get out of here. For real.
You probably look
Yeah.
fucking
You ever
glamorous
seen
in
them
that
like in
bitch.
Florida when they put like 24s on them?
Yeah, I have seen that shit.
Dude, that shit looks crazy. I'm like, look like you're gonna die in that thing.
And it's a
Dude, I had to do a PDI on that car. They're like, "Yeah, go get gas in it." I was like, "For real?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How do you put the top up?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Fuck you."
One of my roommates in college. Do I want to say this about his now wife? They're never gonna listen to this shit. Whatever. I'm not gonna name any names. But I met her. Now I kind of just hinted at it, but his now wife. Not that. Fuck. Do I want to say this shit? She
Run it
Allegedly.
down.
She was
Allegedly.
She was a fucking bitch, man. Like
Yeah.
she was mean
Okay.
at first, and just randomly, just all over the place. Like I barely met you, and you're in my apartment waiting for your man. Stop,
Yeah.
stop. And then it came out like, oh, what car did you drive like in high school? This is always a favorite story of mine when you meet somebody, right?
Yeah.
She shows me a picture. It's
Oh,
a fucking PT Cruiser, but with a hood scoop and like the worst looking flames you've ever seen
Oh, damn.
on the side. Like the printed graphic
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
flame. Like it went from yellow to orange.
Okay.
Okay. And I was like, how the fuck could you have the most perfect car for what you look like? Oh my God. That was the only person I've ever met with a PT Cruiser. Ever.
Now my boy's mom had a PT Cruiser forever.
You know they had a fast one, right?
Yeah, they had the SRT one,
Oh
the turbo one. Yeah.
What the?
It had that
2.4
turbo engine in
Yeah,
there.
it was retarded. It was
Yeah,
like,
that's so stupid. They put that shit in every
Yeah.
car, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a neon. It's fast though.
Yeah.
And then they just throw it in that. Like,
Yep.
dude.
They had like a couple of cars that had that engine in there. But it's the same. Like I always end up looking at the Chrysler minivan, right? And I'm like, yo, when are they gonna do
Yeah.
like a SRT package?
The only one, the
'Cause
only
that's
one
the
people
only
want.
thing they won't touch.
Yeah.
Everything else has an SRT package, and for whatever reason, this beautiful Chrysler minivan is
Yeah.
untouched.
Wait,
We need the Hennessy version.
Those pictures are fake? That doesn't exist?
No, you can only buy.
you see a rendering of it.
You can only buy a plain Jane one or a hybrid. That's it.
Is that
Oh.
There's no kitted version. There's no version with big
Damn.
wheels.
That
What's
just
the name
blew
of
my
this?
mind.
What's the name of this one?
Pacifica. I want to say
Pacifica, yeah.
Chrysler
Chrysler
Pacifica.
Pacifica?
Dude,
Don't
they're
s-
so
don't-
sleek
They're
looking.
fast as fuck. You ever
What's the-
floor one of
what's
those?
The GM one is that the Town and Country?
I always heard the.
I don't. They might be like in Dodge, maybe Town and Country.
Oh,
I-
Dodge.
No, but
Yeah.
you're looking for the Chrysler.
The Chrysler
one.
Pacifica with the nice long tail lights. It's got like LED style
Oh,
looking tail.
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if they ever come out with an SRT one, I'm buying a minivan.
I thought that was real.
No.
You know they have those
I
videos
know what
or
you're talking
pictures
about.
of it,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
has bigger wheels.
No.
It looks like something that should be made.
I just looked them up like the other day with Gabe, and I'm like, nope, they still no SRT package.
Nope, still not buying one.
It's like, no.
I fuck with minivans. And if I didn't need to tow something occasionally,
Yeah.
I would love one.
What's the fast minivan? Is it a Honda?
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Or
the Odyssey
Toyota.
got the J in it.
Oh, the Toyota.
The
Oh,
J.
you could get
That
a Sienna.
The Toyota's like 350 horsepower V6
Yeah,
or some shit. It's
dude.
like retarded. It's
Oh,
like,
don't,
like, yo,
dude,
like,
don't even get me
could
started.
you imagine the front wheel burnouts you're doing with that thing? It's
Dude,
like,
there's a guy on the internet that mods his Sienna It's got like a full exhaust. It's got anti-lag.
Yeah.
Like, he's raising the thing. Yeah. He gutted out the back. It's hilarious.
But think about it. I mean, you're starting with 350 horsepower. So, like, you could have a 500 horsepower minivan with almost nothing. Just slap
Yeah,
any
it's
turbo.
got twins on it.
Slap any turbo you want on it, and it's 500 horsepower.
And
if you got the right
the
fuel.
motor had to be a little.
It's
You're
still
hauling a
Toyota.
family.
Yeah, it's
a
still
fully
Toyota.
loaded
Yeah.
van has 8 people.
I'm pretty sure it's a V6 from like a Tacoma or something. It's
Yeah,
not.
Probably.
Yeah,
Toyota
it's a
runs the same motor and
some
everything.
sort of.
Miyagi
One
is,
GR,
Miyagi's
2 GR.
a big minivan fan.
Why
I
am
can
I
see
not
it.
surprised?
I'm
I
not
know,
a
right?
fan, but I would
Yeah.
definitely buy an SRT minivan.
Yeah.
You
You heard.
It doesn't
Dodge.
even
Come
have
on.
to be like a V8. Just give me like a supercharger.
They got a V6
V6
twin turbos
supercharged.
are the way apparently.
V6 supercharged minivan.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That would sell.
I don't
Yep,
want. I don't
like-
want twin turbos. Just give me a. Yep. Just give me a supercharger on top of that V6. And let me.
Turn to your wife.
It-
I'm gonna smoke them.
you know, in Japan,
Feel like
though,
why that guy got drag radios on a minivan?
in Japan though, they had been doing that. The
Yeah.
Previa, the Toyota Previa,
Yeah.
was a 4-wheel drive supercharged.
2.4.
Also rear wheel
God
drive.
damn.
They
Was-
came rear wheel drive.
They also
Yeah.
came rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You know, my roommate's grandma crashed one of those through a bank.
Was it the egg one or the
Like-
the square one?
It was the
Like a snowbank
It was
or
a
a
Previa.
get
the,
my
the
money
No,
back?
but there was two versions. There
It
was
wa-
a square boxy looking one.
It's
and
round.
Then,
The
and then it was the
round
egg one.
It
Yeah,
looked like
yeah.
a beam
Yeah.
on wheels.
This
Yeah.
was the rear-wheel drive minivan.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember
hers
this.
was rear-wheel drive, and I only know this because he's told me this story many times. It was a snowy day, and there was a bank. It's a hill, and there's a bank. That's it.
like a bank you get your money at,
Yeah,
and she went right through it.
right through the front.
Did they
need
think that
some cash.
she should have got the money?
when
I
I
need some
first
cash.
met my
I need some
roommate,
cash to fix my minivan.
when I first
Here to
met my
make a
roommate,
withdrawal.
I thought there was some sort of backstory, like the door wouldn't open, so she
Yeah.
just. But no, it was a snowy day, and
Those
that-
minivans were dangerous. I remember,
bro, you'll shoot out the front.
because people were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I got a minivan. I can just drive this thing 90 miles an hour down the street."
No, you'll shoot out the
Nah.
front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it's
The
still
motor
rear-wheel
was-
drive. And
yeah.
the motor. I remember the motor was between the two front seats.
Yeah, it was, what's
Yeah.
called the dog box.
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah, I remember that.
You'll literally launch forward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've worked on like maybe two
good
of them.
times.
That shit probably drifts awesome.
Will it though?
My truck does. It's long. It's got nothing in the back. That's a minivan, right?
Frankie, every fucking moment he gets.
Elongated.
It's
It-
elongated.
We'll be making a turn and you'll be in your car, calm, and you just hear, and then you'll see the bed. Yo, it's getting worse.
Is my bed?
You should
fucked
stop
up?
doing it because
drop the bed off?
the bed.
Apparently the bed is
the
moving
bed
a
will
lot.
go
Yeah.
like this. It'll like pick
I can.
up the.
I've had this noise for like 6 months to a year
Bed-
now, of like a banging noise in the
Make
back.
sure your bed mount didn't rot away.
That's what we're thinking.
you
so,
carry all the boot stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, I noticed it. I'll be going to work. I make a left turn. Yeah, the tighter I make the turn, the worse it sounds. It's just like a boom, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're
what?
probably lifting the bed up on that one side.
it's
I mean,
gotta
listen,
be,
you might
dude.
be lucky. Maybe the bolt just rotted out,
Yeah.
or the bed mount itself rotted out.
You know, it hasn't flown off yet, so I figure I'm
The
good
thing
to
is,
go.
it was just
Just
a
don't
truck
stop.
shop.
I know
I
they
feel like they would have said something.
they repaired some shit, and
knows?
then I went to.
I mean,
went to
my engine was
Arizona.
just at a machine shop.
No, I
You
know
think
what it
they would-
was.
You think they would have? You think they would have said some shit?
Oof, are we gonna?
Are we gonna talk?
dabble in that?
We all saw it on the stories. We all follow each other on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
right? And we saw it. I saw it, and I
saw-
was like,
knew it. I knew it
"Damn,
before I saw it.
30 minutes of runtime on an SR,
Yeah,
and the
dude.
cylinders look like you just had a hot lap day.
Yep. Pistons look brand new. Cylinders look like
But
shit.
yeah, the Pistons were brand.
So you
fucking-
started it, you ran it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, ran it for 30 minutes. You know, you do the normal revving it up so you could seat the rings and everything else. I shut it off to check for leaks before I took it off the jack stands. I'm thinking I'm done. No leaks. Get ready to. I said, I'm going to start it back up. Let it just make sure it's got no air bubbles or anything left in there. I'll let it run while I drop it off the jack stands. That's all she wrote.
And like it wouldn't start again?
Dude, I went through a whole diagnostic procedure. Like, I was like, damn, did the timing jump?
Yeah.
I was like, it couldn't be nothing crazy because it started, dude. It went the first start started right up. Like I had revved it up to get oil pressure and everything. You know, I cranked it over, and then I put the plugs in it, put everything back together, plugged the injectors. Motherfucker fired up like a brand new car. I was like, oh shit,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
in business.
At that time, you were.
Oh yeah, and that time I was like, I'm in business now.
That's because the compression was
You know,
350.
it was wasn't smoking. It wasn't nothing happening. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to rock. shut it off. That's all she wrote, man. Motherfucker never started back up. So then everybody was like, oh, check the cam angle sensor, check this, check that, make sure it's in time. And I'm like, dude, I done did. The engine was running. Like, why would the... And then eventually I was like, I told Gabe, I said, listen, we're going to do a compression test before we do anything else to it. So I went and picked up a compression tester for my boy Tito. Shout out to Tito. And I had like 70, 0, 0, and 70 compression. And I was like, yeah, this ain't right.
And when he came here and said that, I was like, it's the timing. Like right away, I was like, it's got to be the fucking mechanical timing or some shit. Because it was so like the two cylinders are even.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, something's not right. So then you dropped the motor off here because you were just going to give it a JP and then let him do whatever he wants to do with it. But I was like, I'm going to check the timing once it gets here because I still couldn't believe it.
Dude, I cranked that shit by hand like 30 times
and
to
you
get the
rotated
stupid dots to line up. I was
the
like,
dots were,
it's in timed. Like, there's nothing.
Probably punch in the air.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what the fuck?
Dude, I was like, first of all, that's like the dumbest shit. I like what Nissan engineer said, we need to crank this over 30 times to like put it back in timing. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But
Chris has a little tool to like cheat that.
yeah,
It's a Mazworks timing tool.
I don't have the tool, so I was just like, I'm just gonna crank it to these 3 dots line up.
And it is annoying doing that because I'm like, I really want to crank this motor over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like mentally, I'm just like, I don't want to do this to the cylinder walls and everything.
Yeah,
But
dude, I did that shit by hand.
yeah.
I was
no,
just
you kind of
like,
have
this
to.
shit is dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, like everything was in time. I mean, you said you looked at it. It was like everything was in
Everything
time.
was
I
good.
Like, yeah.
Once I saw that, I was like, all right, it's the bottom end. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
but
I kind of knew from the jump. I was like, there can only be 2 things happen here. Piston rings a shot, because it's not my first rodeo building a motor. I was like, piston rings a shot, or somehow a valve got fucked up.
yeah.
That's what I thought. One of those 2 things. Either one of those 2 things I can't fix. It's got to go to a machine shop.
Right.
So I was like, at this point in time, you guys had told me JP was coming down. I was like, I wasn't even going to take the motor out.
Not to
Remember
mention-
I told you I wasn't going to take it out. I was like, I'll take it another day. And then
Yeah.
Gabe was like, nah, fuck that. We taking it out.
Yeah. And not to mention, I mean, that's the worst feeling. You do all this fucking work, you pay all this fucking money.
Oh,
You
dude.
put the engine in, you do everything right, and the fucking engine's bad.
That's why. That's the pain that one day I'm probably gonna inevitably, hopefully not, but you
Yeah.
never know.
You're gonna feel that one day.
I wouldn't know. You wouldn't know right off the rip looking
You
at something.
kind of know a little bit. It's
Like
on a lower
looking at it?
scale, but
Yeah.
like
Like
the
looking at
transmission
it.
thing,
What?
your transmission problems,
Yeah.
where like you get everything done and then you go drive and you're like, I gotta take this fucking transmission out again.
Bro, you have no idea, okay? I would put the car together, put it on the ground. Daryl would leave. I would call Daryl 15 minutes later, like, yo, I got to do it again.
Like, that's pretty.
not fucking
That's
working.
pretty bad. I mean, it's less expensive, but it's
Machine
pretty
shop is expensive, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
time. Time is money.
And not only that, like, you got, like, I had a set of, like, $600 pistons that were only idled for 30 minutes and
Yeah.
are now, like,
bad. Trash.
trash. Like, if anybody needs an ashtray, you know what I'm saying? I got 4 of them to hook you up. I'll sign them for you, send them to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty much what it is. It's like,
Yeah, man.
you know, and
That's got to be fucking awful.
That
yeah,
feels
it
the
happens.
worst.
Listen, it's not my first time getting a motor built. It's a reason why you kind of always,
Need to find someone who's like,
you kind of, this was my first time doing SR. Like I told you guys, you weren't here, but my normal machine shop from the jump told me he couldn't do it. He was like, I don't have a torque plate for it. I can't do it, and so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dude's built like, I don't know, 30 motors for me, probably.
Yeah.
For everything from dirt bikes to cars.
He does
Damn.
crazy V8 builds.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when he told me that, I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And then I got a recommendation from other guys that I use this machine shop, and
didn't really
it
go
didn't
well,
really go well.
which is weird.
What
You
did
know?
it? Do you remember what? I don't even remember where we went for mine. Racing machine or some shit.
But
That's my normal machine
that's
shop.
his normal machine
That's
shop.
that's where I
Racing
got.
machine, yeah.
That's where I
But
got
was-
my block done.
I was telling Hector that when I bring it there, the only thing they could do is just deck it.
Yeah.
They can't do anything else.
Yeah, because
That's
they'll tell
all-
you. They'll tell you like if it's anything like, because you normally need like a torque plate for stuff. So like if they don't have it, he'll tell you, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
tell me if you're gonna half-ass something. And listen, I'm not saying the machine work was half-ass. definitely whoever assembled it
Yeah, the
half-assed it.
assembly. The
The assembly was half-assed.
So what was the issue? The tolerances were not correct.
Well, no one really knows yet, but if we had to take a guess.
If I had to take a guess, I would say when they got the pistons and the rings, nobody measured the rings.
they just slapped it
They
in.
just slapped everything together and jammed it in.
They didn't file the rings. or
So
anything.
once everything heated up, 30 minutes later, and it kind of just chewed itself away, and then when it cooled off, now all of a sudden I got no compression.
That would make the most sense too, since
Yeah.
they're consistent with each other pretty
Yeah.
much. Like those two cylinders are consistent.
Yeah,
so-
and listen, JP said he couldn't even take the rings off the pistons. I was like,
It's
just
not like you're gonna
order-
use those things
Just
anyway.
order whatever pistons you can get from whatever
Yeah.
company you normally use, whatever you're comfortable with using, and let me know what it is.
Which
you know, it's
pistons
not
did you end up using?
the ones that got fucked up.
Yeah.
Arius, which is I've used Arius in
Okay.
everything I've always built.
Yeah,
what were they?
Arius, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but ARIAS.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't
either.
know. I've never even heard of those.
No, I've never heard of him either. I
Hector's
think, but-
secret sauce.
I know he
Nah,
he
they've been
knows
around
so
forever.
much shit I don't know. So
Nah, them things been around
I
forever.
assume so.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, we're just fanboys. We're going with fucking JE and Weisco. And
Yeah, they're the same. They're the same caliber.
Let's go CP. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same caliber.
CP. I don't know. I've been having weird feelings about CP pistons.
been
I never
using
used
CP.
CP.
Yeah,
I've
we've
used
used them.
Weisco's. I used Weisco's before.
Weisco, I did have a problem the last time. I assembled a whole motor and then realized they didn't cut out oil squirter
In the
cut out
piston.
in
like
the pistons.
notches.
Yeah.
That
I was
for
like,
the
okay, well, guess we're getting rid of the
CA.
oil squirters because
Yeah.
we're a little too far now. So that kind of sucked, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, it's a live and learn type of thing.
Yeah, I've been hearing great things about JE pistons.
Yeah.
Those seem to be like the best pistons in the market right now.
Yeah.
I would say for SR20s, but CP, I don't know. Someone said something once like, "Oh, those CP pistons, yeah, that shit's gonna be loud." I'm
I'll
like,
tell you.
what?
I'll tell you what J pistons are good for. Nitrous.
Okay.
Oh,
Nitrous.
You have a story about that?
Yeah, I shot a shitload of nitrous through my Honda motor. Shitload, like some retarded amount. Like I shouldn't say that.
What kind of car was it?
I had a Honda Civic all gutted out, like literally no crash bars, nothing underneath the dash. Everything. If you touched the car, it would just crumble. And
So
it
it
was-
was-
those things are tin cans, like
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
And I made it even more of a tin can. So I took a tin can from like the 80s and made it a tin can of like 2020.
Was it a hatch?
It was a hatch.
The hatch has the
EG hatch.
worst.
And it was a CX, and it was a CX, so it was already the lightest version
Okay.
of the Civics because it didn't have like power windows, no rear wiper, nothing, none of that
So
stuff.
this was back in the street racing days.
Yes. It was
Okay.
back in Avenue P days and stuff like that.
Okay.
And yeah, it was. I shot a ridiculous amount of nitrous through it,
Yeah.
but you guys can go if you got. Nah, it's okay.
Just keep you ready.
Yeah, a ridiculous amount of nitrous.
He's telling us about his nitrous Honda days.
I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't give Carl ideas.
Because the street
Yeah.
racing. Let me get back down
Yeah, that's
here.
what I want to hear about.
The street racing era, probably in your time, was
Yeah, was the legit street racing era.
That's the stuff that you talk about. That's the stuff
Yeah.
that we fantasize about, like, oh, locking down a street,
Yeah.
fucking bitches walking across a line with fucking spray paint.
Well, they didn't do that.
Last
That was all movie
boy.
shit. That was all movie shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
like that was, it was the heyday of and listen, they still do it now.
I was gonna say
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
experienced that.
They still
when I
do it
was
now,
getting into
but
cars.
It's a little different.
It was the heyday of Hunts Point, Avenue P. You went down to Saraville per fanboy. You went up Bunker Hill and Patterson.
That's what I heard about.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And a couple of other places. Nanuet was hot.
Oh, well,
Nanuet is
on
where
50,
I was. That's
Yeah,
where I
59.
went.
59?
Yeah, that's where we would
Dunkin'
go.
Donuts?
Dude, we would go on the
already
parkway. They
know.
just shut the parkway
Yeah.
down.
But it was like that was the heyday, right?
Yeah.
So like then after that they started like cracking down on everything and it got a little crazy. Like I stopped going myself. Like there was like a bad accident and like 2 people got hit, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I'm like just this is dumb. Let's just keep it on the
was
track.
this, how far was this from when you went to Club Loose for the first time?
I want to say maybe a year.
So
Oh,
was that
really?
was that like a okay, I'm just gonna do this on the track type
Yeah.
of thing?
Yeah.
So then you moved.
No. So what? So I went from Hondas, and I got into like Mitsubishis. I had a Galant VR4. I had a couple
What?
of Talents.
You're a 4G guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then so we kind of like did like a little goofing around with those things. And then like I had Gabe, like when Gabe was born, I had to take my wife to the hospital. Like in the Glenview Air Force, like a blizzard. And it was like the worst ride ever. Like even though it's all-wheel drive, but it was like slammed. There had like 17s on it.
Yeah.
So it was like the most terrible ride. And I was like, this is dumb. Like I got a family now. Like, so I ended up selling.
On the way to the hospital, that was the moment.
So I ended up selling it, and then I bought and it always like it was a fun car, but it always gave me like the dumbest issues. Like
Shit.
one day I changed the oil, and I started up, and like a little 10mm bolt like inside the timing belt backs out for whatever reason, and like eats the motor up. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? I get like 2 built transmissions that just explode with like a car that makes like 300 horsepower.
These are not little issues.
Johnny's gonna be mad, but at the end of the day, it's still a Mitsubishi. So.
Yeah.
These are not
still
little
Mitsubishi.
issues.
Yeah. So it was like just
big failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was and then I was like, fuck this, man. I need something that's like reliable and shit. So I bought like a 2007 Magnum, like Dodge Magnum station wagon.
The big ass one,
Yeah,
the Dub edition.
2007.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit. Yeah.
As it should be. Josh.
You know, is that a GM? What is
No,
GM?
no, that was Dodge.
That's Mopar. Mopar, no car.
That was Dodge when like Daimler or whatever the Mercedes-Benz thing was bought them out. So like it was like a weird mix of parts.
You want a shitty car? You buy a Mercedes from that era.
Yeah. Well, I
Holy
did.
shit.
I bought a Mercedes rebadged Dodge.
Well, I did.
I bought a rebadged Mercedes as a Dodge.
Yeah.
But there are some diehard.
You know
fans
what's
of that
crazy though?
Magnum,
But you
dude.
know what's crazy? Like it wasn't like anything mechanical fucked up on it. Right? It was
That's
like
worse.
dude, I had like the weirdest issues with it. Like the wiring harness to the front headlights like fried itself. And I took it back. It had like 6,000 miles. I'm like, yo, what is going on with this? So they changed it. And then like at 12,000 miles, the leather stitching was falling apart. And I'm like,
pisses
dude.
me off.
Malcolm's giggling.
So I take it back to the dealer, and I'm like, yo, like the seat is like falling apart at the shoulder bolster, right?
So it's not even where like your ass is full
So the
contact.
guy, so that's what the guy's. Oh, but that's from you getting in the car. I'm like, dude, look at me. I'm not 9 feet tall, jumping off a ladder to get in this wagon. This shit
That's
is
from-
low as hell.
That's from you getting in the car. What do you want me to do? Look at it?
Yeah. Well, no, like I'm like, dude, I can understand like if I had something in my back pocket and it ripped the
Yeah.
bottom
Yeah.
of the. This is where your shoulders are at.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing back there ripping up the stitching, and I was like, dude, like that shit pissed me off. I worked at the Honda dealer and I traded that shit in for an SI. I was
That's
like,
why they needed a bailout.
Whoa,
People
you
like
went
that
to the
working there.
SI route. Those were good cars. The SI 2010.
I had a 2008 SI, and I put maybe like 180,000 miles on it. Yeah. Then I ended up
Those
selling
K series. That was when K series was
yeah.
fresh.
Dude, that car was nice.
Fresh
I
off
should have
the
kept it. It was like one of those cars you sell and then you kind of regret.
Yeah.
Those were nice
Should have
cars.
kept it. But dude, it was all stock. You guys have seen it, the silver one. It was all stock.
But they
nothing
were
done to it.
they were fast.
Yeah,
out the
I wouldn't know.
box.
I babied that car. That car probably saw VTEC like 6 times.
What? It's a manual too.
Yeah,
that
6
shit
speed.
would make you.
What did
Yeah.
you have done to your like drag race Honda? Like, do you do anything crazy to that thing? Or?
Yeah, so that shit had like full rods, pistons. At the time, they didn't really used to sell like a lot of brand new cams, so everything was like regrind. So I had like a full blown like Bullfrog. There was a company called Bullfrog. Old guys will probably remember that. And
Bullfrog.
Sounds
yeah,
like
it was
legit
weird.
brand.
But they had done like the whole head, like ported the whole head.
Okay.
They used to regrind cams.
It stayed NA.
Nitrous.
Oh, right. I came in at that time.
Yeah, nitrous. And it was pretty fast.
Did you dyno it ever? Or
Nah, we
did you
never
have like a
dynoed
jet?
shit.
Did you have
Butt
a gas?
dyno.
We never dyno shit. We just took it to the racetrack and got kicked out.
How big of a shot of nitrous did you
It
throw
was
at this thing?
it was like a big shot.
Yeah.
It's like 150 shot, like progressive.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it was fast enough to get kicked out of any track, like from here to Maple Grove. Only track that never kicked me out was Island. Shout out to Island for
They
always letting
always-
the shady shit happen.
Yeah, they never kick anyone out. I feel like.
Yeah.
That's always.
They give you a warning, and then like if you do it like 3 times, they kick you out.
I
Yeah.
feel like Nitrous is making a comeback right now because a lot of people run it right
Carl,
now.
stop.
I would
shit
never-
you not.
I would never build a nitrous car now.
Now it's like to me, and I'm a victim of it. It's a shortcut. It's really a shortcut. It's quick.
It's a shortcut,
an
but it's
afternoon's
annoying.
worth of work.
But it's annoying though. It's like
Yeah.
you got to keep bottles filled up.
Yeah.
You got to keep the pressure on the bottles. you know?
That's where.
Like if you ever want to see sketchy shit, go watch some street racing. Even some pro racing. Like these motherfuckers are with a blowtorch heating up the bottles.
Yeah.
Raising the pressure up.
yeah.
Like that's some shady shit.
Like
Like
get
that
that
shit
shit
will
to
literally
1,000 psi really quick.
Like
be
that
like-
shit will literally explode in your face.
It's gonna be like Fast and Furious real quick.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and your floorboard flies out.
contrary to popular belief, nitrous itself is not flammable.
Yeah, like what
The
do you have?
danger is
It's the
the
pressure.
bottle blowing up
The pressure.
and shoot,
Oh yeah.
shooting
okay.
somewhere in your cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Fuck.
pressure. The pressure is what'll get you.
It's fucked.
But I would do nitrous in a drag race car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna run like one lap and then
Yeah.
you gotta wait like 2 hours before you run another one. So you have another bottle, or if you have enough nitrous in the bottle, then you can keep going.
This guy wants to put it in his drift car.
But on a drift car,
I only wanted
Turbo.
it because I thought that I would lose.
turbo.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to use it the rest of the track. What I get the whole shot and I don't get left in a tandem. Great. But then what happens after turn 1?
I mean, you could leave it on.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, you will leave the nitrous on.
Yeah.
It'll be activated by a switch.
RPM window switch like that.
yeah, but we wanted a cool button.
But
Yeah.
nah, yeah, you want to turn it on when you want.
I was like,
I've done
Carl,
that.
you just need that for the whole shot because I'm
Listen.
gonna blow you away.
Just do a turbo. Put a
That's
small
a-
T66 on it, something ball bearing. You know what I'm saying? So you could keep it spooled up.
Yeah, Carl's on the fence between getting a 1J or turboing his.
I'm just going to get the 1J.
I would turbo the 2J.
See?
You can talk to the guys in
Dude,
Florida.
they do NAT builds all the time.
You could talk to the guys in Florida. They make the manifolds like facing forward. You don't have to worry about that stupid like
That
crossover
crossover
thing.
thing?
Yeah.
To me, it's just right now, when you boil it down,
And you're only looking for like
I don't need a lot.
nah.
I don't need a
300.
lot.
like 7,
We
8,
ma- we-
7, 8 psi.
You know exactly how we are, where we are,
Yeah.
the
300.
values we have. For me, though, and you can ask Chris, ever since this one day, I forget where we were or what car show we were
You
at.
got
Or,
smoked.
no, I heard a 1J, like, rev.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. Like, the sound of it versus a 2J is a little different.
No,
It's a little nasalier.
No,
like, it's
well,
like,
you're listening to your 2J that's NA
yeah, no.
and
Even,
has that weird crossover tube.
even in
intake.
even a GTE, compare GTE to GTE. The 1J, for some reason, I always wanted it. And I'm like, right here, this is my opportunity. I'm going to have to take this path.
Honestly,
I ever
don't
wanna
even think those
enjoy it.
engines are that badly
Well,
priced if you look at the market
They're
right now.
not.
No.
You could get them
You-
all day for $4,000.
You know why the 2JZ GTE sounds nasally, right?
Why?
It's because the exhaust ports. It's a
That's
3
right.
to 1.
It's 3 and 3 versus my
It's 6.
2J is there's 6 evenly planed intake ports.
Oh.
JP.
Oh, yeah,
explained
there
this to
is-
me. And
He was
now
explaining it to
after that, I
NA
went
that
to
is
my
better.
car the next day and I saw the spacing, and then I look at Daryl's 1J. My buddy's keeping his 1J at my house. I look at it and I'm like, damn,
So just swap it into your
they're
car.
3. when I was doing the
You could deal with that aftermath later.
when I was doing the bay, the motor was sitting right there. I would take pictures of it. I'm like, yo, I might accidentally put this in here by accident. You
We
know,
friends, man.
my bad.
How long has it been sitting there?
I just keep it there. I don't know. It's been a few months at least.
Yeah.
His car's actually at my house right now, just doing some work.
Is he putting that engine in or what?
I said,
Just borrow it.
he bought this engine for really cheap. It was like $700.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but it was disassembled.
Yeah.
So, but we were gonna do this due diligence anyway. I feel like we all would do something like that. Reseal it easily, like
It's a
those.
Jay-Z,
shit.
dude. You don't gotta do shit.
those
I
little
do a
seals.
rear main seal on it and push it.
yeah.
But
And
here's-
I only do a rear main because I don't want to touch the chance if there's a leak.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm concerned about, and the thing that I've harped my concern about, was the fact that the cams were out, and then the person didn't put back the cam caps where they go.
They're not numbered?
Yeah, that's bad.
They're not specific. At least I
Yeah.
don't think so, and no forum online can confirm that for me. So like, and the cams, they look like shit now. It's been sitting outside of the motor. They're dry. They're rusty.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to drop this off somewhere. Shit, we can't do.
Yeah.
Like-
First time I heard anything about Jay-Z really was from Petty, and it was just him talking about how he never changed his oil.
Yeah.
What?
or some shit.
Yeah, Petty don't do shit.
Yeah,
I
he's
wanna
like,
meet
I've
him
never
so
changed
bad.
the oil in that
You
thing.
I've
met
never
Petty?
met him. I don't know what he
He
looks
don't do
like.
shit.
You never
and now that
met
you talked about,
Okay.
now you talked about that he was a hippie at one point. Now I'm like, have I ever seen this guy? This is not what I'm picturing.
You'll meet him at Pro Bro Down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you gonna be there?
Matt.
Yeah, you are gonna be there.
On the second day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pro Bro Down. I'll
Yeah.
be there.
So you'll meet him then.
Yeah.
But even with Tim, I didn't get to meet Tim.
Tim's
after.
more like secretive. You know, he's
Yeah.
you see him around,
Walking
once in a
around.
while. Yeah.
I've never met Tim.
Petty will make himself
and-
known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the person that likes to put a name to a face and like make sure I don't ever want to make sure I'm never disrespecting anybody.
That's how I am at Club Loose, and I'll always be like,
Yeah.
So just call everybody bro. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
like, I'm all, they get
Hey,
mad
bro,
at me because
what's going on?
Tim gets mad at me
How
because
you
I'm too
doing?
nice. They're like you come by the booth all the time,
Yeah.
and like we'll be talking, you'll be like, just drive the car, and I'm like, oh, I didn't pay for it. just drive the car. And then I'll go find Tim. Like, I'll go like spend an hour finding Tim. I'm like, hey, Tim, you think I could drive your car? He's like, why the fuck are you asking me if you can drive the car?
Just go
He's
and
like,
drive.
you support the drivers. You guys are here. He's like, you can do what you got to do, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, but I never want to like, step on anyone's toes or anything like that. But,
I know you. I know you.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna go out there, do a lap or two, like
It's just
you know.
so, like, even after being there for 10 years, I'm like, oh, let me go make sure that everything.
Oh damn! Does that feel weird to say?
No.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
Oh, I know I'm older. Trust me. I'm
I
aware
can't wait
of it.
till you can.
You
drive
guys all
again.
make sure I'm aware of that. So,
I can't wait till
You know
Frankie
Malcolm
drives
does.
again.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I can't wait.
It's coming. I'm putting the engine together.
yeah,
Well,
so
because-
it's coming back together.
Do you think it's better or worse now that kids are building these wild cars?
Dude.
Like, does it make it better, quicker for them to learn, and then you don't have to worry about them being a dumbass all day long, or is it like, fuck, I'm giving a baby a loaded gun right now type of situation?
I think it's not better for the driver.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think for us it doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
But I think when you start off like these guys, some of these guys build these crazy cars, even if they don't do like the whole roll cage and everything, but they'll build cars, they'll do like a 1J with like a big turbo on it, standalone ECU and, be making like, 500 horsepower. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why do you need that?
God damn.
He just left too.
Did he?
He just walked
Yeah,
out.
it's fine. I can get it done. Sorry, guys. We're having power issues today because the AC is knocking off the power. So
Malcolm, webcam, please.
you can, Malcolm. By the way, if this ever happens and you want to cut this and pause it, you can.
Nah, we'll keep our.
I mean, we still got audio, so we're good.
Yeah, we're chilling. We're chilling.
I don't want to see what we doing now.
Yeah. This is all a ploy. Chris, keep your
like-
clothes on.
Just like BET
The
Uncut.
webcam is on.
Oh fuck, is it?
Yeah. He's
Damn,
got-
this look real analog. We switched to a backyard podcast real quick.
That's funky. Nah, that's all right.
When are you
Malcolm,
gonna?
just
Are
turn
you?
it on the-
When are you gonna get? Do you think you're gonna get back behind the wheel anytime? soon? You ever get that itch?
I do, and then I jump in the Corolla, I do like a lap or two, and then I put it away. And it's
I
like,
would
I
be
got
so
it.
scared drifting that thing nowadays.
Like I think I don't want to say I got burnt out drifting, but I went from like being at every single drift event driving
yeah.
that like now I just need to get my fix like every once in a while. Like I don't need to be sitting there every time, every chance that it's available for me to drive.
And I feel like that
You know?
speaks waves, because like
I'm kind of like that.
you're not you're not getting anything from doing this.
Nah.
Like
And I just want to have fun.
yeah, you're just
and
you're
I
just
have the
doing
same
this.
amount of fun, just like most of the time I'm just watching other people drift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like even now with when Gabe is drifting, like I just go watch him drift, and I'm like, I'm still having fun. Like I still go on track and I help new drivers and everything else.
That's got to be kind of a nice feeling. Like as a father, like
Yeah, it's a little different.
damn, I made you.
Nah, he's very humble.
He is. I love that about him, man.
And not
you taught
to,
him
like,
really good morals.
and like not to tune his horn or anything like that, but he's a way better driver than me. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, he said it.
And he has the ability to jump in various cars and after like a lap or two like be ready to rock. Like if you know what I'm saying, like it's not a big thing for him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you grow up on the track, I guess.
Yeah. And like when you learn to drift before you learn how to drive.
Yeah, that too.
So so
That has an effect.
That's a movie shit,
yeah.
which is true.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Just
it's
for everybody listening who thinks we're capping.
Yeah, no,
Nah.
that's literally how it went down.
Yeah,
we all saw him grow up.
yeah, it was but it I don't need to drive every event. Like I same thing with Petty. Like you say Petty, but like we don't drive.
Yeah,
I think Tim does like most of the driving.
Yeah, I think he does.
You know what I'm saying? But like
What does Tim drive
S14
with the
like,
red
with
windows?
the red windows, like at like the big Bloodmasters on the hood.
Damn, I definitely see the car, but like
Yeah,
I
I've
never
seen it.
fucking met Tim.
Yeah.
The car's pretty sick. When he did everything.
Yeah.
I think it was before BMI, right? When he like
Yeah.
redid everything. Yeah, that shit was looking pretty good.
Yeah, he had all the body work done up and painted black.
We were just talking about if Hector's gonna drive again, like
Probably, yeah.
like more.
Who's gonna drive first, me or him? him.
Well, Hector could just
He could drive tomorrow.
he
Yeah, he could.
My
hop
Corolla's
in
ready
any
to rock.
car.
I mean, my Corolla's at the track, ready to rock. Like, I just got to jump in it.
You talk about how he doesn't like the tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with that, man?
I don't it, like drifting for me. Like I never really. I mean, listen, maybe because I'm older. Like I just never got into it.
So
It
you
was
didn't
just-
get into that aspect of it.
No, I just wanted to go out there and have fun with my car.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to have fun, and I didn't want to like.
Is it like because you're adding another variable to the situation where you're like,
Nah, I just didn't give a fuck about tandeming.
yeah, well, you're gonna tandem with me.
Pretty
so.
much it. Like, it's just, you know, it that's what it is. Like it's nothing I ever. Like I never looked at my car and I was like, I'm gonna cage this fucking thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
even when I built
because
the
he didn't want a cage. That's what it was.
like even when I built the G, I was like, I'm not caging this fucking thing.
Is that cage the G?
See, that's what
The
it
cage
is.
the cage is like insured and registered and ready to drive on the street. All my cars are street drivable.
Yep.
Like,
Hell
all
yeah.
my cars are street.
That's how I like it. I
got
just
to
made a
drive the
post today
G.
about that.
The G's sick.
The G is fast. I know
Yeah.
what's in the G.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
fuck with the
sick.
G.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Again,
nice
it's
car.
for sale. If anybody wants it, I'll cut you a nice deal.
It will pass tech, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be able to tandem in it, but you know, but everything else will go.
The I'm just laughing because at the you'll pass tech with it.
I'm laughing because he doesn't have a cage.
No.
Well, for me,
But he's making fun of me because I don't like
A
cages.
thing that bothers me recently is that if I understand that wanting to have fun with your own car. Sometimes I do like that. I just
Yeah.
want to do solo runs. And
No,
whatnot.
yeah, I get it.
But a thing that's been happening recently, and a lot of stories I hear, it'll be like you're on grid, and you hold up 3. It's me and my 2 buddies. The dude behind me holds up 4, and then the grid worker will send off 4.
You can shut that shit down.
Yeah, you
I-
can shut that shit down.
I do not like
At
that.
Club
If I-
Loose,
if-
you can
if-
shut that
If
shit
I
down.
don't like the way that
Yeah.
person is, I won't tandem with anybody
So-
until I see them
so-
drive.
Normally, if you hold up 3, if the first 3 guys hold up 3,
Yeah.
it's 3 drivers.
Yes.
The guy on grid is not gonna give a fuck about what that 4th guy's holding up,
Usually,
and
they,
they'll point at them and tell them,
yeah,
wait,
Stop. Yes.
yeah, like you're not in this group.
Yes.
Or usually they'll look at the lead driver and say 4 or 5 or 6
Yeah.
and be like, they want to drive, and they'll
Yeah.
confirm with the lead guy.
Yeah,
And if he says no, that's done.
it's a done deal.
Yeah.
So now we've had the occasional guy that jumps, right, and then they come back and get chewed out.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying about it? And like, yo, you don't do that shit because these guys are not expecting you.
Yeah.
And usually, what happens is, it's the 3rd guy normally is not. You know, if you got somebody new that you're trying to show the tandem, right? So you want to see them you want to see them. You want them to see the tandem line, not
Yeah.
the line that you would take by yourself,
Yeah.
right? So you will put them 3rd. You will put them last.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you put a car behind that.
Completely
and
different.
You can if that 3rd guy is not skilled, then he spins. You're gonna fuck him up. Like it's
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
know how that 4th guy is gonna react. Some guys could bail, some guys can't.
Yeah.
And if you're not supposed to be in that tandem, we're gonna let you know, like you fucked up. Like
Yeah, dude.
You know?
That's a I don't know. To me, that's a big problem.
It's a big no.
If I see a car behind me when I go and I didn't tell him to go,
yeah,
I'm not
just
gonna drift.
just don't initiate.
It takes
Yeah.
a lot for me to even
Yeah.
because I do go in tandem, not at Club Loose, but other places.
Yeah.
And I'm very picky. I'm picky.
But you should be picky.
I don't want you to fucking crash something
should
that
be
I worked
picky.
so hard on.
Listen, unless you're competing, like for money and shit, you should be picky who you tandem with.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And see what Club Loose does is they try to make that whole scenario easier for the driver because it's like this guy worked up from C,
Yes.
B, and now he's an A. So if there is someone behind you, most likely he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
don't,
you almost don't have to worry, but it's always good to
Yeah.
know who you're driving with.
at
But other events,
They
where
just
don't
throw
do
you in.
that,
Yeah, they just throw you into
Yeah.
whatever group.
and
It used-
that's when I shut all of it down. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
at Evergreen they actually enacted the A, B, and C thing,
good,
which I think is nice.
yeah, that's what like
Loose makes, the world takes.
Yeah, that's true though. What he was saying earlier, he was like,
Yeah, when they first start open, right?
Exactly.
They're gonna let you get away with shit.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the track owner doesn't know, right? He's not the places where you go drift normally are not doing any type of research on what.
Yeah, they're just letting.
They're just like, oh, you want to rent the track for this amount of days, and you're gonna pay me this much money? Bingo.
Yeah.
Right. And then they see what you're doing, and then they're like, wait a minute, now we have to like
Regulate.
we have to regulate this a little bit.
Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta work something out here, and then you get. Then they get the run groups. They get some tech stuff.
It's
and good for them. I'm glad they
it's
did.
for, it works, and from what I read, it worked out for everybody.
Yeah, good.
You know that, and that's good. I think that's good.
Listen, the last thing you want is a person who could barely drift by themselves jumping in a tandem.
And a tandem.
That's not going to make them a better driver. You're just looking for a wreck.
I think it's
That
because a
happened
lot
to
of
me before with Justin.
Yeah.
We were at.
Oh, I think yeah.
How is
you,
Justin?
Yeah, we
said
told the
this
story. How was Justin? I have no idea.
No.
Whoo! Hector's gonna ask.
I just seen him like growing vegetables and shit.
That's pretty much
Got like some beets or something.
That's all I know.
Some fucking beats.
I think he's doing massages too. He's got a massage.
Okay.
thing going.
All right,
Do you think
listen,
he'll ever?
As long as he's
gotta-
having fun.
He's got to
Nothing
listen
wrong
to
with
this.
that.
With
Right?
Justin, you never know. He might drift again.
Yeah, as long as
Really?
he's having fun.
You
Yeah,
think so?
You never know with him. Yeah.
It's a wild
He
child.
really could.
He's been gone for a minute.
He's a flower child, man. You know.
He
I
does.
lost my at Lime Rock one time. Me and him went out with someone else, or they sent him out or some shit.
Yeah.
I spun. I was leading. I spun. Justin knows what to do. That guy has no idea.
Just barreled into.
Hits his quarter panel straight on.
Fuck.
And then he's in the pits like, yo, that was sick, right? And we're like, no, it wasn't sick.
No.
No.
The car's fucked.
Yeah, you had a bail, my man.
When,
Like,
Yeah.
when people tell me that, well, I was the first one to say this to Frankie. I was like, "Oh, I'm a bang your doer."
Yeah, but
And
there's
then-
like joking around, and then there's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I don't.
Listen,
I don't
there's a-
necessarily like
there's
when
a
you
there's
crash
a
into
difference.
me.
There's a difference if you're tandeming close and you're like,
yeah,
rubbing the tire on the car, and you like you're saying like,
Yeah.
if I bailed, the second car bailed,
everyone's supposed to bail.
and you
Yeah.
fucking ram into me, that's not a cool
No.
Yeah.
situation at that
That
point.
was to me. That was the most important thing I learned at Club Loose was how to bail.
Yeah.
That was, and it wasn't like someone taught me. It was just
Yeah.
like I was driving with good drivers. I was watching, and I was like, oh,
and
okay.
you see how they bail. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, I see what happens now. If this guy doesn't make this line,
yeah, you got to keep your
Yeah.
eyes ahead of you
Yeah.
and see what's going on. And if it looks like it's not going to go well, just
just
rip
give
the
up.
e-brake,
There's no
get out of
reason.
that.
There's no reason to continue at that point. If you're not comfortable,
yeah.
just you'll get another lap.
You gave me some good advice the first time we ever met, like really met. Remember that winter track day? Private day. We were at a private day, and it was that at Club Loose front track specifically. If you take that front or that first turn wrong, and it's not like that wide good
Yeah.
line that is literally drawn on the ground for you, it fucks up everything.
It does.
It fucks up everything.
It does.
Yeah.
I remember every day, every run at East Coast
Especially
Bash
if you
that
don't
day,
have a
I was like,
powerful
that was
car.
terrible fucking first turn. Fuck. And then I'll
Yeah.
just like save it for the next lap.
And that's what I try to tell a lot of guys. Like when I'm on grid with B group, I always tell them like, listen, if you messed up on the first turn, you spun, you went into the dirt, you completely fucked it up, and you're like shallow. Just use the cutout and come right back to the line because the rest of your run is garbage,
It's gone.
right? So just come back, get in
what I
line
do.
again, and go, and you'll go again, and you'll have a second chance.
Yeah.
Because you doing the rest of the track is not. If you can't do the first part of it, I don't care if you could do the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? The first turn is the most important turn because that's going to be your speed turn.
Do you guys have a rule? I was overheard the drivers meeting at East Coast Bash, and I think Dave said something about if you spin once, stop driving, or is it twice?
So here's the deal. So normally,
for C and B group, I guess.
yeah. So this goes back to what I just said, right? So like if you B group, if I'm running B group, and a couple of the other guys, there's a couple of other guys that we run B group really fast. I feel if you're in B group, you should not be spinning, right?
That's usually how it goes.
you
Yeah,
just
that's what I
I
you
thought
just
that was the rule
you're
of
just
thumb.
not tandeming, right?
yeah.
And guys will tell you, like, I normally send B group pretty fast. Like, I have a pretty good eye to know if you're going to make that first turn. I don't wait for you to come over the hill. I send the next car
That's fast.
right after you.
Yeah, that's sending them fast.
So if you fuck up, you have to drive off the track because that second guy is going to catch you, and now you're going to fuck up his run. So know that you're in B group and you spun out and you killed your run. Drive off the track. There's a couple of cutout roads you can come back to the start. If not, just drive the rest of the track and come back. Let the guy behind you get his run. I'm sending the cars fast enough that you guys are going to get numerous runs in.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of being in B
If
group.
you're in C group, you're gonna spin. You're learning. But at some point, you got to tell yourself, if you're on backtrack, there's only 3 turns.
Yeah.
If you spin 2, what's the point of trying to do the third one? Like, you're offline.
Yeah, dude.
Just come back to the beginning, ask us what you did wrong,
And the worst thing,
and we'll take a look.
the worst thing is when you spin once and you start drifting and then you spin again.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
feel like a fucking idiot.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you spin twice, if you spin first turn and second turn, why try to drift the third turn? Just get out of the way.
That's like
now,
watch-
C group, you have a little bit more time, right? Because they don't send the cars as fast.
Yeah.
Right? But in B group, the reason you made it to B group is because you are linking backtrack. You're not spinning.
Yeah.
So I feel like at some point you cannot spin every run or numerous times while you're running.
I feel like I'll
And B group.
straighten out nowadays before I
That's-
spin.
Yeah.
Straighten out and drive off.
Yeah, I'll get off immediately.
Straighten out and
That's
drive
because
off.
you kind of know what you're doing.
Listen, if you spin on the first turn, you can use the cutout road and come right back to the
Are you
beginning.
talking about like when you go down?
Down the hill and you just go straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you go right back to the
I wanted to
beginning.
clarify this because I didn't know you could do that.
You can.
Anytime-
Just make sure
And
there's
the-
no cars coming.
And on
Yes.
the front track, he's talking about you do the first turn, you just keep going.
Going straight.
That's what I
Straight?
mean.
Yeah.
Because I'll always just follow the track and I'll
And you
just
can do
drive
that.
the rest of
Yeah.
it
That's
because
fine.
I'm like, I'm not trying to.
I understand why you would be scared to do that because you don't want to be fucking yelled at. Somebody.
I didn't want to get
Yeah.
yelled
No,
at.
and that's fine. It's not wrong.
that's-
Your tires are probably loving you for it because
Yeah.
they're getting a chance to cool
Cooling
off.
it down.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah, like that's the other thing. Like doing a cool down lap is so worth it,
yeah.
especially when
Is it
you're-
on there?
What? Oh,
Yeah, the cutout is on that little map.
not on the backtrack though. There's
No,
is there
on
no
the
cutout
front track.
on
On the front track.
Yeah, I see that.
First turn.
No, on the back track, there's no cutout.
There is no.
No,
Okay.
you got to drive back around.
I had a feeling there might have been one.
No, not on the cutout is if you do if you run an A group like we just ran it the last session for East Coast Bash where you would cut up over to do Forgotten Turn.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You would
Yeah.
cut back over, but it's not on that map.
yeah.
Where did you get that? Somebody made that for
some
you?
website had it was like a track map website or something, and they had E-Town, and I was like, "Fuck, this is awesome."
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. They just
Yeah.
missed the one turn.
Yeah,
The 2 turns. They don't have Forgotten Turn,
yeah.
right?
In the
because
back,
yeah, because
right? In the
Forgotten
back.
Turn is the first turn going all the way back, and then it leads you into tree turn.
But it does have XDC, so
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, that's the main part of the track though.
Damn.
But yeah, like that's the thing, right? So like if you're in B group, you should not be
You have to be not to
constantly
be
spinning.
Yeah. If you
just-
spin once in a blue moon, then
That's
all
fine.
right. Yeah,
That's fine. But if you're going out every run and spinning,
you're not in B group.
yeah, and eventually I'm
Demote yourself.
probably going to tell you that. You don't have to demote yourself because I'm probably going to tell you that.
Look, I'm gonna go. I'll be back there. I want to get up to B group.
Yeah. So what happened was at East Coast Bash.
Fuck you.
Here we go.
Fucking
East
goddamn
Co-
it.
So we have a customer named Anthony. He's got a
Yeah.
JZX.
Fuck.
You've probably seen him out there.
I probably have.
the
yeah.
white
The white one,
JZX90. Yeah.
Okay, I know you.
He's been fucking killing shit
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
I think he
dude.
made it to B group.
He did.
He
He made it
He
to B
did.
group at ECB.
Yeah.
Hey,
First
And then he
session.
comes over and like, yo, Ant made it. I was like, that's fucking weird. Ant made it to B group, and he's a customer.
And then
I was
he
like,
looked
what the
at
fuck
me
are you
and
guys
Chris.
doing?
fuck you.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I was like, from now on, backtrack only. So they
We're
all just
having a
went
good
back.
Well, that's
time.
the thing, right? So like even when they split the groups up, we tell them like you cannot get bumped to B group
On
if
the
you
front.
run front track.
Yeah,
You have to run backtrack
which is a good idea.
because backtrack is
Harder.
technically the most technical track. Yeah, they had the double apexes. They got like
It's so
flying
hard.
over the hill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's hard, but it's quick. So like if you can get everything quick, you can get front track is so long and spaced out. It's actually easier to drive.
The rhythm is way. It's this. Like,
Could you
Yeah.
give Carl any tips on backtrack as far as making that,
yes,
that
because
that turn
the
I-
first turn?
first to second?
for me, my issue was I would do the first turn,
Yeah.
and that's the weird turn. It's a late apex, I think.
The first turn is the
Yeah.
double apex.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And I said this to somebody else. I was like, if you wanted to drift all these turns individually, way easy. But when you link them, it's so hard.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first to
So-
second turn is
So,
like the
so
up
what
over the
happens is when
hill.
when you take the first turn, right? You're always gonna want to be wide,
Yeah.
right? So when you're going down, the straight, you want to be as comfortable as you feel to that white wall,
yeah.
right? But you want to be pretty tight to it, right?
Yeah.
Normally everybody initiates with the handbrake,
Mhm.
right? And you're gonna initiate around the first turn, right? And now what you have to control as you start the initiation is you got to remember that it's a double apex, right? You got to go farther out,
Yeah, yeah.
right, to be able to make that turn now, right? But you don't want to be on the inside of the turn.
There's a dip there.
Well, not only is there a dip, but that's going to put you on the wrong side of the turn. You want to wash out towards the drums.
Yes.
So you almost want to think to yourself, like, I'm about to crash into these drums, right? And then you dial the angle back, right?
Okay.
Just as you get to the drums, and you're going to come up over the hill on the left-hand side, right? As soon as you come up over the left-hand side, if you have a car with power, you're going to do a rolling burnout. And you're going to, once you come over the hill and start going down, you're going to go towards the right.
Yes. There's a little
tree there.
Yeah,
you can see like a little, like you could pick a landmark. We usually put a cone. If not, there's like a little branch tree thing growing there right by the tire wall. And you'll know if you're on the right spot, right? If you can't tell, then let us know. We'll definitely set the cone up if it's not set up. So you shoot towards the cone, right? But as on a rolling burnout, if you don't have power, then as soon as you start going up the hill, right, coming before you crest the hill, right, you want to straighten out
and get speed
and just pick up speed because you're going to need all that speed, and then you're just going to drive towards the outside of the second turn.
Okay.
Once you get to the outside of that second turn, if you have power, a clutch kick will get you right over it, through it, right? Because you're already doing a rolling burnout, so you're just shocking the rear and letting it slide along that big ass sweeper, right? If you're low power like me in the Corolla, right, you would just shoot down the hill, then handbrake it, like lock out the brakes like really hard, and then you could slide around the whole hairpin. And on that hairpin, you're gonna be you gotta be on the outside, not the hairpin, I'm sorry, the sweeper. You gotta be all the way on the outside the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're gonna come back, you're gonna shoot between, once you come out of the sweeper, to the opposite side that you're on, so you could do the hairpin. You know what I'm saying? But the first turn is you gotta be close to the wall when you start, right? 99% of the people handbrake it when they go in, right? Even me in the Corolla.
I started doing that later on in the day, yeah.
Because you could just carry speed, and then you're just like, let me lock it up and get it sliding. And then just remember that you're gonna be on the outside of that first turn. Don't let the car carry in, and you're almost gonna say to yourself, I gotta get as close to these blue barrels filled with water as I can, right? Without fucking my shit up.
That's where I felt most correct.
Yeah.
And then,
when I drove
yeah,
back.
because that's the right line. So you're gonna be like, I can keep speed if I'm there. Because what happens is if you come in shallow, you got to get off the gas because you don't want to run off the track on the inside.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're all fucked up, and now your car is pointing into the turn instead of pointing out, letting you slide out of the turn.
I think where I was going wrong was my car shouldn't be linking that.
It should.
And I was at the NA, and I'm trying to floor it. I'm like gearing.
I link it in a Corolla with like 90 horsepower.
I started linking it later on in the day, but I should have swung it wider for the sweeper.
Yeah.
Because
the first turn in the sweeper, you on the outside the whole time.
Yeah.
So
and when I was like running out of gear because I have a CD, so then I was shifting up into third.
Yeah.
Clutch kicking it like a couple times, but then at that point, I should have just sped up because it wasn't flowing anymore.
Yeah. Once you start coming over, that's what you gotta figure out, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're coming over the hill, am I able to do a rolling burnout? If not, then you just gotta drive faster. Yeah. Just worry about picking up speed going down the hill.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna set you up to do the
reinitiate.
sweeper. Yeah. And then just initiate at the bottom of the hill.
You know what? Some people would say, "Oh yeah, I don't know if I should do a manji." I'm like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
Nah,
No,
I saw somebody do it, and I was like, I don't even know why I
That
would.
shit looks so dangerous when they're doing it.
Because they swing like this way, and
They're
they're facing
aiming
us.
grid. Yeah.
They're facing us, and I'm like,
Locked on target.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I only do that like just fucking around when I'm on the go-kart track.
Oh yeah.
Everybody hates it.
Wait,
Like,
where
even
on the?
So on the go-kart track, when I come out like you go down the straight, you
Oh,
do
I know
like
what
you
you're
come back up, and then when you do
third
the
turn.
second, the third turn coming the third turn, you come, and before you go, so I manji it to get to the turnaround part, and like everybody's like, oh, that shit looks so stupid. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
It does look badass if you can extend that
I'm like,
go-kart section.
I'm in a Corolla, and I could just hammer it down and just stay full throttle and just let it bounce off the rev limiter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it goes literally like I'm at a point where I'm just looking at everybody on the fence, and they're like looking at me, and they're
That's
like,
cool.
is this guy gonna hit us?
That's sick.
And then all of a sudden, like the car just flicks back 100% the other way, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's not gonna go over there. But they literally just like they go from this to, and I'm like, oh shit.
Speaking of people on the fence, there, were you around for
That's
that
exactly
D
what I was gonna ask.
that D1 that they had there? Because they had people literally
I was around, but I didn't go to that.
along the fence.
Yeah, that's when
Dude.
they got. Damn, who was it? Was it
A lot of shit went down at that event.
was that when Von Gittin hit like the foam and blew it up or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the MA Motorsports car? Somebody did.
Somebody hit the foam.
And-
yeah,
and-
I wasn't there.
But to me, what was crazy was that was during a comp run.
Yeah,
And there's a video of it on YouTube somewhere. Somebody will find it. But there was during a comp run, and it got airborne. Like
Yeah.
the ass went up.
It was
And,
bad.
but the foam blocks, like the next run, it was out.
yeah, the car was out.
It was out there doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I love those foam blocks, dude. That
yeah.
shit's-
I guess they must have carried them because I never seen those things.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, did they bring those
yeah,
across?
they probably brung them. They probably were.
I
just
never
like,
seen them at
yeah.
E-Town ever.
No,
And like,
now we put like the plastic ones.
Yeah, which
You know, the plastic ones really don't hurt your car. The problem is like if you snag them, like if you got like a bash bar and you,
you
snag
could drag them all the way.
drag them, and then we got to go back out there and like fix them.
You drag them all the way back to
yeah,
grid.
Yeah,
at Jeff Stoneback, who we also have not met.
Oh yeah, we gotta get him on here.
I heard that me and him
Yeah, you guys haven't met yet. Yeah.
kind of
Jeff
would
is-
vibe.
Jeff is
You
very
guys
cool.
would definitely vibe.
Really?
Yeah, Jeff is very cool.
He's
Yeah.
a golfer, dude.
Yeah.
I fucked with golf recently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Take.
I'm
Gabe.
not
He
good
wants to
at
learn how to
I'm,
golf.
I'm not good at He wants to get into it?
He was talking
I'm
about it.
terrible at it, man.
He can't be any better, and he's a lefty.
But the thing is I only started golfing after the age of like 21
I don't know how to golf
because
I putt golf.
I like the golf
I'm
cart
not a golf
aspect
fan.
of it.
Nah, we could go mini golfing like in Turtleback Zoo if you want.
Yeah, I'll fuck with mini golf.
The golf cart path, and this is all allegedly, is the funnest shit if you're out with your friends and your reckless friends.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
They put like hairpins in it, and I'm in there fucking.
I would try to flip one of those things like Jackass.
See, that's not what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do.
that would be sick.
But golfing is just fun. Sometimes you're just out there, with your boys, just drinking beers, fucking 18 holes. Do you know how long it takes you to get to a hole, especially if your buddy's drunk?
What's your par?
I don't even know.
I don't even know what that means, but
Yeah,
I
me
think
neither.
it makes sense.
I don't know. I play it to play it.
Is there like an over under?
It's actually kind of a cool. To be honest with you, it's kind of a cool system.
You probably would love it because it's stressful as fuck if you're doing bad.
It's like you gotta hit the ball the least amount of times.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
that's it. You know,
Yeah.
you could play golf.
Yeah, but
Oh
it's
my
just
god,
so,
I would die to see you in some
It's
fucking.
just
think I
so
could-
whack
I
looking.
don't
I'm
think
not
I
doing
could
that
hit a golf
shit.
course.
I like going to the golf course
Yeah.
looking not like a golfer. I think the first time I ever pulled up to a golf course, I had a coupe S13, and that shit was in the country club parking lot.
I thought you meant like your outfit or something. Like you just
Oh, no.
walk out there.
No,
in, like,
yeah,
fucking
I'll wear, like,
Timbs.
No, Tim's is crazy, but like I wear like normal sneakers and shit.
Just
like,
walk out there wearing all black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all black Timbs.
Yep, just like that.
some crazy shit.
But no, that if Gabe's trying to golf, we go to a driving range or
Yeah,
something.
hit him up.
I'll go.
Yeah.
He
If
asked.
you
Yeah.
go to driving range, I'll go.
Yeah,
he was
I'm down
talking
with
about
that.
it.
Actually,
I don't-
fuck it. I'll do whatever. I'm not dressing like that. Though.
Driving range first, and
Yeah.
don't worry, I got the places where there's no dress code.
Yeah.
They sell Bud Lights at the fucking counter before you go. They're like, "Are you sure you don't want any beers?"
Well,
I'm like,
that's kind of normal, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, not always.
Oh, really?
Nah, I
Not always.
thought they always sold alcohol.
Yeah, I
Golf
thought that
places.
was like the reason old dudes went there just to
Yeah.
drink.
Smoke cigars and,
Yeah.
and drink.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Golfing was third.
I haven't hit the cigar part of my life yet. Like I
dad-
don't enjoy cigars.
My
yet.
dad wants to be a golfer so bad.
Your dad? Your dad?
Yeah. but,
Does he
like,
golf now?
He'll say he does, but
Oh, but I'm saying, but he goes to a golf course. That's what I'm saying.
He golfs.
He
Eh.
golfs.
he can't walk, dude.
Yeah, but still. But he's
He
on the
needs
golf
those
course.
knee fucking replacements
Yeah.
so bad, man. He can't even stand, and he's like, yeah.
But he just got to jump out of the cart, hit the ball, and jump back in.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
the
That's it. Yeah.
that's the shit. And the thing about golfing is sometimes it's what works for you. Okay, so like the club is supposed to do all the work. Everybody fucking thinks you're fucking like let me swing the shit as hard as I can. No,
Yeah.
the clubs do that for you. That's
The
why
weight.
that's why there's different clubs.
Yeah.
You know?
You just gotta learn how to swing.
I don't know how to swing, dude.
Come on now.
I'll be there. Fucking.
I'll show you how.
We should do a faction driving range.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
I thought you was
Top
going to
golf?
say swingers party, but okay.
No.
I know Malcolm was thinking it. He
Hey,
was
no.
like, somebody's going to say it.
I thought you
know.
were gonna say shooting range day. That sounds.
We could
good
go
too.
shooting.
Yeah.
Are you a firearms guy?
Yes,
too?
I am.
Yeah. I feel like that's the good hobby. Dude. I like
It is
that
definitely a good hobby, but
Yeah,
that
it's
that could get dangerous too as far as money.
Terrible.
hobby. Money? Oh my.
All my shit is cheap.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I
I-
can't say my shit's cheap, but I don't really spend money on guns.
I want to. Your shit is not cheap.
No, I spend money
but-
on guns, but I don't buy expensive guns. Is what I want to say. Like I
And by multiples.
buy multiples.
Oh, you do? Oh shit. All right.
Hector's just trying to not make it sound
I
like
wanna,
he's got
I
a
wanna
problem.
go to can we do a range day with Petty too? That's what I
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah, I talked to Petty, but Petty will definitely do a range.
Yeah, because I saw him out the other day. He only fucks with AK-47s.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
Yeah,
the?
he's-
Only the gun of the fucking
The Slavs.
like yeah. He's getting ready for the fucking rebellion. You know.
I stay with the 223, 5.56.
Hey, it's a good firearm.
Yeah.
The price per is not bad on that. I heard 223.
You know-
AKs
now-
are cheaper.
Right now, I think it's like 60 cents around.
Yeah.
And now this is only just because I told you.
We got Carl into it
I
a little
fucking told you.
We brought
Don't
a-
bring me.
bit. We brought him
don't-
to the range.
Don't bring me. I don't want to think about
I
the
showed
fact,
him. We showed him the
Another
22, and we showed him the 22 range. You know
the fact
range.
I just know that is another hobby where it's not just, oh, let me just dip my toes in here.
no,
Well,
you could.
well,
You
you
could.
could.
Yeah,
You
but
could.
me, I'm gonna want to excel
like-
at something.
That's what I say. Like, I don't buy like super expensive stuff. Like
Yeah.
I just like if it's a rifle, I just piece them together myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I save money on that because and then I only buy like what I want, right? So I don't have to buy like a rifle and then change stuff that came on it.
Yeah.
But I'm able to like keep it budget friendly.
Yeah.
Handguns, of course, you got to pay what they cost.
Mm-hmm.
Handguns don't really do it for me, man.
But yeah, but like I have a couple of like
I mean, I have them, but
stupid stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
until you start doing drills.
yeah, that's different. Like if we were
Yeah.
able to do some cool shit, like we weren't in Jersey and we were able to.
You could do them in Jersey. There's
What-
places that do drills.
Here's what I like the
I want
most.
to do some John Wick shit.
Here's what I liked the
There's a
most
place,
about it.
There's a place like in Englishtown, not the range that's like right around the track that Petty goes to, but there's like another place in Englishtown that does like full blown outdoor drills.
That's cool.
Ooh, we gotta go.
Yeah, like
You know,
three gun,
well, we're
like three
talking,
gun type
With the
shit.
timer, like
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, 3 gun. That's what I'm saying. The 3 gun type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we do the timer at the
That- because-
22 range.
Our friend Alex had a fucking timer on him, and I heard the sound, and it was literally the sound in the video.
Dude, Alex Avila from Front Street, that
Yeah.
guy's prepared for anything. He's literally.
I love Alex.
Anything you need, he'll just take it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a timer right here.
But
Shoot already.
no, as soon
Yeah.
as we, I enjoy the little things about the hobby, like when Frankie was like, load up these magazines up.
Yeah.
That I liked that.
Oh
that,
yeah, you
that-
should have seen him trying to.
that manual like
Yeah.
every the
and you get
sounds
used to it
that
though.
it
Like,
makes.
like the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like,
well, no, I liked it
Yeah.
because and like everything the way.
Well,
I
here's
liked
the
all
thing.
of
Like
it.
we were going to the range, right? It was me, Alex, Ethan, and then Carl was like, "Yo, I want to come to the hike." So because we were doing a hike and then we were going to the range.
yeah,
Well,
So
no,
Carl
no, 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 no. You said you didn't say anything about the range.
Anyway, he gets there and we're like, "Carl, we're going to the range." He's like, "Oh, all right, yeah, I could probably come." And we're like, "All right, cool."
Well, what did I say? Chris is right here now. What did I say?
That's what you said.
No. What did I say?
You
I
tell me
said,
what you said.
I said
I was
my
supposed to
first
park
time
this
was
chair.
supposed to be with Chris. Pause.
Yikes.
I confirm it. I said it.
No,
Chris is
he-
gonna be pissed.
What he said. Yeah, I guess he did say that. That literally went in one ear, out the other. Because
Yeah.
when I
He
got
didn't give
there,
a fuck.
and
he
he
took me
said-
there.
and he said, we're like on the line, and he's like, I was like, "You ever fire a gun?" He's like, he looks at me, he's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh fuck." I was like, "All
Never.
right, let's work through this a little." I'm
They're
like,
not
show
hard,
him how to
though.
use the handgun.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they're
this
not
is how this works. I mean, he did pretty good. He flagged me once, but he did pretty good.
yeah.
There was a
He's yeah,
I
he
do.
definitely did. He was like, "Yo," so I was like, "Whoa!"
never happened again because I had to
Yeah,
check
yeah,
myself and be like, wait a minute, this is a firearm.
That happens to everyone.
Yeah.
But I fucked around with like airsoft and shit. But the shit that I
Yeah, so you kinda
thing,
knew.
the thing that I liked about airsoft and the thing that I was more amazed by was the fact that it was so fucking.
He realized how realistic
I was
airsoft
like,
was.
I picked it up, put the magazine and shit in there, slide lock. I was like, ooh, this is exactly like my other shit.
Yeah, it is really
Crazy.
similar.
Yeah.
But I liked taking them apart, cleaning them,
Yeah.
making sure that everything worked.
And you were
That's the
fucking good, man.
That's what I liked.
He shot BB guns.
Dude, he was like,
And
You
I'm
know,
a lefty.
yeah, but you were
Which is
shooting.
kind of weird.
Shit was pretty accurate.
shoot
Am I a
lefty?
lefty? Am
You
I
shoot
am I a
lefty or
lefty?
you shoot righty?
Which way you shoot?
You're a lefty.
Because Gabe's a lefty, but he shoots right-handed,
See, so I'm the opposite. I'm a
Yeah.
right hand. I write with my right. I bat.
and then you
Yeah.
left.
And then
Yeah.
I-
Because when you shoot is what eye is dominant. It's not what.
Usually, some
Yeah.
freaks out there fucking.
There's some people that are righty, but they're left eye
Yeah,
dominant, so
and
that
they use the other eye.
That's what.
use it left.
Oh yeah, nah. Gabe doesn't do that. He just shoots like he's right-handed.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but he's lefty. But he grabs the gun like he's right-handed,
Why do I feel like Gabe would knock a target out at 300 yards?
which will work
With a handgun.
which works nice because like he doesn't have to watch the round eject across his face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
that's,
saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the key.
Yeah.
Dude, Ethan was there,
Oh.
dude. Remember that rifle he brought? The muzzle brake?
No, the guy next to us. That
Bro.
shit looked like.
That too, but dude, every
No,
time
mine's pretty
Ethan
bad.
fucking fired it round, I just got gunpowder in my mouth, like everywhere.
Everything was
Not to
coming
mention
back.
how fucking loud that shit
I wonder.
was.
I wonder how much.
I was
of
like,
our-
I
how
feel like
many-
I'm on the firing line,
Mine-
fucking Iraq or some
That's
shit.
pretty loud.
I wonder how many. I wonder how many of our listeners like also dabble in that.
There's a few.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, it's gotta be a
I've
lot.
seen. I know some of them are in there.
Sometimes I'll be on
Yeah.
Facebook and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, someone's just like, "Yeah, just pick this up." There's like a whole arsenal. I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn. All right.
That's another thing that I like about it. I'm like, damn, I would like a sick safe. You
Yeah,
know?
that's my favorite
Yeah.
part. My save.
I know your fucking safe is baller as hell. Don't even care.
It's not even that crazy.
Nah,
but yeah.
nah.
It's really
fucking-
not that crazy.
Yo,
but
Hector, this shit's fucking nice.
It just it fits in my closet perfectly.
Yeah, I got mine. Mine's is just a standard safe. I just
Yeah.
got everything jammed in there.
He got like
Yeah.
lights and shit.
Dude, when I got the safe, I got it home. First of all, how the fuck are you supposed to move that shit? Anyway, made it work somehow. I fucking got lights from like Amazon.
The little
Wired
LED.
that shit all
Yeah.
in there. I got the
Dehumidifier.
I got multiple dehumidifiers. I got the fucking motion sensor, so you open the door, the lights come on.
Yeah.
All
Dehumidifier?
this shit.
Well, so it doesn't like get any corrosion of any type.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just get like the little decusant bags and throw them.
yeah,
in
that too. Like if I have any of those, I just throw them in.
That's
Yeah.
why I collect silica gels.
Yep.
Just because you eat them.
No.
there. Oh,
I always
says-
thought Chris ate those
He
things.
says, "Do not eat."
put them like tobacco, just throw 'em in his lip. Yeah, that shit.
Dude, I always thought because he's always like, "Yo, save that." I'm like, "What do you mean save it?"
Yeah.
and he like put it in his fucking toolbox.
You know, I used to
Okay,
carry.
well, let me clarify.
Yeah,
I collect
right.
the silica gels because this is my plan. I plan on putting them in like a small burlap sack. And you know how S13s always get like a lot of like moisture in the
That's-
trunk?
yeah.
I'm going to put it in the trunk so I
Oh,
don't get
wow.
moisture.
Nah, they
So
do.
there
can
was a
just buy-
story behind all this.
You can just buy a.
a
You can
charcoal-
buy
little
something
char-
for
a
that.
bag.
But this is free.
Yeah,
but
true.
it's $11.
Yes.
I buy them for the container. It's $11 for a 3-pack.
The one,
But it's a nice story to have.
the thing I have in the safe is really nice. It's basically a bunch of those things. You plug it into a wall outlet, and it like heats them up to a point where it like almost resets them in
Yeah.
a way, and then you take it back, put it in the safe, and then when it changes color to like a, whatever blue or green, then you
Gotta
take it
change
out,
'em.
plug it back in,
Oh, okay.
let it heat up,
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
out, and
Yeah,
like
that's
it,
pretty cool.
dude, you have to do that like what 3 times a
yet
year.
another
heating up is
thing to
probably
buy.
getting rid of the moisture that's in that
Yeah.
it captured.
Why do we
Yeah.
always like shit that's expensive?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like you
It's
can.
adult things.
So, you know, like my wife always says I do everything to the extreme. Like I don't have an easy.
That's a lot
Like
of us.
I get into a hobby and I just go all in.
You because
It
that's
doesn't
exact-
matter what the fuck it is. Like
that- Yep.
like every once in a while I get my fishing bug, right? Then
I was
gotta
gonna
go out
say,
and
is
buy
it
a
fishing?
load of fishing stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I have all this other fishing stuff that I don't even use.
Do you have a
Yeah.
boat? You don't have a boat, do
No,
you?
no, but I did talk about buying one.
Why do
If
I feel
sell-
like, see, you
if
would have
somebody
a-
buys the G35,
Dude,
I
you
will
know-
buy a bass boat.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
That
you
would be
would
sick.
have a fucking.
But
Tell me Hector wouldn't have a fucking sick.
if
boat.
he had a bass boat, him and my dad would be best friends within a month.
Nah, you ain't buying just a plain Jane bass boat.
no, I want like a nice bass boat if I sell my G35.
Yeah.
Like I don't want like a 30-year-old bass boat.
Yeah, dude, my dad lives for that shit, dude.
Yeah. Like right now, I do all my fishing on offshore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and me and your dad probably will get.
He's
Get
my
it
dad's a
real quick.
fly fisherman at heart, so
Yeah.
he'll
So
go up
does
to
a lot of
Oh.
trouts
the
and
mount.
stuff.
Yeah, he'll go up to New York State.
Yeah.
And, you know, do that stuff. But
got
he
the
had
waders
he had
on?
a boat at one point, and we'd go down to I don't even know where in Jersey. I don't know. Was it Cape May? Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess you could do stuff off there.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah,
there's a
we-
bunch of places you could go off of.
Yeah, that was how I learned how to back up a trailer. You know all those memes you see?
Yeah.
Where it's like, that was how that happened. So, fuck, dude, that shit's stressful.
Nah, but that's the thing. Like I always do everything.
you don't
like-
want to do it half-assed.
Not even half-ass. I just like spend way too much money on shit.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I just be like I go through phases, right? So I go like sometimes I get into like the pistol thing and I buy like a pistol and a rifle and I'm like, do I really need this shit?
Yeah,
But I already
dude, I
bought
feel
it.
the
It's too
same
late.
way.
It's like, fuck, I already own it. I guess I needed
With
it.
guns, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I think too far into it with guns. Like if I like a gun,
Like
I'm
I look
do
at
I
shit.
need that shit?
Like the Malibu, right? The Malibu had a perfectly running small block Chevy in it. Nothing was wrong with it.
Yeah.
Drove perfect. It was 0 miles. I rebuilt it, put it back together. It was running, driving, everything beautiful. I put a LS in the G35. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna LS the Malibu. I'm like, why did I do that? Like, it's a perfectly running car. Right?
Yeah.
But it was too late. I already had done it. It was like, by the time I realized that it's done, I'm like, fuck.
Do you like that better than the original?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't sound as cool, the
Yeah.
LS, because it's a lot. Like it doesn't
It's
have
refined.
headers. It doesn't have headers. It doesn't have a big cam in it.
It's also more tamed.
Yeah. So
LS.
it doesn't sound cool, but it drives so much better.
You need that rough sound.
That
you know?
small block probably was.
But it's it was the small, but I built it retarded. It
Yeah.
was
That sounds.
camshaft way too big. It was like it was a dumb build. It was I just bought stuff and I was like, yeah, this is gonna sound cool.
Yeah.
And it did sound cool, but it was not fun to drive.
You got any other crazy hobbies or unique?
Nah, I don't do any.
Yeah.
You know, listen, I if everybody knows me from the track, you know what I'm saying? Fishing, you guys got Jeff's car. Me and Jeff like got a fishing bug for a while.
Oh,
dude.
really? Okay.
And we went fishing like almost every weekend. We were like, yeah, we're going fishing.
Oh shit.
And,
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was like then guns, you know, like guns or whatever. But other than that, I don't really have no other crazy hobbies. I do a lot of volunteer work. Nobody ever, you know, want to know about that shit.
I
but
do. What kind of volunteer work?
I always volunteer like in the school and shit like that. Like I always try to help, you know, like run the kids programs and stuff, sports
awesome.
programs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I remember.
But
you
it's
telling
another
me.
but it's another thing, right? My wife says again, like I volunteer, right? And then I just go like full tilt.
Yeah.
Like I buy all this equipment. I'm like, oh, but the kids don't have this. And she's like, but those are not your kids. But I'm like, yeah, but you know, it's gonna make it better. You know what I'm saying?
You ever
like,
catch yourself like mid session or
but
something?
that's what I'm
and you're
saying. Like I always I don't
remember bring your tires home.
like I
Oh,
don't
shit.
I that's the thing, right? Like no, I don't catch myself mid anything. I catch myself after the fact. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I do that? Like it's just like, and I'm like, there's some things I don't care. Listen,
I mean, most of it sounds like good things.
yeah. Yeah, it's not a
It just shows like it's a testament to character.
yeah.
I
I
feel
just if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be done. Like I do everything. Like I said, I do everything 100%. It's
Yeah.
not like some things I always look at stuff and I'll be like, that's good enough. You know what I'm saying? But
Did you think you learned that over time,
I think it's just been like
or has it always been like you do things the proper way right off the bat?
I wouldn't say it's the proper way. I would just say I just do whatever I think it's my version of 100%.
Yeah,
you know
you
what
have
I'm
a
saying?
method.
Yeah, it's just the way I do everything. Like right now, right? Like everybody's like, oh, like you lost weight, right? Then I'm like, I go to the gym 3 times a week. I run 2 miles every day. You know, I try to watch what I eat, and everybody's like, oh, like that's so much shit that you're doing. But I'm like,
Not really.
But I
It's
have to do it. Like
you're
it's
keeping it-
if I want the result. Like if you know what I'm saying. Like I have to do this. Like it's just,
Consistency.
it's the way I look at it. It's like if I don't want the result 10 years from now. That's my problem, right? I don't like to
want it
slow
now.
walk anything. I want everything now.
Yeah.
I want,
Okay. Okay.
It's my version of people on their phone looking for instant satisfaction.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I just want the result now.
Yeah.
And-
But the difference is that you're willing to work for it
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
It's a lost start.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dying.
It's a dying mentality.
mentality.
Everybody wants
Yeah.
to be insta famous, I call it,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to do any work for it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are famous for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, but what have you done?
And then everyone else sees them doing that.
And they copy it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big.
And then it does create. What do you call it? There's a word for this, but it creates like
I have a
I guess
lot of-
complexes in
I
people's
have
heads
a lot
too.
of controversies about that.
Yeah, about
People who become famous through the internet.
I know.
Well,
Get stuff.
I wasn't gonna say YouTube, but
well, for Frankie's thing, you said this the last podcast, and it's because we weren't really arguing, but you said that you want to make it doing it the most honest way possible. Do you remember that?
well, give me more context.
We were talking about like being known for being the best in the business or something like that, or I forget what the
I
topic
feel like
was.
this was a private conversation.
No,
with
it was
me,
on
you,
this
and Tom.
podcast. It was
Okay.
on the podcast. It was
You remember?
No.
I think it was about.
It was before the podcast.
Yeah. I know what conversation it was. Yeah, it was. It was me, you, Tom.
yeah, but we're
Yeah.
not gonna say anything about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
rest
yeah.
of it. But you wanted to say you wanted to be the best because of and make it honestly,
Yeah.
not without scheming somebody
Yeah.
or making your way to
Or
the
getting
top
money
or,
from
or taking a
someone.
shortcut.
Yeah.
And to me, when you said that, I was like, damn, I'm in the right spot.
And there's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of shops that like when I came up and like when the import shit first kicked off big, right? In the 90s, a lot of shops did that. They just scammed everybody.
Damn.
Yeah, you just literally like it was crazy. It was nuts.
If anything, I feel like I'm doing business in the complete opposite way you're supposed to do it.
and it was so it's a twofold, right? Because you're looking at it from your business standpoint. I never owned a business. I was always a customer. But you could only scam so many people, and that's why these shops no longer exist, right?
And
You
the
could only
internet wasn't
scam-
around.
Yeah, you could only scam so many people before you
Word
just
got around.
run out of people. Yeah, word got around, and then you had nobody else to scam, and now you got to shut your business down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, listen, like, and sometimes this bites me in the ass, like it did with the SR20.
Uh-huh.
Right? I'm the type of guy, like, if I can deal with you in person, cash, I don't give a fuck if your shit is $10 more. I'm gonna come here and deal with you, because if I ever have a problem, I want to be able to come back to you and be like, hey, Frankie, remember like all these parts I bought? Like, this part is not right.
Yeah.
Like, something's wrong here.
Uh-huh.
And I would hope that then it would come back and be like, you know, okay, let's take a look at it. Let's figure out what's going on, and we can take care of it. When you're dealing with like internet companies, there's nobody for you to talk to,
Yeah.
right? You're just clicking shit online and ordering shit on a, you know, like you're putting your information in, and if you ever have a problem, then you're pretty much
It's like a
shit out of
gentleman's
luck.
agreement.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you know,
But the gentleman part recently is flying out
it's
the window.
questionable.
Like
It's questionable.
and it's like not just in business. It's like the community itself.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many times I post shit for free on like my story
I just get rid of it.
Yeah.
just to get rid of it?
Yeah.
Where I could probably post it online. Like I think I had like a
Well, I'll give you a funny story. So like everybody knows me from Corollas, and I used to hoard Corolla parts. I'm talking about like hoard. Like I had probably
yeah,
like,
do it to the maximum.
like 2 garages full of parts, because I always told myself like these parts are hard to get. They're not gonna be around forever.
I would have still had them.
And you know what I would tell guys when they were building cars? There's a Dunkin' Donuts 2 blocks from my house. Stop there and get me a large coffee. Come here and get whatever you need. Finish your build.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and I was blessed enough to run into
You know,
people
and
like
guys
you.
will tell you like, oh yeah, like
that ain't me, just for the record.
like all these like random little but I'm not a shop. You see what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not a shop. I was just a guy trying
for the people.
to help you get your shit together.
Yeah,
And that's just
Yeah.
listen, there's very few Corollas that I haven't had my hands in.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think pretty much I've touched every Corolla at Club Loose.
Mhm.
You know?
You still have those parts, or are they all gone?
Nah, they're all gone.
At
The
least,
only
he had a lot of coffees.
at least you got that coffee.
Yeah, the only thing I have left is like a transmission and like a third member for the diff.
Maybe save the trans.
Yeah, the trans and the third member is like the only things I'm
What is it? A T50?
T50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
T50 trans.
Yeah, you just can't find
I
them
ran
anymore.
into a couple people like yourself that were willing to do that for people still.
Yeah.
And
It's rare nowadays because everything is so much money.
Well,
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like,
talking like 2014, 15. There was this
Yeah.
one time. What the fuck was I buying? I was buying tires, and I was in the middle of like upstate New York somewhere. I drove like 2 hours to get these tires. They're Falcon Azenis. They were gonna be my first sticky tire ever. And the dude was old. His wife had passed away, and they used to race cars together. And he was like, "You're buying these tires? What lug pattern is your car? I'll see if I have some wheels for him or whatever." And he was this old guy. He really had nothing to gain from giving me these wheels.
Yeah.
But I didn't take them because they honestly wouldn't fit my car.
I think he's calling me old on the logo.
But I feel like
stressing that old part.
no.
old guy.
No, he
Yeah.
was
Giving parts
really
away for free.
no. He was like really old. Like he had nothing to gain, nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, but that
And the gesture alone changed the way that I was doing
Yeah.
stuff. Like I was willing to, if somebody was coming to me with a problem like that and I had a solution, I'm not gonna be like, give me $200 for this.
Yeah.
And
listen,
then they
and
gotta
even
tell
now,
me they don't
and
have
even
it.
now, like I'm still the guy that'll be like, if you break your car and I have it, right
Yeah.
at the track, I'm like, yo, I got these parts, just replace them. I don't want
Yeah.
to sell them to you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Just replace them for me, but I want you to be back on the track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you get my parts back when when you return.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, what you said, Carl. I mean, watching people do good things for other people, it really does.
It does make you
It makes you want to
think
change.
a little different.
Yeah.
And I love that about all the friends I've made so far, that we've made so far through this shit. I feel like they're all like that.
They got a whole community online on a Discord server.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know,
They
dude.
got like a whole community on there.
We
now.
fucking like, and I think that it's just
And it's from the podcast.
it goes
pretty
it
much.
goes with the same thing where it's like if you put out good energy, you get good energy
Yeah.
back. Hopefully, in a
Hopefully,
perfect
yeah.
world.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it doesn't always happen.
Nah, it doesn't always happen.
Doesn't
But you
always
try.
happen.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that I am. Even though like most people don't see that. They just
I know,
look at
right?
me-
They always look at you and they think you're mean. Like,
Carl was scared out of his mind.
terrible.
before he came
fuck
in.
you.
Yeah, you were.
I was because I'm telling you, Hector. To me, like
He's like, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, guys.
I grew up where you respect any type of authority.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't mean you could take that with a grain of salt, but to
Yeah.
me, that you were
Elders,
that first
elders,
person I
yeah.
met in the drift community that gave me some sort of authority. I forget where it was or where the first time.
The private day.
It was it the private day?
It was a private day.
The private day.
Yeah,
and ever
you
since
grabbed him by the shirt, and I was like, "Oh, that's it. Carl got sunned."
ever since then, I'm like, oh damn, like I need to show this guy a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Like he's not just telling me this shit for for fun.
Yeah.
Or well, technically you were. But,
Yeah.
You know.
But that's the thing, right? It's like so everybody always I don't know like what the younger generation likes
Neither do we.
or like what do they want? Like because again, like I have Gabe, right, which should be should be my learning point, but he's an old soul.
He is not like
So
normal
like
children.
I can't even
Yeah.
like so sometimes like you said, like there's this stigma, right? Like, oh, Hector's mean. I'm like, dude, like there's other people that are like way meaner than me here. Like I'm just looking at you like with like a disappointment. I might be doing that.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
That's oh.
But that's not being mean.
No.
That's just me looking at you like, what the fuck, bro?
I never thought that about you, to be honest.
But you'll never make that mistake again. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Have I ever
I
left
know
tires
he's-
at Club Loose? Never.
Hector's stern but fair.
Nah, he's real, and that's what I appreciate.
Yeah,
Like,
and nothing that's the thing, right? So like nothing that happens at Club Blues is a surprise because it's
Yeah.
always all written.
Yep.
So it's like, why are you shocked by this?
Yeah.
Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, listen, sometimes, like I said, if it's something minor, we can work on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But certain things, you gotta.
And I think this podcast was important for that because I don't want what I don't want, and I hear it because I'm still not in that community where I could be like, yeah, I've been doing this for years, right? I'm
Yeah.
still new too, so you hear the new complaints. It's like, man, they're
Which is good. I mean,
Yeah,
But
because then I get to-
wanna
But
hear
that's the
those
thing, right?
complaints.
The new complaints are still the old complaints.
Pretty much.
are they?
the same shit.
Oh
And
my
they're
god!
new to you, but they're not new
Yeah.
to you.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
they're so strict.
Oh my god, they
like-
made me buy a helmet.
They get,
Okay,
yeah.
it's in the fucking rules. Like, we didn't make you do anything. You signed up for it and then showed up unprepared.
But
Yeah.
then what I wanted to make a point in this podcast was it ain't like that.
When you're saying like when
Look-
you actually go.
Look at me, Malcolm. Camera me, please. Look at me. This guy's the nicest guy on planet Earth. It's the sunglasses. I swear to you.
You know what it is? Kids
Ask questions. Don't be scared. I feel like
the
that's
thing.
what it is.
That's the big thing.
They're
Kids-
scared.
kids are
I
very
don't want
I
people.
don't want to say.
these
Do I want to
days.
say they're scared, or do I want to say they think they know it all?
Both?
Ooh.
Both?
Mixture of both for sure.
Okay, but let me give you my input. I think kids have always known it all,
Yeah.
quote unquote. But I do think they're more intimidated as we go on through
Really?
through the years. I do think they're getting more
That's
intimidated.
that's where I was getting at. Is I want people to see they shouldn't be afraid to ask you a question.
They shouldn't be afraid to ask anybody a question.
Anybody question there.
Anybody a question.
Yeah.
I'll
Listen.
fucking
We tell people all the time, if you don't know how to do something, ask the person next to you. They might know.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's how to change a tire or how to get the first turn.
Mhm.
If you ask somebody, somebody will know.
I'll
They will help you.
I'm a big observer person. So let's say like if I see somebody's doing something the way I want to do it, I'll ask that person. And I'm
Yeah.
the king of that shit.
And
I'm
there's
not
nothing wrong with that.
looping in the person that's good at it.
Yeah.
Like I want to know from the best. Why
And if
am
they
I?
don't know, they'll find someone.
They'll
that
find
does know.
somebody
Yeah.
who'll put you that
Yeah.
way.
Well,
I
here's
mean,
the other problem. A lot of people nowadays don't have the social skills. to start that conversation.
Yeah.
What do you
there
mean?
is
What,
that
like
too.
talking to people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I say, right? So is it that they're scared, or is it that they, in their mind, they don't have to ask anybody because they're doing it right?
I think it's both, but I think that second part's always been there.
Yeah. So
With-
it's
with
like, you
young
know,
people.
it's
Another part is
But
another.
that social skill thing Chris is talking about is very real.
I don't. I
And
also
we see it all the time.
want to put this out there. If anybody is giving me any advice, and I'm, I don't know. I'm not really. To me, if somebody's giving me advice, I still have to take the advice. I
Yeah.
could choose to not take the advice.
yeah.
I
You might
still
not
want-
you might not personally like the advice, but the advice might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a part of me also still wants to try it, and like make sure that's what I wanted.
He's
I
very
wa- I wanna-
he's hard-headed.
I want to
but
stay
so am I.
true to myself.
So
like
I
I
get it.
want to.
Yeah.
If I figure out that that's the right way, but here's a part that's different. I will say that I was wrong.
No, I'll say I was wrong.
Carl is very prideful at first, but
Yeah.
then he'll calm down and then
Yeah.
realize that he was being prideful.
Damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh God damn.
Damn it, I should have listened the first time.
Yeah.
Chris is
But,
there,
but
bro.
that shit usually takes like a week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, random text in the chat. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
guys
usually,
are right.
Usually
Yep.
between me and Carl, we'll be arguing about something, and I'm telling him what the right way is. He's like, nah, man, I'm going to do it this way.
That is the best
And
conversation.
then a week later, I find out that he's doing it my way, but he won't say anything to me.
I won't say anything. I'll just do it.
gonna
I mean,
keep
yo,
this
Chris, check it out.
Carl will literally like talk to Chris like Carl's been a mechanic for 10 years or something. Be like, nah, dude, this is how it goes. And we're all just watching this like, all right.
Look, because I will take pride in that. I still do all my own shit.
No, that's cool. But like,
I'll-
Nothing wrong with that.
I'll
I
do
do
all
the
my
same
shit.
thing.
And I like learning it. You know, I might complain about it, but you know that leads
Listen,
to
you can't learn nothing if you don't do it yourself.
That's true.
now,
what I'm
now
saying?
and it gives you good appreciation.
And I'm sure Chris been a mechanic for a while, right? I know I've been a mechanic for most of my adult life.
yeah, you didn't have to
all of my
get it
adult
over.
life. You know, you learn stuff, right? How do you learn stuff? By fucking shit up.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
You're not
yeah.
gonna be like when you first start doing stuff. You're not gonna always get everything right. You're
Yeah.
gonna
I
fuck
fucked
shit
up a
up.
few cars.
Yeah, and then you
Not
learn
here.
from it, and then
previous
disclaimer,
jobs.
disclaimer.
When I started, I
Yeah.
fucked
No,
up.
I'm saying when you're young, you know what I'm saying? And you just, you know, you learn from that stuff, you know, and that's what makes you better at anything, right?
Yeah.
So
That
it's-
being said, I would like to just give Chris a little round of applause for having like no comebacks. Dude, like it's so rare where someone will like, dude, it's so rare.
What are you
told him-
talking about? No comebacks on what?
We're
Basically, a comeback is like if you finish
It's
a
a fuck
car and then the car comes back and like, yeah, I had a problem with.
on
Oh, I
whatever,
thought you meant,
whatever he
like,
fixed.
Chris
No,
has got some witty banter.
No, not like that.
like he could.
like whatever he fixed, then it comes back like it's like the customer brings it wasn't fixed. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying?
something happened or this
Yeah.
or that. But Chris is like,
Well,
dude,
we're-
he has like 1 or 2 a year, and he's the only mechanic here.
Well, the thing is, we were talking about it the other day with Zeus.
Yeah,
And I was explaining how if there's something that I'm not completely comfortable with or I'm not completely 100% familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather take my time and do it right and be 100% sure that's
Yeah.
not going to come back than rush
Then get it wrong.
and get it wrong.
yeah. It also
So-
helps we're not flat rate here because
Yeah,
that's how you really fuck cars up
Yeah.
when your shop is flat
dude.
rate.
I used to work in dealerships. I've seen guys fuck shit up all the time.
Yeah,
And especially that I'm the only mechanic here.
Yeah.
he's
There's
like,
nobody else to blame.
it's all coming back to him.
Yep. No,
But-
but that's you know that shit comes with time, right? And how do you get it though? You got to
Trial and error.
You got to
Experience,
you got to fuck some shit up. Like it's
Yeah.
not gonna, you know, you'll be a rare occasion. You know, you'll be a rare example that if you from the jump you get everything 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
There's a like a trial by fire
Yeah.
that or
Yeah.
forged by fire, however you want to interpret that. But like an old manager used that to me to my like situation, whatever job I was in. Because I would get hired and it was the worst fucking time to get hired. Like it's the busiest month, busiest week.
yeah, that's trial by
Yeah.
fire.
And then my manager's, you know, here
sink
we
or
go,
swim.
trial by fire,
Yeah, sink
fight or
swim.
flight
You're either
right
gonna
now.
you're either gonna make it or you're gonna quit right
Yeah,
away.
that was
Yeah.
me when my first parts position. My manager just goes, I was there for a week, and then he goes, "All right, I got to go run the other store. good luck. I'm like, what do you mean good luck? I'm like, this is a complete Nissan dealership. I'm the only one in the parts department.
What's that saying? It's like mistakes is like the best teacher or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm not sure if is there a saying for that?
There is a saying.
Hey, did you guys?
But it's
did you,
along the lines like you making mistakes is like the best way to teach.
Yeah,
yourself.
learning by your mistakes.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, but dude, that shit's ridiculous. Like,
did you guys post a questions prompt?
oh, we got questions.
Did you?
Yeah, we should
We're
probably
gonna
get into
steer
that,
this
yeah.
into questions because I just looked at the time.
I know, I saw it too. I was like, oh shit.
And we've kept Hector here for fucking. What time did you get here?
I don't know. It was early.
God,
But he,
damn.
he knew what he signed up for. We all
Yeah,
we
all
all
right.
knew what we
It's
signed
all
up
right.
for.
Wait, I'm on no time crunch.
Yeah.
shit.
I feel like it's only been 30 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because this is like a normal fucking Tuesday for
It
us.
is,
yeah. Hector comes by, we bullshit.
It's like clockwork.
Let's see here.
Did you really get a lot? Was there a lot?
I want you to check the questions this time.
Is there
I'm
a lot?
tired of reading
You
this
always say that, and then you just start reading them all.
shit. I hate reading questions. Because then they're always like, oh, who said that? And I'm like, fucking, I don't know.
Bubblegum Judy.
Yeah, Bubblegum Junior, like fucking Yin Yang Twins, 8,
All right,
813.
we got like a moderate amount. All right,
Okay,
from. Do I even bother reading the names?
No,
I'm
I never do unless I'm questioned.
all right. Well, I know this person. This is Mike. All I need is Mike. From
Oh, Mike.
E-Town. Yeah. Is the I asked this earlier, so I don't know. Is the roller gonna hit the track this season?
It might.
All right, there's your answer,
Yeah,
Mike.
it might.
All right, this one's another one. Sometimes these questions aren't about drifting at
Yeah,
all,
that's
or
fine.
cars
It's
at all.
100%.
You have to give up one: arroz con pollo or drifting. It's from same guy, Mike.
Probably drifting.
Drifting,
In a heartbeat.
Dude, have you seen my Big Bone Sundays?
dude.
Yes.
Eventually,
dude.
some arroz con pollo is going to be there.
What's
What
with
is this? What is this?
Is it
What
was
is
this at the?
Big Bone
Did you bring
Sunday?
food to the Club Blues
His
tent?
posts.
We've had food. I brought food before. I didn't bring any food
I
this
talked
year.
to
I just
Will,
donated.
and
I donated.
he rifled off some of the stuff there,
Yeah,
and we were about to
Dude.
eat fucking.
I donated because I knew. So like, listen, guys are getting married. Guys are having kids. So when the season started, like, we didn't have the normal workload, right? So I was afraid that if we didn't have the normal workload, I didn't want to commit to cooking and then not be able to cook.
Yeah.
So I just said, guys, who's cooking? I'll just donate you some cash, buy whatever
Yeah.
you guys want to buy, and you guys just cook it up.
I
But
would-
I've brung arroz con gandule, pernil, and other stuff.
You
to
brought pernil
East
to
Coast
the
Bash.
track,
East Coast Bash, baby. Yeah.
Frankie. What are we doing?
What are you
Miyagi,
doing, bro?
Miyagi, we miss you. Come bring the grill back, man. Dude,
God
he
damn.
used to be our chef for all the events. He killed that.
I
shit.
kind of chefed it up in the driveway.
No, you're fine too.
Little mini
Yeah.
Miyagi.
Well, till you did those hot dogs and they were burnt to a crisp.
I like
That was just crunchy.
I like the hot dogs a little charred.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
I
it
did.
wasn't.
It was a little charged. All right,
Yeah,
from next question. Thank you, Mike, for your question. Not Edwin. 1UZ swaps? Question mark. Was that a big thing back in like?
Whoa.
Nah.
Not really. You're not a 1UZ guy.
I
People
would never.
like that shit. I don't know why, dude.
I like the 1UZ because you can put it in a
nah.
boat.
Fuck a 1UZ. I literally pulled out like a 3UZ out of Petty's car and was
Oh,
like, this
yeah.
thing is trash. Let's put a beams in it. I had a beams at my house. And this goes
That's
back to like what I just said, right? Like if I have it and I can help you, then we're gonna work it
You just
out.
had a random beam.
I had a whole beam swap in my house,
Carl's like, I wish I
Mounts-
was friends with you.
mounts and everything. And I told Petty, I was like, listen, let's yank this fucking 3UZ out. Let's put the beams in it. I
In a
got
Corolla?
mounts
Another
in
Corolla?
his Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
We brought the Corolla to my house. I yanked everything out, swapped the beams in it, gave it back to Petty, and I never saw the car again. But it got like a full beam swap, and like I could have been a jerk, and I could have been like, yo, they're going for $2,500, and I was like, listen, man, I paid like $1,000 for it. Just give me what I paid for it.
Yeah.
We'll call it even. And I swapped it in for him, so it couldn't get any better than
I
that.
amazing.
want a boat with a UZ. That's a That's a
why?
marine
It's
grade
terrible.
engine.
That's
Is
a
it?
terrible idea.
Marine grade.
I want a
engine.
boat with a Duramax. on
Listen,
it.
the only car those things belong in is a fucking LS.
Yeah, true.
Wait,
Don't
you ever see
fucking
those
put 'em
like
in
those
anything else.
long boats in like Thailand with 2 JZs on the back
Yes,
of them?
my
That
friend
shit's
actually
sick.
has in Florida
Oh, no.
Oh,
a
God.
business where they put 2Js in boats.
Fucking great idea.
And
Fuck
he
yeah.
He I don't know if he still has it, but for a while he held the record for like the fastest. I don't know. It was like some weird however I don't know how they categorize boats.
Knots.
But it was like, no, knots is the speed.
Yeah.
But like they categorize them like size or whatever, or what type of boat it is. And he had like the fastest boat. And it was a NA2J, single turbo conversion. And it was the fastest boat of that style of boat.
Yeah.
For a while. I don't know if it's still the fastest because this was a couple of years ago. But he went like to some lake, like out in the middle of nowhere, like Colorado or
They
something.
clocked his ass.
Well, it was a whole competition. It was like everybody just brought these boats
Yeah,
out.
I don't think this is the backyard operation.
No.
Frankie.
This was like a legit, like bring your shit and let's see if it's fast.
Cash days on Lake Mohegan.
Yeah,
Dude. Boats scare the fuck
but
out of me.
I wouldn't
man.
want you to see a goddamn thing. Fuck that.
On a lake, though, that's safe. You can do that on a lake. That's pretty
No,
safe.
they're
Now,
not
the
bad
ocean?
motors.
I
They're
don't
not
know.
bad motors. I don't want to say they're bad motors. They're just awkward. They're just wide, big and
They
heavy.
get that tall plenum.
Yeah, they're just weird. They're just.
I hate how they look.
You could
dude.
put
If
a-
the engine doesn't look good, I don't
You
want
could
it.
put a water bottle on it though, and it won't.
not a water bottle. It's like
put a
30
dime-
champagne
You
glasses.
could put a dime on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. It was a
no.
quarter or a dime, right? The commercial. Remember that?
I don't know that, but I remember Scott when
No,
he had
that
his,
was the commercial.
they like put
Yes,
that,
they put a coin on it.
and it was
Yeah.
like standing up.
That's funny.
And then the other commercial was they had like one champagne glass, two champagne glasses, and it just kept going. And it was like 30 champagne glasses,
Whoa.
and the engine was running, and like nothing was shaking.
And that's the commercial every 1UZ owner will bring up.
Me.
When you,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Right
they're still
here.
trash.
Yeah, and they're still garbage.
They're slow. All right, Subi664. He always asks zoo questions.
Hell yeah.
Zoo questions? Like animal zoos?
Yeah.
Okay.
A favorite zoo animal?
A lion.
Lion.
Yeah.
That's
You,
alpha.
you answered that pretty quick.
That's an alpha male answer.
Yeah.
That is out.
We just had this conversation in my house. Like,
no wonder why. Okay.
like if you had money and you could buy any animal that you wanted,
Lion.
I would definitely buy a lion,
Let's
dude.
go around the room,
Are you
Chris.
fucking crazy? I'd buy a lion in a heartbeat.
Any
like-
animal?
Any animal.
And we're assuming you can train it.
I'm not training a lion. I'm just gonna throw that motherfucker meat.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Oh damn! Any of them?
Any
of 'em.
animal.
I would like a wolf.
Wolf is a good choice.
Damn.
I don't know. If I don't have to
wolf.
train it, I want a tiger, dude. But I want a big one.
Yeah.
Like
big
I want a
Bengal,
borderline fat.
like big Bengal tiger.
Yeah, like where I could like pull its face and shit. Like,
Yeah,
look at you.
I don't know if I'm getting.
Fuck that.
Look at you, cutie.
Yeah. All right, Malcolm.
I'd probably get a monkey, dude.
Yo, a monkey would be sick. What kind of monkey?
I don't know, dude.
Like the kind that rob you?
The one that goes,
Yeah. The ones that. Yeah, those ones.
There's an
I-
animal by my house making that fucking noise.
I would get a parrot. The ones that can
Get the fuck out
the
of
ones
here!
that
You
can
can get that
replicate
right
what you
now.
say.
Yeah, Jay in my crib said a parrot.
He did?
Yeah. Said he wanted a parrot.
Because those things are funny as fuck, dude. They'll bring up
Yeah.
some dirty laundry while you're not expecting
Yeah.
it.
That's
Like,
because the owner's at home talking shit in the kitchen.
yeah, and they'll be like,
Yeah.
You said you hated her.
or like some weird shit. And you're like,
She's
what
a
the
bitch. She's a
fuck?
bitch.
Yeah.
She's a bitch. These fucking kids.
Like, yeah, some crazy
No,
shit.
just get a pair and play Jay Leno all day. That's so-
Oh. But those things creep me out, man. Those parrots
Yeah.
when they do that shit.
Growing up, my friend's dad, neighborhood kid, dad had one, and it would only curse.
Yeah.
That's all they would do. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And it just blurt shit out. Like, what the hell?
The thing is with birds, they outlive you.
Yeah.
Wait, did I?
You have to.
Dude,
you
they
have to
live.
have-
Yeah, they
live
like
forever.
some of those parrots live like 80, 90 years old.
Really?
they'll outlive you, so you have to line up the next person to
Yeah.
take care of it.
Yeah, like those
Good luck with this.
like those big parrots,
I'll just take it
like
out
they're
back,
like
shoot it.
80, 90 years old. Yeah.
We had this bird once.
I would just eat it.
In the Philippines, you could get birds that you
Well,
cannot.
I'm about to die. You going with me?
Yeah. Like, fuck it. That's dinner.
Final dinner.
Yeah.
No, but in the Philippines, we had a bird, and I don't think you can. You know what? We allegedly had this bird,
Okay.
and it was called a myna. It's a very rare species of bird, and it
Okay.
whistles like hell.
Yeah.
So our housekeeper at the time would fucking play songs.
Dang, he had a housekeeper.
It's in the Philippines, yo.
He's
rich. Everybody got like a little maid in the
The
Philippines.
housekeeper
Yeah.
was actually just a relative, but yeah.
No, they weren't relatives. But regardless,
Did you hit it? See
No.
that in the video.
I usually skip this part of that video. No, but we had a bird, and that was the only bird. It would whistle. It wouldn't
Yeah.
talk.
How loud is the whistle?
Loud.
Could you replicate it? That
Like
sounds like a
loud.
whistle, but okay.
No, that was more of a chicken.
So it's
You know what? There was a
it's
lot of chickens.
Is it like screaming at you?
No, it was like singing songs. Like it would whistle like really great sounding whistle.
I
Not
would have
like
broke that thing's neck the second whistle it made.
Look, man, it was very far away from my room.
I can't with animals.
All right, next
dude.
cue.
Next cue. That was fucking long. Didn't have to talk about birds or my exotic bird at one point. Nick from Front Street. Would you rather drive the G35 or the Corolla, and why? I feel like I already know.
Yeah,
that.
we all know the
I
answer.
drive the Corolla.
Yeah.
It's just more hectic. it's
Hector.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to drive it. The G35, to be honest, it's so easy. Like
You probably get bored of that.
it's so easy to drive. Like I'm in there playing with the radio. I'm looking at the GPS. I'm like, where am I on the track right now? You know what I'm saying? The G35 is definitely faster, way faster.
I bet.
But the Corolla is just like you don't have a dull moment to think about shit. You're just going. You're just like you're flailing in there. You're sweating. You're clutch kicking. You're doing everything imaginable in the Corolla. Where in the G35 you're just playing with the throttle and just letting it go.
Just whoop, whoop.
There are some
Yeah.
really good questions in here. I want to read some of them.
Okay, go.
Right?
All right. The first one's from Dustin Jew. Will my car pass tech? You remember Dustin?
Yeah, I think
Dude.
I bought the G35 from Dustin.
You probably
The four
did.
door that said that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think he had one or two. Dude, I gotta get him back.
Would
on the
his car
track.
pass tech? What car? I don't even know what car
He's
he has
he's
now.
fucking around, but yeah, he just wanted to say hi. I miss
Yeah.
Dustin.
Is he still in a body shop? He was in a body shop, right?
So he moved. He recently moved to New York. So in New York
Terrible
State.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not the city. Not the city.
Okay.
So he's at a body shop somewhere
Okay.
up there, but yeah. Another one that I want to read is when are the Bloodmasters going to final bout?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't tandem. You're asking the wrong guy about
Dude,
that.
this is yeah.
First of all, we'll probably need like a
Little aesthetic refresh.
no, not
no,
even
they're
that.
pretty good.
We're good on aesthetics. But we would need like. Have you seen how many Bloodmaster cars there are?
You'd have to pick.
You'd
You'd have to pick. some
Yeah,
people.
we would need some type of like lottery to figure out who's going, and then you can't take everybody because you would need like dealership car haulers, right? You would need like 3 car haulers.
Dude, but it
That would be the
so
sickest looking
epic.
car hauler ever.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
it would be
imagine,
so
imagine,
epic.
right? The BMI, right? Like when all the cars lined up, and it was
Yeah.
like 30 cars. Like,
Yeah.
you would have to
even
like,
if they brought 6 cars,
Yeah.
but they were all in one trailer,
yeah,
that would be amazing.
that
dude.
would be like the only way to do it.
Oh, look at the
because-
most demonic
yeah.
trailer
Dude, I
driving
could just
down the
picture
road.
the setup. Like if they could get someone to just get them a black fucking
Truck.
Yeah. Like, dude, it would be sick.
Nice
I'm all
Peterbilt.
for that.
Bloodmaster stickers on the hood just for just to drive down.
I'm hoping that happens soon because I want to be there to
Yeah.
experience that. Let me pick some more through here. Well, this one says any deep posts coming to Frankie's Tumblr, aka the Patreon account. Yeah, we got to do something. Me and Malcolm have been talking about it. We're gonna do a little like podcast during the morning, 10 minutes, and we'll just do
Well,
some stuff.
to tee off of this, I'm finna cop a computer this week. Okay. Everybody's been getting on my shit because my computer is from 2008. I refuse to. I
don't know computers.
You
And
heard
it's
it
a
earlier.
It's a Windows and it
The-
survived.
The
that long?
only thing that you need to know about computers right now and to play these games that people are playing online, the simulator shit, you kind of need a bit of a PC. And that shit's expensive. I don't know a lot about computers. I will default to whoever knows about them, which is
Yeah.
my roommate right now. Thank you, Tyler and Pat. And they're expensive.
Yeah.
And when you start to tee off into the higher numbers, different priorities come. I'm like, wait, but instead of spending money there, I can go spend it on my car and go do some more fun shit.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't buy a computer. But now that I'm buying a computer, hopefully I'll be able to generate some more content for this Patreon. Like I want to do a magazine
Yeah.
and also like that board game shit. And then I can also add posts on there. So that's hopefully going to come
Yeah,
soon. too.
it's
We'll have a
kinda-
conversation about
It
that.
kind of is like at this point, it kind of is like a Tumblr or a diary type thing.
I need to get a computer so I could fucking
Yeah.
put these ideas on paper. I call Frankie.
Yeah.
all the time.
You don't fucking answer anymore.
I'll never answer the phone for him.
I'll answer when I get ideas.
I'll answer you if it's not between the hours of 9 and 6.
I left you a funny voicemail though.
You
the
did.
other
It was
day.
pretty good.
It was good, right?
Yeah.
I was answering and I was like, you thought this was another idea, bitch? Nah.
I'm in the hospital dying.
I actually need your help really bad.
I'm on the side of the road.
but no, I wanted to do a 10-mile hike. But all right.
Yeah.
But look out for me on the Discord, hopefully.
Let me see. Wait. I know there's more in here. I'm going to steal all the fucking good ones, though, from Carl. Do you think aliens look like what people typically think or more human-like?
Oh, damn. We didn't talk about that topic at all today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like an alien sighting like in Vegas, right? Then like somebody called the cops.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
in
crazy shit
Vegas.
going on
They
right
were
now.
like, "Yo, there's an alien in my backyard."
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not calling anybody.
Shooting them.
I'm like, "Yo, come inside." I'm not even shooting them. Yo, let's talk about this.
yeah.
Yo,
Have you seen the shit going on?
Oh, my
Let's
God.
conversate. Why would you come here?
Dude.
But what would they look like? Oh man.
Yo, you're the first person.
That guy's inviting that shit in his house.
Yeah.
He said, yo, come inside.
Before you know it,
I
he
don't
Arroz
think.
con pollo.
I don't think they will look human.
Big Bone Tuesdays.
Why do I feel like they would be slimy?
Sundays?
Like they would be slimy.
I always
Right?
think they're gonna be.
Are
Slimy.
you guys too young to remember the movie V, the show V, the TV show V?
Yeah, I guess so.
It was
What
like a
the fuck
TV
is
show V about aliens, and like so
I'm already scared.
quick story, right? So aliens show up, right? And when they come out, they look exactly like humans,
Uh-huh.
right? So like the humans, the government's like, oh man, these guys look like us. They can't, let's bring them in, whatever. But they were lizards
Yeah.
on the inside, and they would just you would peel their skin off, and they were lizards. And what they were doing, they just wanted the humans for food. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a whole like TV show. Like you could
Well, that's
probably
how
Google it.
that's how you would think they would
But I
show
don't
up.
think they would. I don't think they would look like humans. I still think they would look weird.
There is. Remember that we were talking about what's his face the other week, the guy who got abducted in the woods.
Yeah, he was a lumberjack.
Yeah, that guy. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
on Rogan and everything.
Yeah.
He said, I believe.
James Fox?
No,
Not James Fox.
I believe he said that they were able to look like a human to make him feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
or some
probably.
shit. I was like, that shit is fucking scary.
Probably.
as
I
hell.
would still invite him inside.
I'm still dead at the fact that Hector fully, confidently said, I'm gonna bring him in.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
calling
wouldn't
anyone.
shoot him, and I wouldn't call anybody about it. Like, what the cops gonna do? First of all, it's a
Yeah.
fucking alien.
Take
right?
them away. Take them away.
The cops, like, when have you ever called the cops and they like showed up right away?
And they helped you immediately.
helped
Now,
Like-
they'll show up. That the military
Problem
will show up at your
solved.
door.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
keeping them.
Yeah, and then you'll have
I'm hiding you, bro.
Then you got your in.
Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Mac and Me?
Mac and me?
Yeah.
No.
What the fuck is that?
Fuck. All right.
What
it's
is that?
Basically a knockoff E.T.
Okay, no, I don't remember.
Yeah, when you go home, just check it out.
Google it.
That's
All
a good one. I made fucking Malcolm watch that movie. He's like, "What the fuck are you making me watch right now?" I'm like, "This is the real E.T., dude." It was basically a knockoff E.T. Coca-Cola sponsored it, so you see Coke in every
Everywhere?
fucking scene.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. I love
The
it.
liquid kind, right?
Yeah,
Said Coca-Cola.
yeah, Coca-Cola, not
Straight-
fucking
straight
yeah.
from Colombia.
I mean, I don't know what the alien was doing, but I actually didn't hear about this alien thing, the alien sighting, and I know,
Yeah,
I
there
know
was
you
like
want to
some
leave,
dudes-
Carl, but like, what
there were like
happened?
some
No, I
dudes-
don't give a fuck.
There were like some dudes like called the cops and they were like, "There's like an 8-foot alien in my backyard."
No, so it was a crash in their property.
This is recent.
Yeah, it was like this week or last week.
Yeah.
No, it had to be last week because
fuck,
today's Tuesday.
Crash in their property. There was two creatures hiding behind a forklift, and then one of the body cam footages from the cop. He pulled up and he goes, "This is gonna be a weird question, but did you guys see a crash?" He goes, "Yeah." Okay, because my partner saw the same thing.
What? A crash like from space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you see something fall from out of the sky? And then the bystander was like, "Yeah, we saw something fall out of the sky and land in this guy's backyard." Okay, my partner saw the same thing.
There's footage of it, like him talking about this.
There is footage of talking, and there's footage of like a light landing behind someone's house.
He's gonna that shit's gonna get deleted real quick. You're gonna have to show me that
Nah, there's
ASAP.
no way. It's all over TikTok.
That's not even the real guy. He's the alien. Has
Yeah.
a skin suit.
He already ate that dude.
Yeah. That's a wrap for him.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where that guy's gonna live. That's where that alien's gonna live for the rest of his life. Yeah, dude. I don't know. All I know is the alien shit is picking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting pretty insane.
Nah, I'm telling you. At the beginning of this year, I said, "Why do I feel like something crazy is gonna happen this year? Something's gonna change this year." I said it.
So you think
This the beginning of this year. I think that with the increasing popularity and everybody talking about this shit, something is gonna get uncovered that maybe the government was like, "Damn, they probably shouldn't have uncovered that shit."
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's coming. And I feel it.
I hope so.
Feel
Kid from Staten Island. He asks, "Why are you so against SRs?" LOL. I don't think you are.
I'm not against SRs.
I think you were just upset about your current situation.
No, I'm not. Listen, I have nothing against SRs. I never owned one other than, I mean, I did own one. I put one in a Corolla.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I had that 4-door T72. I put an SR in it.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? It drove great. It was,
Ooh,
it was
T72
awesome.
Corolla.
Yeah, that's what I traded for the G35.
So you ran that car, you drifted it?
Yeah, it was fast. Everything worked, and then I said, so I was like, I don't know, I want something different,
Yeah. You were just,
and I traded it straight up for a G35.
damn, that's crazy too. All right, Carl, you got the rest.
All right. I like this one. Chris Nazaro asks, have you ever killed someone? I feel like you have.
Lord.
Allegedly.
No, I never killed anybody. Beat up a couple of people.
I would believe that immediately, but they
Yeah.
probably deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said it before, right? I grew up in a time where you would just punch somebody in the face. Like,
Yeah.
it
And
wasn't,
you grew up in Newark. So.
and believe it or not, like most of the people that I got into fights with, we later became friends. Like it was like a weird thing growing up in the 80s, right?
I hear that's a thing.
Fought people, and then you guys became friends, and you rocked out. And I never killed anybody though. I mean,
I don't think that you
I
should
mean-
say. I don't think that you should
think
say
so.
if you did
no, I never killed.
on here anyway.
No,
He's like, I mean,
yeah.
allegedly.
This one's from Jake. I'm just gonna read this one just to embarrass Jake. I can't tell if he hates me or loves me.
Oh, Jake knows I love him. Jake is hard-headed. So it goes back to like how you were saying, like when we tell you stuff, and then he wants to do his own thing, and
Yeah.
then he realizes like, maybe I should have listened.
He's also taking advice from everyone. So like if
Yeah.
he sees something he likes, like you ever notice he'll do certain things to his car and we're like, oh, we know he's getting that from like Chris Knapp or something.
Yeah.
And he'll like do some other shit. And we're like, yeah, we know the Front Street guys are influencing this.
Like when he first SR swapped, I was like, dude, just build the same exact car Gabe has,
yeah.
and you guys could tandem for life.
They're pretty similar.
Two identical
The cars.
But then he goes on and like does all this crazy shit, and I'm like, dude, why are you doing that? It's
Yeah.
you just
It's not even that crazy yet though, right?
no, it's not that crazy.
Yeah. And Gabe's might end up being kind of similar. Well, I don't know if he's going to do a Power FC, but you talked about it before.
Yeah, we might do a power SC. We're definitely not turning up the boost, and I've told you plenty of times I'm not buying some big ass injectors.
Yeah.
So it's just
But it'll
We're-
probably end up, honestly, it'll probably end up making the
listen.
same power.
If that's an upgrade for later on down the road,
Yeah.
But for now, we're just gonna keep that little T28 on whatever stock boost it makes and keep it running.
Yeah.
It works. It works.
Yep.
This one from Tyler. Say what? What's the worst thing you've seen someone trying to bring to tech?
That's the best question.
I want to know this too. Is there anything over the years notable?
Like so
Windshields
you should've
aside,
cleared that
I feel like
Yeah.
we clarified the windshield thing.
up.
Yeah, but the
boat.
worst thing you've seen is the worst thing you've seen. Like,
Yeah.
what is
So I normally like
where you were like, what the fuck?
yeah. There's been some pretty crazy shit.
Give me a top one.
You ever get a boat?
Nah.
What, like the guy in PA?
Yeah.
You ever
he's
get a
gonna-
boat?
He's gonna have to keep that in PA. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, like seeing cars with like rotted out floors.
Yeah.
and we're just like, dude, like you can't drive this. Like,
Flintstone
now
shit.
that I don't.
Um,
Is there something in the rule book about rot holes? Because
Well,
I feel
your
like that
chassis
just
has to
goes
be-
without saying.
but like, yeah, like your chassis, it might not be in there, but you can't have rotted out firewall or
Well,
floor.
I'll tell you number 6 on the body and glass section. Car should not look like a bag of dicks.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, that.
yeah, that's probably falls into that. That's a pretty blanket statement.
Yeah.
But it's caged, though.
That will probably be like the most unsafe thing I ever seen was like a car with like the floor like half of it rotted out, and I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
And you guys aren't
seriously.
even like going. If you guys are really getting into it, you'd be seeing strut towers falling apart
Yeah.
and all this shit.
I mean, we have seen like shit like that, and then we just tell the guys like, yo, like this is not safe. Like you can't,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You got to get this fixed. You know what I'm saying? But, and then it's up to the people. But again, I don't know what people look at when they decide they're gonna roll up to an event, and then say, this is fine. And then, but then it goes always, oh, well, I wrote it as such and such.
yeah.
Okay, this is not that place.
Yeah.
I don't get
There
that.
was,
that
there was
argument.
one year I saw a motorcycle drifting at clubs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
For a while, for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yes.
I remember. I
guy-
was.
The
scared
guy is
shitless
actually
every time.
like a stunt driver in California now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did he link the track?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
That
he
shit
actually
was
did. Link it. Every
scary.
time
Yeah,
I
he
would
was
watch him, he'd fucking
fucking wild.
go, and then it looked like a high side. I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
fuck.
No, he was wild as shit. Yeah, that was
took
but
some-
he actually is like a stunt driver in California now.
Wow.
I still follow him like on Instagram. Every once in a while, I see like a video.
He's fucking
pretty
crazy
cool.
for that.
So how do you tech that? You got 30 R9 on this bike?
I mean, listen, it's a bike, right? So he will come up full leather.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Have his helmet on, gloves, everything.
Yeah.
You know, boots, everything. So it's pretty much like we never let him tandem or anything like that.
Yeah,
So he would just run by himself.
Imagine 2 bikes tandeming.
And it would just pretty much be like, well, if you fall, we're just gonna scrape you into the bushes.
Yeah.
You know.
This is a good question that I feel like we skipped over. Do any of the Club Loose staff put on faces during events, or are they that rad 24/7? I guess they want to know like if they're just
If they're different,
yeah. I feel like they're not trying to put on a face for you or anything. Like
we're
what the
not.
fuck?
I think he's just saying like I think he's complimenting him, but I get what you're saying.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because a lot of people, I feel like a lot of the intimidation factor comes in again. It's like
but then it goes. That's what I'm saying. Like, so what are you intimidated by? I don't
I don't know
Like, I
the
don't-
denim.
is it
y'all
the
look
denim
so
vest?
badass.
Half
That
the time,
shit
half the
fucking-
time we don't even have the denim on.
But you know, it's an East Coast thing. Because
Yeah.
East Coast people, they sound like a dick, but they're actually trying to help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
then
the problem is these are East Coast people that are scared
Are
of
scared.
Club Loose.
Maybe
Yeah.
they belong on the West Coast.
Exactly.
So
there you
is
go,
it-
Carl? Now you're getting it.
God damn it.
Let's say, do they maybe feel because we kind of like always hang out together that they just see like, oh, I got to try to infiltrate these guys or something. Like, it's,
I mean, I was
no,
definitely
I literally-
intimidated at first.
Yes, I feel like everybody is, but that's because we were new.
Well, we also didn't know any better.
Yeah, we didn't know any
Yeah.
better.
I wasn't, but maybe it was a different time.
That's because you're fearless, Frankie.
I don't know. Maybe it was because it was a different time. I had Dustin
yeah,
bringing me in, so maybe I had different. Like we talked about this before on here.
yeah.
I was like, maybe it's because I
And-
didn't have to go in there alone.
And that's the
Yeah.
other thing, right? So like we always tell guys like, if you're coming, like for example, you 4 guys, right? So if you're gonna want to learn to tandem and shit like that, right? And you're coming down, then Frank would be like, oh, I'm bringing Chris down and I'm gonna sponsor him, and Chris is gonna drift with me, right? So then.
Which kind of happened last time.
But I'm saying you
a
won't be
way.
intimidated because you're bringing them in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what happened to you.
Yeah.
Where if you're just
That
like your
is what
first
happened
time
to me.
showing up and you don't have any friends yet, you know, and then, so it's your first time showing up.
Then you make friends there.
Motherfucker, we don't know who you are. You
Yeah.
gotta let yourself be known. You
Yeah.
think I roamed the pits like saying hello to everybody? Like, no.
That's a good point to make.
Like you have to, if you want, you gotta come to us.
Yeah.
And
Here was the other thing too when I was starting. It was like there wasn't like 30 different places you go. It was just like you go to Club Loose. That's
Yeah.
where you drift.
Right.
yeah.
You know, so there wasn't really an option, or I didn't think there was. There probably were some
There
options.
probably was like 1 or 2. It
Yeah.
wasn't that many, not around here.
but
Yeah,
not like
when
close
we
by.
started, it was called Boost or RSD.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, so if it's that too. But hey, we got one of the main guys from Club Loose here. He literally is the head tech inspector. I'll call you that at least. And he's telling you to come out, fucking just ask some questions.
Yeah.
If you're scared, just talk to people. No one's gonna bite your head off.
No.
make some friends. Hit me up.
Listen, and make friends in the pits.
Yeah. Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah.
I made like 6 friends in the pits.
Make
on
friends
the
in the
East
pits
Coast
because
bash.
Yeah.
those are the guys that are gonna help you. Like if you break your car, those guys are right next to you. They're gonna want to help. They should want to help you.
And before, when we first started, the friends that I would make, I guess Instagram wasn't crazy active back then, or DMs weren't a thing yet. But like that person I would run into at the track, the only other time I'd run into him again was at the track again. I'd be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
then
it becomes a track friend.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean that's me and Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Jeff met at the track, and then we hung out at the track. And then one day we was like, "Oh, I'm going fishing. You like fishing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like fishing. Let's go fishing."
Yeah. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? We just kept doing that. And Jeff is not a guy you see at the track very often. He comes to the track every once in a blue moon.
I have a question for you about your shirt.
Yes.
Elderly Street Club
Yes. So
since
so it's
established
It's so Rob Page, which
I remember.
believe is in Maryland. I want to say he's in Maryland. Might be Delaware.
Rob had the really long hair, right? Or is this a different guy?
He did have long hair. He's a big UZ guy, so he's probably gonna bash me for saying they're garbage. But remember, he had the UZ like S13 and S14.
I don't think I remember the car, but
Yeah, they were an A group. So we always joked around like we was like, who's the oldest, right? Me, him, Willie.
because I seen that there's a sticker too, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
I've
sticker
seen
too. There's a couple other guys, so we always joked around who was the oldest. So then one day Rob was like, I'm gonna make some shirts. And I was like, all right, let me know. Send you a couple of dollars for a T-shirt, whatever. And then these came in the mail. It's like, I love it.
I love that shit.
So it's like,
You think Jeff might have that on his car? Whose car did I see that on? I saw that on someone's car, dude.
it's definitely it was on my Corolla for a while.
Okay. I was dying when I saw that.
I don't know if Jeff has it, to be honest with you, but he has stickers made too.
Yeah.
And it was just like a joke. Like he was just like, I'm gonna make some shirts and some stickers, and then he sent them
That's
to everybody.
funny.
It was
It's like the
"Oh,
same
sweet."
style for people that are listening. It's like the same style as like the normal like drift team box rectangle thing, but it says Elderly Street Club.
Yeah, that's exactly what the sticker looks like too. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like a drift sticker, like a drift team sticker, and it's just like, here's these old guys that is just like, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
But no, it's that's what it was. So
And you're officially a Bloodmaster too, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's sick too. You guys have too many team members on that team.
Everybody has a different job, right? So it's
Yeah.
not everybody drives,
Yeah.
right? But everybody has different jobs. Like I'm not you're not gonna see me tandeming with them. I'm more the guy they're gonna get to do some type of work.
Yeah.
Everybody has their role, and everybody knows what their role is. I want to say, it kind of makes it a little bit different than I guess like the average team that everybody's a driver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, just a couple of guys like that probably haven't driven in like forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and they still come out, hang out at the events, work the events.
I would have kicked myself out of faction already.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't driven in how long? You can get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
but that's the thing, right? But like so everybody has like their position. I want to say, right? So and then if you're cool with it, you're cool with it. Like
Yeah.
it's not nothing crazy.
I think Bloodmasters takes the number one spot for the most members of a drift team right now. Has to be.
In the bloodbath video when they're all lined
Even
up.
then, yeah,
and they're
even
like,
then.
And they take like a shot where it's like kind of panning and everybody's just
Yeah.
walking towards the camera. That shit looked badass.
Honestly, it's
Yeah.
pretty remarkable that they could even pull that off because we can't even get fucking 5 people to drive their cars together. So
But that's the thing, right? Like we have guys that drive, we have guys that fix cars, we have guys that do different jobs,
yeah,
and it kind of, there's no real like.
but there are a lot of drivers though.
Everybody drives.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that everybody doesn't. Everybody drives.
Just not all consistently.
Yeah,
and-
but it's like like how many times guys will see me at the track and be like, "You driving today?" And I'm like, "Nah."
yeah, yeah.
Like it's just I'm just here, just hanging
yeah,
out.
you got nothing to prove anymore. Like
Nah,
you
it's like I said, like I want to come out, I want to help people. I still have the same fun,
Yeah.
right? In my mind, I still have the same fun, even though I'm not driving. And I rather drive, to be honest, the go-kart track.
Hell yeah.
I rather drive like in the fall, like late fall or early spring,
when the weather's perfect.
and there's not a shitload of drivers. You know what I'm saying? So I do those events,
yeah.
but then after that, I just let everybody else have their fun.
That's
Yeah.
cool though that you can go to the track, still have fun, like without driving. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people, including me, sometimes I go and I'm just like, although East Coast Bash was fun.
I
Dude,
think you
East
just
Coast Bash was like it was like a
mile
it was fun, but it was like a
calm.
I know what you're gonna
calm,
say. Yes.
like a weird. It was like a
Yes, it
weird
was.
event. I was like,
Yeah, it was a little bit calm.
yeah, I was like, what happened here? Like,
I'm
this
telling
is
Frankie
Twilight
the whole
Zone.
time because I was like, I decided to stay a little
Yeah.
later because I heard always hear it. I always hear every
the
year.
the-
Saturday night was
You see the
fucking
pictures,
crazy.
you see the videos.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
whoa, damn!
People swinging from the fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
So then I proceeded to drink a little bit because after my last run of the day, I was like, all right, I had a long work week. That was done. I'm good. I drove. I'm gonna get drunk a little bit. I got drunk. I felt like I was like, no one else was drunk around me.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird one, but
Yeah.
But I still had a good time.
Yeah, I still had a good time too.
Yeah, and it goes like I don't know, like I guess maybe it was because it didn't rain, right? Like
Right? Like was everyone
Whoa.
thrown?
maybe that's what was missing.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about the rain now. The event is over.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But
we had to teach Carl about all that.
And I was like, maybe we're just missing the water. I don't know.
I know it was weird, dude.
Yeah.
It was nice though. That's why it was so nice.
Yeah.
because it wasn't a fucking monsoon.
But it was a good time. It was a good time. Like I said, I didn't think it was one of the wildest events.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But definitely everybody had fun and had a good time.
yeah. That was
But-
cool. We were I wasn't doing shit, but we were working on Anthony's JZX.
yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's when I was. that's when I was already drunk. I was like, fuck, my
yeah,
friend's
you came
got
out of nowhere.
my friend's got to work on this car. I'm not gonna be able to help. Fuck it, I'll watch.
Yeah.
I remember doing crazy shit at ECVs. Like just, we'd be like under the cars, like in the pits, car 4 jack stands all the way up, changing fucking transmissions and
Yeah,
shit.
I wasn't doing all of that.
See, I don't want to
Dude,
do that.
I remember doing that.
neither.
All,
I don't wanna
like,
do that.
Not my car, but I remember we were working on.
I want to
Justin's
have
car or
fun with
something.
people, and after a long day, it's
you would
like
still be
having a
having fun.
cigarette after sex.
my
It would still
alternator
be.
died.
It would still be fun, dude.
My
'Cause
alternator died, and it was literally a 15-minute job, and I put the car away.
That's
her
how
up.
I am.
It's
To
like,
be
yeah,
honest
I'm
with you.
done. I was like, it's a wrap.
But dude, it's still fun because like people would be talking to you like under the car, like
Yeah.
you'd be wrenching, and people would be like, "Yo, so like earlier, like what was?" And you just have to be having full conversations.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
Especially me being a mechanic, I do not.
yeah, you're
want to
fucked.
be working on my car at a
Yeah. But the crazy part is like I don't work on my shit, but then I help other people with their shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Really, yeah.
Like I've swapped out transes at the track.
yeah,
I've done for other cars, not for my personal shit. I just be like, I'm just putting my car away. I'm not,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
dealing with this. But yeah, that's pretty much. But
You know
Yeah, it
how
was
many
pretty
people came
easy.
up to me like, "Yo,
I felt bad for you that day.
oh god," because I worked on a lot of people's cars.
yeah, but that's the thing though, right? Right? When everybody knows you work on their cars,
Yeah.
then,
They know you could do it.
and if they're having a problem,
Yep.
Oh, it
they
happened.
They don't know that you're on shut off mode, and then it becomes like, do you become a dick
I
or do you
try
just
not to be a dick.
you know?
Yeah.
And listen, you got to tell them nicely, like, listen, bro, I'm here driving myself. Like I want to try to.
Yeah.
I'm not here working on any cars.
Mhm.
Like if you're having problems with your car, maybe
It's definitely a hard line to
Yeah.
navigate because even like we could use Anthony's car as an example. Like Anthony had some problems that day and they really had nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I mean, and not to, but like say that there's favoritism, but Anthony is a good friend of mine
and a good
I-
and a great customer.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know.
And that's the thing, though, right? So it's like, again, like it goes a thin line for you guys because you run the shop, right? So like if you know you have customers, you kind of almost still have to give them that customer support, right?
yeah.
But at some point,
Yeah,
you got to tell them like if you're there driving, then you got to be like, listen, I'll take a quick look.
Yeah.
If it's nothing I can fix like in 5 minutes, you know,
Or if it's nothing I have,
I'm
I have
here
nothing to
trying
do with.
yeah, I'm here trying to enjoy myself on my day off.
Yeah.
So they have to understand that too. And, you know, it's, then it comes back to, right, like, are they going to call you a jerk? Now you're mean, right?
Of course.
Because you didn't want to work on their
Yeah,
car
yeah.
on
their
your day off.
at the track while
At
they
the
were trying to
track.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah, while you're trying to have fun also. Like,
Exactly.
they know they're trying to have fun, but you're there doing the same thing.
And that's the perks of being in business.
Yes, sir. That's why I don't have a business.
Yeah. It could get bad. And that was honestly the first event where I saw it happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Well, that's the thing, right? So, like, you have more cars coming out
Yeah.
and more guys that are now getting into, you know, I don't want to say more guys getting into drifting, but more guys that'll bring you cars to take drifting.
I think there definitely are more people getting into drifting.
I don't
Yeah.
mind if you ask me for like advice or
Yeah.
like a question like, oh, can you take a look at this? Like what do you think?
Yeah. That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
The
Like, if
moment,
it's
shade is being thrown,
Like,
I'm
if it-
come
like
on.
if it's like a quick 5-minute thing, I'll be like, yeah, let me take a look. But you know, that's something that you're gonna eventually have to buckle up, and
And do it your get dirty for your own.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know that you're gonna have to do it because if not, you'll never have any time to yourself. These guys will just continue to come to you like that.
Or hire Chris on the weekends for your events. He's
Yeah.
$1,000 a day.
Listen, it's you know what I'm saying, it's your personal pit crew, right?
Shoot, man.
Yeah.
I brought this up at East Coast Bash. I was like, yo, what if we brought a mobile alignment machine?
Yeah.
I'd rather kill myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
you're right. I'm good.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but
That'd be kind of sick.
Do you have anything else? Do you have anything that you want to say to the listeners, Hector?
Nah.
there's a
I
lot
mean,
of young people out here listening, so just keep that in
listen,
mind.
guys, just come out and have fun. If you're not sure about drifting, come out, spectate. You know what I'm saying? Walk around the pits. There's plenty of guys that's how they started. Jake is a perfect example. I don't know if you guys remember. Jake started as a
Media guy.
media guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember I bought a sticker. He was like 10 years old or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And now he's 12.
Yeah. Mentally.
Yeah.
But yeah, come out. You know what I'm saying? See what it's about. And if it's something you want to get into, ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? To ask questions to either the people running the event or the people at the track. You know, if you see a car you like, you know what I'm saying? Talk to those people about the car, you know, before you make an investment. Drifting is a big investment, and we joke about it, right? It's literally the dumbest way to spend money. but it's the most fun way to.
It is
one,
definitely fun.
It is one of the most fun ways to spend money. You know, unless you're like, you know, I don't know, like a movie star and you're just blowing pounds of coke. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, you're not hurting anybody by drifting at the track. Please keep it at the track. Don't.
Yeah.
I know Faction has
I was
that
gonna say,
little
don't be like
Christmas
us.
video, but you know, but no, listen. You know, when I say keep it at the track, I mean, you know, don't do those stupid shows and all that other dumb shit where you're gonna hit somebody and get yourself in a bind.
Yeah, there
you
was
know?
there was a recent one where there was like an older woman, and she was just
in,
trying to get
Connecticut
through
or
the
New
fucking
York.
Connecticut.
I saw that. Yeah,
it was somebody's mom in the community.
Yeah, and they
She
just
has
like
an
jumped on her
MRS.
car. Yeah, jumped on her car and everything.
Jumped on her car. She got out of the car to hopefully try to
God bless
de-escalate
her.
the situation.
God
and
bless her.
fuck, man.
First of all, I'm in a car. I'm not getting out.
Like, were people like this back then? Like, with street racing and everything, it's like you don't see that kind of shit.
Nah, street racing usually, you know, you always get the Fast and the Furious, right?
Yeah.
Streets closed, pizza boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's basically what the race was going on. The street was closed. There was nothing.
Yeah.
They literally had guys saying they're like, listen, just give us like 2 minutes and we'll let you through, or go around the block. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was like they were doing what they had to do, and they didn't want anyone else to see it, be there,
Yeah.
anything, because they were doing what they needed to do, and it's illegal, and they need to get it done, and that's it.
Yeah, those shows are just dumb. I saw that video where they jumped like all on her car.
But
That's
now-
what I'm saying. I
but
wouldn't get out.
It's like the opposite now. It's like nowadays it's like they want everyone to
see
see what
it.
they're doing.
Yeah. And that to me makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I don't know if I want anybody to know if I hit somebody and then sped off.
Yeah. And it's all, and 30 different people were filming it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one video,
That annoyed me because like that could be anybody's
yeah.
parent,
It couldn't be me,
guardian.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Older
I'm
friend.
putting that shit in drive,
And it's going to be
reverse,
bad.
and I'm like, like you said, everybody's recording it. I'm getting now, you know, there's 20 people trying to get me out of the car.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's you know, but yeah, you know, try to keep it on the track. And listen, you'll learn on the track. There's guys watching you. They'll help you out, ask questions. Other drifters, watch what they do. I think that's a big thing too now. Like a lot of guys don't watch. They just like a lot of guys do their session and then they just stay in a chair by their pit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, if you're in C group, you should be going back to watch B and A group drive.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Especially
can
A
see,
group.
so you can see how the cars are moving. So you can kind of learn, you know, just from watching
Yeah.
a little bit. And a lot of guys don't do that. So then they just stay locked into that one, you know, that one spin that they keep having.
Well, that's some good advice for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Because
forget to
I
watch.
didn't notice that was going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, they literally just end their session and then they go to their pit, sit on their chair, maybe change their tires, and they just stay at their pit until it's, you know, they post the schedule so everybody knows what time you run. And then
Yeah.
you see them just get out of their chair and jump back in the car. I'm like, you just sat out for like 2 hours. You could have been watching.
It's like you paid to be there for the whole day. You might as well learn something.
yeah,
while
go
you're
learn
not
something from
driving.
watching. Like,
I love watching.
yeah. Dude, that's like what I do the most. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh,
just.
we know, Carl. We had a 2.5 hour break. You forgot to flip your tires.
I was just
So I
watching.
had to lend you spares.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
I was
but-
watching. It was a beautiful day. In
Yeah.
Blood Bash. It was
was.
sunny as fuck. I was like, damn. Like the sun at sunset. Oh my god, the track looked fucking
Yeah.
magical.
Well, you
Yeah.
get that orange glow going.
Yeah. But Hector, thank you so much for hopping. Frankie, I'm gonna close this out. We're at three
Yeah,
and a
it's
half
fine.
hours.
That's great.
Thank you so much
Nah,
for
thank you
taking the
guys.
time and sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Also, I didn't ask Petty or Tim yet, but it's coming. So I'm going to need your support when I go to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need
Be
to
like,
get
yeah,
him
that
on
Carl,
here.
that Carl guy, he's not that bad. Just get on.
That's good. You talk about being nervous. That's the one I'm going to be nervous for.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are like my dads. So I'm like, all right, I don't want to fuck this up.
Nah, we'll
You
take
know.
care of it.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I
Nah,
really
thank you
do
guys.
appreciate it. You're one of the people that has a huge influence on
For sure.
Club Loose and people being able to drift at Club Loose. So, thank you.
Yeah,
No
thank
problem.
you for everything you do too.
Nah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right, Malcolm, shut us
Yep.
down.
Thank you guys so much for
Wrap it
listening. Peace. Where the music at? Yeah.
Yo, play the outro.
Damn, I was getting hot. Peace.